On ABC Radio.
On digital. And ABC Listen.
Look for the AFL button.
The beaten semi-finalists up against the beaten grand finalists. It's Friday night footy on the glitter strip right here on ABC Sport as the Gold Coast Suns and the Geelong Cats start their season. Corbin Middlemas and Michael Price to call the footy. Matty Primus is here in the experts chair alongside the Brownlow medalist Jason Akermanis and Jamie Stanton on the boundary throughout the night. It's a gorgeous night, if not a little warm and a little humid, certainly for the Southerners in the Cats, but the Gold Coast Suns will be right at home in these conditions. It's a rare Friday night on the Gold Coast, but perhaps it's something...
Well, they have Friday nights, but they don't necessarily have football on Fridays. There's a lot of partying on Friday.
So Friday night's still part of the week.
Yeah, apparently.
Just not so much of the footy here at Carrara, but we should get used to it because more primetime games are coming, I'm sure, for the Suns on the back of their first finals appearance last year, 15 years in the making, and they not only made it to September, they won a final as well. And the chairman of the footy club, Bob East, has been good enough to join us on ABC Sport. Bob, appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. What a great night.
Bob's had a good summer too. He's looking as tanned as he normally does.
Yeah.
You always know he's been out and about, Bob. It's a big job. And we don't have him for that long, but, you know, he's how are you handling it? Just, you know, you've got players that would never come here, are coming here.
Look, it's a special night. I mean, obviously, you know, as you mentioned, a Friday night game for the Gold Coast Suns. We've been in this competition a long time. I think we're 14 years before our first Friday night, and we've got, you know, a debutant today in Zeke Geelong coming out and playing a Friday night. You know, we've got David Swallow was in our club for 14 years before he got his first Friday night game. So it shows that we're up and about. Hopefully we've got good things. We have high expectations, obviously, on our club, but hopefully more to come.
Do you think you can win it this year?
Oh, look, you know, our ambition, our stated ambition is to win a premiership. I think the narrative in the club is right. We've got to be setting our sights on finals and and top four, and from there, you know, you really don't know. Those words felt more aspirational last year, given that we'd never made a final. Now we've had one success in a final over in Perth, and we do have high expectations in ourselves. So we've got to start talking like that. We've got to be positive. We've got to raise the bar. But, it's a hyper-competitive game and there's a lot of people going for the same prize. So
So what do you think success is this year? Is it top four? Is it...
Oh, yeah, I think we'd need to be bold enough to say top four. Look, we really, we made inroads last year. This is, under Damien Hardwick, his third year in. I think we've recruited well. Look, I think everyone's, better this year than last year. So it's going to be tough. But you've got to enter the year with those expectations, knowing that the hard work is all ahead of us.
What about the business side? Memberships, all the things that are moving in the right direction.
Look, it is. And with the increased attention, it really is positive for our community. We've had a lot of loyal fans, but to be able to get to this mark today with 7,000 members up right now when we were last year, we'll punch through 35,000 members this year. Every suite is full, the Chairman's Lounge is full, the Virgin Lounge is full, the deck is full for the year. So these are extraordinary times for our club. Now, again, we'll have a full stadium tonight, but, our job now is to bring the rest of the community on this journey.
Bob East, the chair of the Gold Coast Suns, with us on ABC Sport. Opening round as a concept. So I'm from Perth originally. I now reside in Melbourne, lived there for many years. You can imagine the commentary down there. How come the rest of the competition's not involved?
It's not a number.
The concept, why is it so important for the Northern State clubs?
It is absolutely critically important. I mean, to be able to get some clean air, this is a hyper-competitive market. We're not the only sport in this part of the neighbourhood. To be able to showcase all that is great about the AFL, all that we're trying to do as Gold Coast Suns, to be able to grab a prime time spot on a Friday night. This means more to us than it would to any other region. So the Gold Coast, it's probably paramount. It's equally important, I know, for those in Sydney and Brisbane. It is. I'm absolutely a big believer that this is needed. This is the biggest growth corridor for the AFL. New South Wales and Queensland represents what will be the future growth of the AFL. We've got 90,000 participants now in Queensland, and that will shoot past 100,000. We need to be able to hold these marquee games and get a little bit of airtime when others would normally steal that limelight.
Right, so you can't do that with the other 8 teams playing?
No, absolutely. I appreciate there's now a Sunday game, and it's it's sold extremely well. But no, we need that clear air, because those that follow AFL, may not understand it, but we've got a big part of the community out there that still aren't quite with us on this journey, and they're the people we're chasing. And it comes with money, success, and exposure, and that's what we're about.
Perhaps it's very sort of global politics where you can come out as a leader nowadays and basically just say whatever you want, and hopefully some of it sticks.
Finally.
Some of it sticks. I mean, Peter V'landys is out there talking about how the NRL is the number one sport in the country, and you can look at the categories and everything else, and by any metric, you can say, well, hang on, the AFL's done this, and there's that, and everything else.
This guy had too much hair dye. It's seeped in. It's affected this vision.
Would it help you if the administrators of our game talked our game up a little bit more in this neck of the woods?
Oh, look, absolutely. I mean, I just came from a chairman's suite. We had Craig Drummond, the new chair of the commission, and Andrew Dillon there. They fully understand our plight here. They're welded on to the opportunities that we have in this market, and the more that we can get them up here and speaking, what they're doing for the game. And I took the opportunity to have Craig on stage and to speak about these points. They do believe in it, but again, we do need to stay relevant. We do need to be up and about on the field. Obviously, we need to play our part as a club. But we do need the support of not only AFL but the media more generally. We've got to earn that right, but we're determined to do that.
Yeah, Bob, interested in the you're saying growing the community. It feels like the last month the Suns have been everywhere. If you lived up here, radio, TV, billboards, and normally when they've done that, it's not based on anything, but it's from last year. It's based on something. I know that's still a lot of work ahead for the year to continue that momentum, but it does feel like you're cementing something on the Gold Coast that people want to be attached to, rather than just worry about 3 or 4 rounds in. People want to be involved in something now.
Matty, it's absolutely right, and you can feel it. And the marketing 101 tells you that you really got to grab people's attention when they're willing to listen. Yep. And we've been in this competition a long time. They haven't been able to experience the success on the field. We've now got that prospect of success. Now, we've done nothing. We're nil from nil at this stage. But with that success last year and everything the club's done to build a platform, to engage with the community, work with partners, those things are starting to resonate. So if we do all of that hard work in amongst having what we think is a pretty handy side, we will make more progress this year than any other year. And we've got to seize that opportunity. We shouldn't be shying away from the opportunity that we've got.
Bob East, the chair of the Gold Coast Suns, with us on ABC Sport. Andrew Dillon did talk during the week, or at least was asked a question, and he answered it, about the Brisbane Games in 2032, which of course are a big deal in this part of the world, in southeast Queensland.
New stadium.
Could Australian rules be a demonstration sport? How would you feel about Aussie rules having some kind of involvement in the Brisbane Olympics?
Yeah, look, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I mean, any time we get to be able to, we're able to showcase our game, it's an amazing thing. And you look around the world, now clearly people are not going to be familiar with this game. It's unapologetically an Indigenous game of Australia, and we should be loud and proud of that. But if I look to others like the NHL, the gridiron in the US and others, to be able to showcase what you do at your best with a large audience, why would you not jump at that opportunity?
Do you know what the season's going to look like in those years? I know we're 2032 and everything else. Is the footy going to continue?
They might get the rest of this stadium built.
Well, yeah.
That should be a given. Just complete the stadium.
We certainly believe that the stadium will be participating in the games and cricket and other things that will be announced. I have no doubt shortly. But yeah, look, we shouldn't be worried about all of the benefits that something like the Olympic Games brings. It brings the attention of not only an international audience, but it brings focus on Queensland and southeast Queensland. And the fact that there might be disruption on the AFL front, I think that's a very minor negative relative to all of the things that can... And we've seen new stadiums announced, and there's infrastructure going in, there's transport corridors coming in. All of those things a fantastic opportunity. So it's not a negative, it's an absolute positive. Will there be disruption? Of course there will be, but bring it on.
So will the season pause during those weeks, or will it keep going?
No, I actually I have not turned my mind to that. And better question for Andrew Dillon.
He's got to go.
Worrying about 2032. We haven't even played a game in 2026 yet.
Let's see how we go today. Poor Bob's got another interview, but we love having him anytime.
Appreciate your time as always, Bob. Good luck, not just for this year, but for the road ahead.
Great. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Bob East, the chairman of the Gold Coast Suns, with us on ABC Sport as the countdown continues. Appreciate him dropping by on what is opening night for the Suns. They're a fascinating watch this season. Again, they're high up in many people's pre-season predictions. And I guess the big question, Acker, is the guys that they've lost, which they've lost some key depth players, Flanders, Fiorini, Ainsworth, Butterick, Rosas, is the net gain of bringing in Petrarca, Jamara, who's not playing tonight, and 4 picks inside the top 18. Is that a gain overall, do you think, even though they've lost some depth players?
Ooh, that's a good question. I suppose I can't answer it because I'm going to see it tonight.
Yeah, it is. I reckon it is.
It is?
Yep, absolutely.
It's a good or a bad? It's
good.
Yeah,
absolutely. They've got some high-end youth that are better than the ones they got rid of, which were good players, but they're going to be better. And then they brought in Petrarca, which they didn't really have that. Their mids are all inside mids, and that's it. So a guy can go forward and do something. So, yeah, I think they've... Jamara played against us today in a practice match and pulled our pants down. So if he gets going by rounds 4 or 5 or 6, it's another weapon forward of the ball, which I think they're going to be a dominant inside 50 team. So, yeah, they're better now and in the next couple of years, I reckon.
Can't replace talent. And just getting a bit of a sprinkle too.
Yeah.
It's coming down.
That's not good news for Jamie either, who's on the boundary tonight. So light rain falling at Carrara. How did he go, Jamara?
Yeah, he looked good. He's classy. We weren't great that day. They were pretty good, the Suns reserves, but he looked a class above when the ball was around his area, and I would think they're probably just going to make him earn it a little bit. The Suns team is stacked, and if they get off winning, it's see how much hard work you want to put in and fight your way to get in there, which is a good position for them to be in and a good position for
That's
tomorrow.
so hard work to do that, and I just love it, the fact that the guy hasn't played for well over a year, and just to give him that burning desire to get back into the fold. That's very hard work, and I do love it.
And he's the type of player too, Jamal. He's better at do or die. Right? It's just, if he gets comfortable, then things can go off the rails. If he matures and stops that and doesn't get led astray as he did last year and the year before, he's so much talent. So it's really good for him. As we see the lights, I think they're going to put, is that a drone? Obviously not over in
I think so.
You're going to get a Suns flag being... Well, is it towed by a drone?
Gotcha.
So it's going to be attached to the drone.
Look how big the drones are. They're a bit bigger than the ones we have down the shops there, Matty. We give our kids this thing.
It's almost looks like a helicopter, doesn't it? It's about to take off inside the forward 50, what would be the northern end of the ground. It's going to, as Pricey said, tow the Gold Coast Suns flag. So very modern sort of new age environment up here at Carrara Stadium, and that is the setting for Friday night footy. We're about 20 minutes or so away from the opening bounce. Corbin Middlemas alongside Michael Price for the call. Jamie Stanton on the boundary. Matty Primus and Jason Akermanis, your call team. Your thoughts throughout the night, by the way, you can send in your SMS contributions on 0437 774 774. That's 0437 774 774. Must be said, the season does start, though, under somewhat of a pall of sadness after the passing of Dennis Cometti on the eve of the season. At 76 years of age, Ben Cameron took us through this audio tribute, which aired last night on ABC Sport.
When I think of Dennis Cometti, of course I think of his turn of phrase, his quick wit, and who could forget that smooth voice? I can still hear it now.
Wilson, like a cork in the ocean over his head. Oh, my word. Oh, my goodness. Wonderful chase by Heath Shaw. He came up behind him like a librarian. Slings it towards the opposite pocket. Sliding in was Harvey. Good pick up Graham. In trouble, the old stripper Graham. It's kicked forward out there by Thompson.
He was a great footballer in his own right. 40 games for his beloved West Perth in the WAFL at the height of that competition's power. And a part of Dennis belongs at the ABC. He began his broadcasting journey with us.
Tomorrow, Swan Districts, although not discounted, will start the underdogs, and they'll be attempting to win their 3rd consecutive premiership under the guidance of John Todd.
He broadcast cricket for the first time in 73. He was aged just 23 at the time. He would do that alongside Alan McGilvray for 13 years.
In comes Lilly, bowls to Richards, and Richards looking to drive, bowl! Inside edge to Stumps. Richards is out. 4 for 10, the West Indies. Richards bowled by Lilly for 2. He's just 1 short of the record, and surely if today is any indication, this last 30 minutes, the record must fall tomorrow.
He also called 3 Summer Olympics. The swimming at the 1992, 1996 and 2000 Olympics. His partnership with Bruce was, dare I say it, special. Or maybe it was centimetre perfect.
He's judged it to a nicety. Centimetre perfect.
They were the yin to each other's yang.
Dennis, where are you? I need you right now.
They were different. They complemented one another. And they were the soundtrack to our game for such a long time.
I feel like I've lost something very precious. That friendship. We started as colleagues and finished as friends. Can you ask for any more than that?
His final game for Channel 7 in 2016, you guessed it, the Bulldogs' triumph over Sydney.
Tom Boyd's got it. Tom Boyd goes long. How will it bounce? The stadium holds its breath. It's a goal. And the western suburbs erupt.
The great Dennis Cometti, Australian Football Hall of Famer, sadly passing away aged 76 on Wednesday morning. Ben Cameron with that tribute there. Corbin Middlemas alongside Michael Price, Matthew Primus, Jason Akermanis and Jamie Stanton on ABC Sport. Acker and Matty, he was the soundtrack for a large chunk of your careers, as he was for so many over the last 50 years.
Yeah, he was. A lot of people don't know this, actually. So at the end of my career, I did that ad. It's the famous ad where I was in the Bulldogs. You can see it on Instagram. I think I saw it the other day. Anyway, I G him up, I did his hair, and I said, "Come on, Dennis." And he goes, just with gritted teeth, centimetre perfect. But from that moment on, we became mates. And when I finished my career, so I would often go to Perth for speaking gigs and everything else in between, golf days and you name it. I'd always ring him, and then he would always come and get me, and we'd go to lunch. He'd pick me up in his beautiful, the Lexus 400H, which I love cars. I think it was 600. Anyway, and it was just spotless. There was not, you go into people's cars. It's like brand new. Doesn't matter if it was 3 months or a year later, it still was the same. It was just magic. Anyway, he put on his, back then he had CDs. Yep. He put on some rubbish music that actually was pretty good. I didn't want to tell him. I was like, what? He said, I don't know if people knew he was a DJ, but he was always, we'd chat. We'd always have great lunches. We talk about footy, we talk about his son, and we talk about wrestling, and then basketball, you name it. And it was really cool. And he was always at me, Matty. He was always like, mate, listen, there's no one like you. Well, there's no one like you, Jason. You should be commentating. You should be calling the game. He was like really on my case about it every time I saw him. And I'm like, I don't know, Dennis. I don't think it's my thing. I don't think it's going to happen. But he didn't care. And so we had this friendship for so long. And so every time I would go back, I was actually supposed to go there this year, I would ring him and say, I'm coming. Wow. Anyway, it got to late in my career, though, he texts me. And he goes, I'm going to really talk you up today. All right, so I watched it back and I said, that was pretty good. Then when I retired, I get this random text from him. He goes, it'd be like Hawthorn versus Carlton. Big game. He goes, I'll mention you today. And sure enough, he goes, out comes Cox left foot. That is Akermanis like. And I'll be sitting at home laughing. I'll text him. I say, good one, big fella. And so it's just what I don't think people, I got to see is his humour. Like you could tell he's humorous in the way he calls, but some guys aren't like that. Comedians and stuff, yep. You talk to them, they're really serious, like Dave Hughes like that. But he was always hilarious. He's just such a great guy to be around. So, yeah, and I was in Melbourne and I ran into Ben Cousins and his dad, Brian, in September. And Brian told me that he's really struggling at the moment with his memory and a few other things. So I knew he was on his way down, but man, it must have come quick because not many months later. But yeah, what a guy. So cool.
Absolutely. What about you, Matty?
No stories like that for Acker, but I did have one my first year of coaching, which didn't go great, but we played a game in Perth and we won. And he texted me. I didn't know him from a bar soap. And he texted me one to say, well done on the win, and you've been under the pressure, and I accepted this, and your press conferences say this and do that, so just out of the blue. And so I rang him back and said, hey, thanks very much for that, take the opportunity to speak to him. And that was the only time we had the communication, but just out of the blue, and for him to give up his time, and a man that had the standing in the game that he had, it's amazing. And very sad day, but hopefully his family's sitting back and seeing how much he impacted people's lives.
Pricey?
Oh, look, I was just honoured to meet the man once, and he was so generous with his time, 10, 15 minutes, and I was a very junior commentator, and I asked him for advice, and he sat with me and just really cared. You can tell when somebody does and when somebody doesn't. He really cared. He didn't know me from a bar or so, and he gave me some advice. He told me about his little black book that if he had an idea, he would ride it in there and then just wait for the time. But he'd wait and wait and wait. He could hold on to something for years. But again, I love the whole Liberatore thing, going into the pack optimistically and coming out misty optically. Just the fact that he could deliver that in the spur of the moment so quickly and clearly. What a genius.
Can I tell you my favourite one? The one he called when I kicked 2 in the pocket in 2005. Excuse me. He can't top himself. That was obviously my favourite. But there was a game. It was Hawthorn versus West Coast, and Dean Cox. All of a sudden, the ball's on the ground, and of course Hawthorn had a much smaller Cox, and then they're wrestling, and he said this live, so it was just typical Dennis. And it's tackle Cox, pair of Cox, if you will. And I'm at home just losing it, going, how do you get away with this, Dennis? You're unbelievable. And it's up there that time. Ben Cousins did his hamstring. He was at Footy Park.
Yep. Yeah.
He's calling for ice, and he got in a lot of trouble from Brian for that. But it was just classic, on the spot, on point. Oh man, how do you get away with it? He's the best.
His ones around. He had a lot of fun with your former teammate Josh Carr. I think over the years, some of his best lines I think came when he was calling the Carr brothers when there was when the pair tackled each other. They were both wearing number 9. He said that's a 2-car collision, both with the same rego, both number 9. He also had one, James Walker, who played with Matt Carr at Fremantle, and he said, Walker to Carr. Now that's progress. So he had so much fun with the Carr brothers over the years. They gave him plenty to work with, the great Dennis Cometti. 0437 774 774 is the SMS number. Brett in Canberra says, hi Corbin, drove from Canberra to the SCG last night to watch the game, and the Blues capitulated in the third quarter, which was most deflating. Would be interested in Jason and Matt's thoughts on what the issue is at the Blues. Well, we did discuss it a little earlier, Brett, in the broadcast, but if you weren't with us, Jason Akermanis is a little more optimistic than others about what happened with the Blues last night. You're not as downcast as many, Jace.
You'd never, ever judge a team on the smallest ground in the competition against a side that plays pretty much the team that wins most games, even when they're not going great, is the SCG. So more space, more room to run. As the season, they get connection. They're going to be a lot better and harder to beat. So they are fast and they've got movement, and I think that's what Vossi has needed, and it's just a different forward line. He's going to cause a lot of coaches grief.
The Geelong Cats have made their way out onto the ground, so they're the first team out there, the Cats, with James Warple featuring in number 29. This is a young man playing his 149th game of his career, and he's worn some famous jumpers in his time. He was number 5 at Hawthorn, which of course was the number that the late Peter Crimmins wore, and the club retired for nearly 20 years after his sad passing. He comes to Geelong, he's wearing 29, which of course Gary Ablett Jr. wore for so many years at the Cats. He takes that from Cam Guthrie, who was let go at the end of last season. So we'll see Warple out there tonight. And here come the Gold Coast Suns beneath us for a rare Friday night encounter at home. The ground is slowly filling up, and the Suns all in readiness. They've got a number of supporters and friends and family that have made a guard of honour. And the banner pays tribute to Sam Collins, who plays his 150th game tonight.
Hello.
The Victorian fullback. He was part of the All-Australian squad last year, the broader squad, and incredibly delisted by Fremantle after 14 games. He carries out one of his young children, and then Noah Anderson alongside him, the inspirational leader. He's without his running mate, the Brownlow medalist Matt Rowell tonight. We'll see Zeke Hewland for the first time on debut, the younger brother of Bodie, picked 2 in last year's national draft. And there's a certain guy out there wearing number 3 as well, the Northsmith medalist Christian Petrarca, for the Gold Coast Suns for the first time as they burst through the banner and out onto their home park here at Carrara, all in red, with, of course, the red on red monogram, which is in the centre of the jumper still. Meanwhile, the Cats, they've got the navy blue shorts on with the hoops tonight, the white jumper with the navy hoops. Jason Akermanis and Matt Primus take us through it. What are you on the lookout for here tonight? 10 minutes from game time, the Suns and the Cats for the first time in 2026.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward. I think, even though the Suns' pre-season form hasn't been great, I think they're going to try and explode out of the blocks, and just how Geelong handle that. Geelong's flown under the radar a bit. Scotty's had a bit of time off. How they've responded from a grand final, I know that was spoken about. Scotty they haven't looked at it at all, but yeah, I'm just seeing how Geelong are going to react, because I really think just the feel of this game all month has been building and building and building, and I think they're going to explode out of it. How they handle the pressure, I suppose, is the next question for the Suns. But yeah, that first 10 minutes, I'm really interested to see how a mature team like Geelong handle what the Suns are going to try and dish up with the way that they play.
It's unusual this time of year. You've got weather factors, it's humid, it's hot. Both teams are fresh as daisies. There's never a better game to play if you're an Aussie Rules AFL player, let me tell you. And these are so awesome. That said, a packed stadium, they should get in here. They probably can't because it's fair income. The traffic around here is rubbish. It's like one lane in, one lane out. You can't find a park. But anyway, they'll be in. If they get some momentum, the Suns, look out. But that said, they're just such a professional club. Their culture's unbelievable. Geelong is just a super team. I have a feeling it's going to bust open in the third quarter, which we'll see. We'll talk at halftime. And it will be the Suns will have to do that. There's no other way because they are just too good. Geelong, they will make you pay. And at home here, this has got to be a fortress. And I've no doubt that Damien Hardwick, he has them all wound right up.
Tactically, if you work your way through it, so the Suns in particular coming off their best defensive year as a club last year ever, probably stands to reason. Played finals for the first time. They're certainly a team on the improve, and their history wasn't filled with a heap of success before that. Strong stoppage team, again, stands to reason. They've got Witts, obviously, as their key ruckman, but then the Rowell and Anderson combination, Miller and so many others passing through there, Bailey Humphrey, for example. But the one thing, Matty, that was interesting about them last year, their transition game didn't overly improve. So both points for and against when it comes to transition. And we know how much the modern game is off turnover. When you got the ball, what do you do with it? How do you use it? How can they correct that, do you think, from sort of one off season to the next?
I reckon they sort of got it right. For me, it was their forward half. They struggled with their selection in the forward half. At times they were too tall. They just picked the wrong kind of guys in there. I reckon towards the end of the year they went just too talls and a lot of smalls, which suited how Dimmer likes to move the ball. They're very much as we heard James Kelly talking, they love to come through the front and they'll take you on and try and burst through tackles, and they're very aggressive with their half-backs positioning, and sometimes that opened them up the other way. But I reckon the way they've lined up with their forward line this year, it looks like if it's not a beautiful entry inside 50, which a lot aren't, and the ball hits the ground, it's going to be very difficult for an opposition to be able to rebound nice and easily, which at times they did last year. And I reckon that's something that fixed up those coast-to-coast goals. There was far too many of them against, the good teams don't have them, and that was one of the Achilles heels of the Suns. So I reckon their forward 6 or 7 are going to be better and better suited to how Dimmer likes to play.
And most teams want to keep it inside their forward 50, and that's a real strength. And if they can get that, that's why if Tuke Miller's forward, the pressure he gives is amazing. The one thing about Geelong, and Scotty pretty much never changes, is getting a spare man behind the ball. And you can exploit it with fast movement, and it can be done if you want to score. That said, you can also exploit it with really good ball movement and handball receives if you can get it inside the centre corridor. So, it's gonna. That's why I said it's gonna open up at some stage. And if they're playing that right footy, as in really fast movement, handball receives, and overlapping run, then the Suns will exploit Geelong because it's going to get hot and they're going to feel it. That spare man back, and that's going to see. I just want to see it tonight and see what the Suns do with it.
How does Christian Petrarca fit into this system?
Oh, beautifully. I think that what they don't have is a midfielder, especially a centre bounce stoppage midfielder that can go forward and kick goals. Anderson probably has the capability of doing that, but he's a star. But Rowell hasn't shown that. Tuke Miller's not really that goal-kicking midfielder, so he just gives them another avenue to be, if their centre bounce work's going really well and they've got good depth in there, he can go forward, and we know he's a really dangerous forward if you give him a bit of time and space. And then that gives that Bailey Humphrey look out too. That's someone that can sort of do a little bit of that rather than Bailey having to be the man. He can now sort of come in behind Petrarca doing that, and that's where I think their forward half game is going to be a lot better.
And he's got that. That's the beauty about players like that. You can just, all right, he's getting well tagged, and he's influence up the ground. We don't need him then. Let's go out and isolate him up forward. And they haven't really had a guy like that. You can't put Matty Rowell down there. No. Brisbane couldn't do anything with Lachie Neale for a long time. They had to play him in the midfield because he didn't have any weapons going forward. That is what you just said before. It was their Achilles heels, that forward line entry and the players to actually convert what is going to be a lot of entries and speed. So it's going to be interesting tonight. I think you'll be fine too. It's never easy when playing with a new group, but it's going to take him many weeks to get the synergy with everyone, where you're subconsciously just moving just without even thinking about, because players are just you just know where they're going. But other than that, I mean, he's a star. He's going to win his own ball, and he's just going to be tackling and menace.
It's interesting, there's no row, so he's had finger surgery. He's played the last 104 games for the Suns, so it's been a long time since we've seen a Gold Coast team without him. Damien Hardwick's never coached the Suns without Rowell at his disposal. And then there's Jed Walter, who was suspended, won the grand final sprint last year for whatever that's worth. Jed Walter.
You wouldn't think he's that quick, would you? But he is.
As an unusual winner. And even without him, still no room for Jamara Ugle-Hagan, as we touched on. He's going to have to earn it through the Magoos. Meanwhile, for Geelong, so Jeremy Cameron's missing, quad complaint, played every game last year, the All-Australian captain. And Patrick Dangerfield, who did play Origin, misses with a calf injury. There's no Stanley. He's on load management, so he's not playing round one. And Tyson Stengel is missing due to personal reasons. The Cats are a fascinating watch. Champion Data have been keeping this stat, to measure team speed. And speed is obviously speed of ball movement, not necessarily just with 2 feet across the ground, although that can contribute to it, run and carry. Fastest team on record. They've been keeping this stat for 7 years. They were the fastest team on record last year, Geelong, that they had ever recorded. And that completes an incredible turnaround. 4 years earlier, they were the slowest team.
Yeah, they were. That's a bit of why they moved on. A couple of their assistant coaches called them, because they wanted to play kick, mark and hold on to the ball and protect defence and scores against, but the game was trending away from that. So, and they're certainly going to ask the Suns some questions too, and that's what's going to be the great part of this game, because both teams are trying to play quick. The conditions are going to cause some turnovers and open you up the other way.
It helps when you've got the talent at your disposal, and they've obviously changed so many. Even last year's grand final team, I think there are only 12 premiership players from the side that won it a couple of years earlier, but that's incredible, isn't it, Acker, to completely flip your profile and go from being a slow team to a fast team in 4 years? I mean, we see some teams in the doldrums for 7 to 10 years trying to change their fortunes.
Well, look at Vossi. We were talking about it 5-6 years ago, when he started. So, it's just the way it is. And fast players who can kick and break the game open, you have always got to have those guys in your team. That's never changed for 100 years, mind you. That said, just brilliant. And the Irish guys they get, they're recruiting. Yeah. Oh my goodness! I don't know how they do it. If you want to learn how to recruit, you just go and hang around Geelong for a couple of years. You'll be a star, because they always seem to get it right.
That's we mentioned the 3 out: Stengel, Cameron, and Dangerfield. Well, Cameron was 80-odd goals. I think Dangerfield and Stengel were 30 each or something like that. That's a lot of firepower out of your forward line when you know you're going to have to score against the Suns to be able to stay in the game. So interesting to see who stands up for them and fills that void. Well, while it's different people will, that's a lot of power and a lot of experience out of that forward.
I think Sean Manor will. I mean, you got Graham Myers. Like, these guys just sneak up and kick a few. They got big guys that kick goals too. So, yeah, they're always a danger.
Absolutely.
But it's sweaty out there, I tell you. It's going to be very sweaty.
It's going to be fun up here. Corbin Middlemas and Michael Price to call the footy. We've got Jason Akermanis, who played so much of his career with the Geelong coach in Chris Scott. And we've got Matthew Primus, who played with Damien Hardwick, who, of course, is the coach of the Gold Coast Suns. So 2 men that have plenty of insight. Jamie Stanton is with us on the boundary. We'll check in with Jamie in just a moment. Just repeating, there's no late change. Christian Petrarca is on club debut for the Gold Coast Suns. And Zeke Yuland is going to make his debut tonight, the 18-year-old. He's Bodie Yuland's little brother, picked 2 out of the academy. The comparison that we always get out of the draft to a certain player in the competition, it's a high bar. Errol Goulden, the smooth-moving left footer. So let's see what we get from Zeke Yuland in his brother's old number of number 32. Bodie now going to number 6. There's been a few jumper changes at the Suns. Meanwhile, for Geelong, the only new face there is James Warple in jumper number 29.
Zeke or Zeke?
I think it's Zeke.
It's like Nike and Nike. I
think it's.
Why would you put the E on it if you're not going to? What's the point? It should never be solved.
That's
it's so confusing.
We'll ponder that one throughout the night. A Foundation Sun club champion and life member of the Gold Coast Suns. Part of our team again on ABC Sport. Jamie Stanton is in the front row of the grandstand. Jamie, good evening.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a great night down here, as Zach has already mentioned. It is a little bit sweaty, but over the last 10 or so minutes, it's sort of cooled down a little bit, and every now and then we get a nice northerly breeze coming through the ground. So it will be a bit dewy to start with, but I think it will, after half-time, sort of play a little bit better than normal.
Now, Jamie, is your mum, did you get seats for your mum right next to you?
Mum's actually sitting in my really nice seats that the club has donated to me now with my life membership. So she's living the high life, where I'm working with you guys. So I think I win, but who knows?
You get paid.
You got to watch. You got a tip for us, Jamie?
I I think Gold Coast will get up. I've been really impressed with the boys in the off-season. They've worked really hard. They've had a taste of some finals, and I think they're really after it. And as Aker asked, it's Zeke, not Zeke.
What do you reckon, Aker?
Oh, it's at home. Just go Suns, only because I think they're a top 4 side. So are Geelong. So, yeah, it's a match of matches in round. Is it 0?
Opening round, Matty Primus.
20 points to the Suns.
Pricey?
Yep, Suns just by a little bit. And if there was no E, it'd be Zach.
I think we're going to shut out with the Suns. Could be dangerous. The Cats out to prove everyone wrong yet again. The rising Suns and the forever contending Cats to open their season against one another. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. You're with Michael Price.
Ball up in the middle. Witts taps it forward for the Suns. Anderson tried to kick it off the deck. It was smothered by Atkins. Holmes overran it, picked up by Will Powell. Gets through traffic, enters the corridor, drills the pass. And he hits Bailey Humphrey 45 metres out directly in front.
Oh, that was a sizzler. Just being clean early in the game just makes it easier. A little bit of fumble there. I think Holmes tried to kick it off the ground. That's not going to work. Matty Primus. Only Ruckman trying to do that.
Bailey Humphrey, pick number 6 in the 2022 draft.
6.
Can get the Suns off to a flyer. Launches a bomb. A straight bomb. Suns on the board with the first goal. 48 seconds played. The Suns won straight 6.
What do you think about that, Matty? That first ruck contest.
Yeah, well,
Witts has got the reach.
Witts has got the reach. Yeah, he tried to get out, jumped into long ruck. Just that beautiful ball movement, and that's what they've done with Will Powell. They've played him on ball this pre-season. He's normally been the rebounding half-backer and had a bit of a nasty knee injury, I think it was last year, but he's starting in the centre bounce and just gives him a bit of a different look. He's not a bull, but he's tough, but hasn't got that big body shape, but he's got beautiful class and a sidestep and probably complements the big guys inside they have there. So another thing to keep an eye on, and a beautiful kick inside 50.
Yeah, and it is because look at the Geelong defence. They're playing from behind. Now, when it moves like that, that is going to kill you. All those could be a coach killer. Could be up on them.
Of course, last off-season, Bailey Humphrey spotted walking to tan with Stephen King. The now Melbourne coach in the midfield, Petrarca went without it there. Knocked further afield by Atkins. Geelong get it going forward. Atkins off the deck, kicks inside 50, hitting up Neal. Was he tackled without it? No. Ball spills free to Bledsoe to Atkins. Hand pass away towards Close. His handball swatted down by Noble and out of play. And just to give you an idea on how humid it is, we can see Brad Close's arms. He's got the short sleeves on.
Oh, that is a sign. Even he's like, no, that is too hot. I'm out.
That doesn't happen too often. Opening night for both the Suns and the Cats. Night 2 of the season. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. From the boundary throw-in, Miller there at half-back for the Suns. Hand pass back into dispute. Dempsey again off the deck. Hitting up. Martin collects clean. Tackled by Collins. Hand pass away. Neal got it. Has to deal with Miller. Hand pass goes back to his teammate in O'Connor. He gives it off to Bruin, who's back in the Cats lineup. Good kick. Centering ball and picked off. Manor takes the marks. Virtually straight in front, 25 out.
Oh, it's just the pressure. Both teams have got it to be clean. Manor, I coached him. I'm going to say he's going to kick this. He's a very good set shot. He's a beautiful kick. But kicking off the ground, they're doing everything, Matty. They're just trying to get it forward, create pressure.
Best young player in the competition last year, according to coaches, 28.
28-year-old, not bad, hey?
Yeah, getting drafted at 26, Fairtingham. Poor guy.
The evergreen Sean Manor to kick the first of the Cat season. Straight through it goes. 1 goal each. The game's level after 3 minutes. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Jason Akermanis and Matty Primus.
I don't mind Geelong early kicking the ball off the ground. We heard James Kelly say, hey, the Suns want to take you on all the time and burst through you and put you under pressure. Well, the best way to handle that and stop that is make them turn around and chase the other way. And yeah, Aker, they haven't tried to pick up the ball the first 2 centre bounces. It's just been knock it on, try and get the ball, surge it forward, which isn't pretty, but it gets the Suns defenders and then on ballers chasing the other way. And a beautiful kick then by Bruin. Great to see him back in after the year that he had last year, and to be able to get through all the mental anguish of all that and have a beautiful kick inside 50 and a great kick and goal.
And they've got a good mix down there at the moment. Geelong, couple of tools, 4 smalls, lots of pace, lots of problems, I'd say.
Back into the middle of Carrara. Ball up. Blitzarves versus Witts. Blitzarves wins it forward. Tuke Miller circling the back of the pack. Handball forward to Powell. Active early. Back to Miller on the wing. Commentary side.
wheels around onto his right foot, kicks it inside 50. It's a bit of a wobbler, spoiled by Humphrey. Now it's picked up there by Stewart, gives it back to Guthrie, measures a pass to Tanner Bruin in the right back pocket. He wants to go back to fullback, hits Stewart at the front of the goal square. He goes out to left half back, creates a contest. Oh, Bailey Smith did beautifully against Weller. Took it and took off. Kicks it beyond the wing. Good contest. It was spoiled, and the umpire's going to call a free kick, though. It was Jack Martin, the former son, with a chop of the arms. He chips it into the pocket. He was looking for Nevitt, spoiled by McAndrew over the boundary line. And another free kick, the spoil from Andrew, illegal. Mitch Nevitt, 40 metres out on the boundary line in the left forward pocket.
She saw a bit stiff there, Matty. They were both very soft. Not much in them.
Well, make it easy for the umpires when you take the arms.
It does.
Mitch Nevitt, from the tightest of angles, launches it across the face. Witts has got it covered, smashes it to ground. Closey, handball to Collins, now to Noble. Noble, it's a scrubbing kick. It's going to come back. Picked up there by Jack Henry. 55 out, and he just dribbled. Oh, it's a little baby pass, and it found close. That's got to be about 10.5 metres.
Oh, I'm not buying real estate of him.
He took it 48 metres out, just about 4 metres in from the boundary. On the right-hand side.
Tough kick.
Brad Close. Too close to the man on the mark, in fact. Smothered over the boundary line. He suckered him in. And it's going to be a throw-in across the arc. Good work there from Sam Closey.
It's a good name.
Close versus Closey. Yeah. Ted Closey spent 3 years on Geelong's list. Sam's brother, not there anymore from the boundary throw-in. Or Bruin, hand pass, takes plenty of ground, slides out of bounds forward pocket. Says insufficient intent to keep it in. Free kick Suns.
Yes, we don't have to do that in the middle of the ground at the moment.
Taken by Hewlin in the back pocket. That's Bodie. Back to Collins, defensive goal square, or kicks it out wide, wanted Andrew, missed him. Dempsey intercepts, hands it away to Nevitt, sizes up the sticks, he's offline, misses wildly out to the right.
Lucky, bad turnover.
First behind of the night, one straight, Gold Coast. The Cats 1-1. This is Friday Night Footy on ABC Sport. We are 7 minutes into the opening term.
Noble comes out of the goal square, measures a kick to Christian Petrarca, first disposal with his new club, takes the mark, handball to Closey. He goes long down the line looking for Will Graham. It was beautifully read, intercepted there by O'Sullivan. He chips it forward to Max Holmes. Holmes on the wing, commentary side, launches it towards the arc, and bodies flying everywhere. Collins in his 150th game took the mark, got it back to McAndrew. Dangerous kick, found Lockie Weller just short of the centre square. He flares it out to the commentary wing to Noble.
The kick comes now a hand pass, onto Miller. Miller goes wide, too wide. No, yes, it is too wide. Free kick going the Cats' way.
These are very steep outboxes.
I was looking at the wrong boundary umpire too. The man was right on the spot to my right. I was wondering why the guy on the left hadn't taken any action and made out a cupboard.
So many umpires.
Yeah. Their own squad out there. It's Bruin goes back inboard to Holmes. Long kick down to half forward, and Collins having an impact early. Punches it away. Close in. Legs the footy on the wing. Hand pass to Zeke the freak. Comes moving through. Kicks. Out on the full. So a handball to start for Petrarca and a clanger for Zeke Hewland as he puts his left footer down to half forward out on the full. Geelong by a point, 8 minutes in. Friday Night Footy, ABC Sport.
Only early, but just a lack of composure, isn't it, by the Suns?
Just trying their hardest, I suppose. Picked up by Zeke Hewland on that intercept kick. He puts it inside 50 off the hands of Ethan Reid. Humphrey roves. Handball back to Anderson. From 40 metres, Anderson drills it. No! Hits the post halfway up. It looked like it was curling back beautifully. 1-1-7 apiece, 8.5 gone first term.
Well, chaos footy right there. Oh, that's a better kick from Zeke. Or Zeke, yeah. He was French.
Humphreys into Holmes. Holmes puts his kick out too wide. Out on the full, so free kick for Will Graham, who's going to take it for the Suns. He was one we didn't see in last year's semi-final defeat. The shoulder injury, kicks to the pocket, Packer players up. Oh, inadvertently socket out on the full by De Koning. Free kick, forward pocket for the Suns. And immediately Bailey Humphrey says, I'm keen to take that, goes and grabs the footy.
They're conversing, the umpires. Unless the other umpire is blind, it was pretty obvious. Very unlucky, mind you.
He's going to have to bend it through from a tight angle. Bailey Humphrey, centimetre perfect. Oh, he's got 2. And the Gold Coast Suns with a 6-point buffer. 2-1-13. Geelong 1-1-7. 10 minutes into the opening term. Friday night footy on ABC Sport.
Seen a lot of handball receives, Matty. Particularly, it doesn't matter if they're going wide. They're just getting the game moving, which is keeping everyone on their toes. The defence for Geelong has been good. They've had a couple of wins by being in the right spots and forward. But if they get another one and they run and kick over the top, they are going to get exposed, Geelong.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? It looks like the Suns are, let's just keep the ball going at all costs, get it forward. And, yeah, we might butcher some, but if we just keep overloading their backs, we're going to score. And that's the way it looks early, where Geelong are a bit more methodical when they go inside 50. So a little bit of a contrast early, but it looks like a pretty good game so far.
Everyone's getting involved. The new fellas, Petrarca and the debutants, and Collins has been best on ground so far.
He's a scary prospect, Sam Collins, in defence. Blitz versus Witts, called it a draw. It lands at the foot of the pack, but Witts couldn't quite pick it up, overruns the ball. That gives a chance for Mullen. He handballs it forward, intercepted there by Anderson. He flicked it to Ben Long. He's pressured off it. Warple picks it up, gives it over to Brian Myers. He just chips it 5 metres. Picking it up there was Dempsey. Barreled over, loses the ball. Petrarca enters. We're just forward to centre wing commentary side. Petrarca exits the pack, kicks it inside 50. Ethan Reid with the juggler. There's been a push. It'll go to Geelong. The free kick looks like it's going to go to Connor O'Sullivan in the front of the goal square. He plays on quickly. He's going to turn it over.
Not a great kick. Picked off by Zeke Hewlin. Wants to get back on his left side. Spears it inside 50. Straight back to DeConey. Takes the intercept mark for the Cats.
Oh, it's all happening.
He flares it to halfback for Bruin. It's a frenetic start. Ball's in motion. We haven't had too many stoppages, have we?
No, you wouldn't want to be a ruckman.
Dozen minutes in, free-flowing footy. Kicks short to Humphreys. Marks, plays on. Green lights always for the Cats. Gives it to Myers. Hand pass down the wing for Close. Back to Myers. Keeps it alive. Steps his way around Bodie Hewlin. Kick inboard turnover. And Rioli with the intercept mark at half-back.
Oh, pressure. Pressure from the Suns is up.
He's just holding play up. Bailey Smith standing the mark. He drills it. 45 kick back towards the corridor to Tuke Miller. Once again, Geelong set up nicely in front of him. He's on the point of the centre square, left half back. Now he goes long down the line, looking for Jai Farah. Tunnelled a little bit. Ball spoiled forward. Now there's a pack of players. Petrarca getting down and dirty. It was Alex Davies, in fact. Now he comes out with the ball. Did well. The handball, though, turned over to Bailey Smith. He turns it over to the wing. Tuke Miller pressured off it. Picked up there by Closey. Handball to Weller. Tackled by 2 Cats. And there will be a ball up on the commentary side on the logo here with the Suns leading by a goal.
Oh, frenetic. This is the first one, wouldn't it be, in general play? First stoppage. No ruckman for Geelong.
Reid grabs it out of the ruck. Kick smothered. Ricochets into the path of Manor. He's dragged off it. Weller hands it to Rioli, and now a hand pass to Petrarca for the Suns. Superb delivery. Bounces off the chest to King. Couldn't trap it. Spills to Long. He collects. Close down. Gets boot to ball. His kick trickles out of bounds. So this will be last disposal out of play, and a free kick for the Cats at half back.
Interesting that ball, I call it. The umpire waited for Ethan Reid to run from the forward line to the ruck. Is it only throw-ins or ball-ups they're waiting? Or is
That's
it
a good observation.
Yeah, waited about 10 seconds for him to get there.
He should have just thrown it up.
Yep.
As is the tweak to that rule. So Bruin across the ground to O'Connor, and then the long kick to Wally Henry. Marks defensive side of the wing. Bangs it deep forward. Punched away by Collins. Andrew went without it. Bowled over by Guthrie. Half forward for the Cats. Hand pass away to Warple. Turns, kicks off a step. Right to the behind line. Through for a minor score. And so James Warple with a behind. His first kick as a Cat.
Just the fumbles, isn't it? The fumbles hurt him there.
They brought it back in quickly, the Suns. Weller, and he gets to centre wing. It went over the pack, so in fact it wasn't touched. It will be a last disposal free kick to Geelong. Once again, it's going to go to Connor O'Sullivan. He goes backwards just behind centre wing. Mark O'Connor held up. He's going to go back to O'Sullivan. Now they're forward to centre wing. A long bomb inside 50. Big pack of players. Spoiled by Collins at the front. Well done to Reid. He gives it off to Daniel Rioli. It's an intelligent kick, but Petrarca made it look even better. Bodies his opponent out and then gave it away. Kicked it beyond centre circles. Leonardo Lombard versus Lawson Humphreys. That's a pair of names for you. Now it's picked up there by Zeke Hewlin. Escapes the tackle and drills a left-footer to Bailey Humphrey. He didn't quite meet it. It bounced in front of him. The ball stuck underneath him. Will the umpire pick him? No. It's going to be a ball up 45 metres out, about 45 degrees to the right.
Collins, he has repelled by himself 5 already in the game. Amazing start to his 150th game.
Suns by 5 points, quarter hour in from the restart. One down by Reid, straight to Davies. His hand pass goes back into dispute. Geelong had it, lost it. Now Miller gives it out wide towards Anderson. His kick and turnover. Humphreys off the back flank. Ball continues to zip around. Long kick to the wing. Bodie Hewlin spills it, regathers, gives it to Andrew. Got it out in a hurry. Noble collects, immediately under pressure. Hand pass inside to Reid. Handball to Andrew, still with the Suns, but it's a hot potato. Dishes it off to Bodie Hewlin. Can kick the Suns inside 50. Lombard marks. Turns his opponent inside out. Leo Lombard goals. Hot start for the Suns. They've kicked 3 of the first 4. 3-1-19, Geelong 1-2-8. 15 and a half minutes in. It is the Suns by 11 points. Friday night footy on ABC Sport.
Lombard, what about that? Like a training drill?
What was for him? I think for our listeners, the pressure of the Suns, they talk about an outnumber. Geelong were at them, and there's some great tackles, but red jumpers just outnumbered Geelong jumpers in the 20-metre contest area, and they were able to flick another handball, and eventually they got out, and then a beautiful kick inside 50 resulted in the goal. But their outnumber game, running and pressure power, is really evident in these first 15 minutes of Suns versus the Cats.
And the handballs weren't necessarily awesome either. No. They were to the ground, but just to the advantage of the teammates. Let's just keep that ball alive, keep it going. It's working, and it's so it should. They've got the players to do it.
The pace is hot. We're back into the middle. Ball up. Blitzarves versus Ethan Reid. Blitzarves won it. It was smashed forward. Now the Suns intercept, though. The handball comes back out to Ethan Reid. He flares it beyond centre wing commentary side. Lombard gathers. Put on the afterburners. Got away from Tanner Bruhn. 60 metres out. Drills a pass. Bailey Humphrey again. 40 metres out. 45-degree angle to the left.
Oh, that he did. He was running. His forwards were doing everything wrong, really. They were at a short target and just didn't duck around. I don't know who they were. I think it was King. He just had to duck around, go back long. He had the whole goal square, but instead this short pass, they take it, and he's already kicked. What's kick 1?
He's kicked 2.
Kick 2, sorry. Going for his 3rd in the quarter. Oh, welcome to footy.
Only had the 3 disposals. The 2 goals. Bailey Humphrey launches from just inside 50. That's delightful. An absolute screamer of a kick. 3 for Bailey Humphrey. 17 minutes into the first quarter. The Suns 4-1-25. The Cats 1-2-8.
Oh, just sets shots. Beautiful. Matty, that's just like you back in your day, fella. Just drilling him. The power he's kicking him too.
He's monstering through the goals, isn't he? But just, geez, their speed early, isn't it? All over the ground there. The Geelong, when they win the ball, look okay, but their inability to be able to get the ball back off the Suns and their running power, half back, midfield, and their half forwards really been able to win those one-on-ones and then get ahead of them really quickly. So some danger signs earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cats try and just own the ball for the next couple of minutes and try and take some heat out of this game.
Yeah, get some breath back in. It is very hot down there. Jamie Stanton will tell us. You had the David Boone thermometer out over there. It's very, very humid. It's giving us a wave.
Back in the middle, Ruck shear it down, spills out the way of Davies, and he's dispossessed. Collected here by Holmes. Hand pass away towards Mullen, coming off the back of the square. Short kick to Blitzarves. Hand pass away to Clark. Runs, carries through centre half forward. Long range goal. Superb from the Cats.
Like that.
Out of the engine room and through the middle. And Jai Clark with the major. Gold Coast 4-1-25. Geelong 2-2-14. 18 and a half minutes in. Jamie Stanton on the boundary.
I was just saying, I don't actually know who David Boone is, so I'm probably showing my age here. So I'm unsure.
Oh my goodness!
Turn it up.
Is your phone working? Just Google him. Just Google him.
All right, I'm not sure you're setting me up here or not, but we'll see.
What about this deck? It looks magnificent. I don't know if you've actually stood on it, Jamie, but the speed you can run and the feedback. Look at that goal. Take that, and you're going to see a bit of this early in the season. But play on this deck. It's dreams for guys like me, Matty Primus. Just keep running.
So back into the middle of Carrara on this billiard table of a deck, as Akers pointed out. Jared Witts versus Sam De Koning. And it's the veteran who taps it down, but De Koning robbed him, got tackled into the ground by Alex Davies. A big body midfielder is Davies. Umpire throws it up very quickly. Witts down to Davies. He's pressured off the kick into Will Powell. Like an extra set, he got it through. Picked up there by it was Brian Myers. He was tackled illegally, though. He's going to get the free kick just forward of centre-half back.
Myers is coming back from thumb surgery. Tested out a glove during the week. Doesn't seem to have it on tonight. Short kick to Atkins. Runs out to the wing. Long kick for Dempsey in the pocket. Guess who gets across? It's Collins again, who just punches it out of bounds.
Number 6.
And the Minister of Defence down there just finds the safety of the boundary line.
Yes, I wonder if he's hardly got a good spot in the players' car park, because if he doesn't drive like Ryder Harley, there's something wrong with him. He just looks the part, you know.
14 games for the Dockers, delisted, played for Werribee for a season before being picked up by the Suns, and now here he is, one of the best fullbacks in the game from the boundary throw-in. We'll have a ball up again inside the Cats forward 50.
Maybe it's the mustache. Once he got the mustache, that was it. He's a player.
His superpower. It's like his cape.
Oh, yes.
From the restart down to Will Graham, tackled by Holmes, and now 3 straight stoppages. We haven't seen this all night.
No, but it would be a problem for Colo if he's at the pub, you know, when you drink the beers and it just stays. That's how thick his moustache is. He actually looks like David Boone. Who would have thought?
Witts versus Neil. Witts got it forward. Cats overrun it. Alex Davies overruns it again, picked up by Holmes. Holmes to Jack Martin, former son, tackled. Lets loose a handball. It's on the arc at right half forward for the Cats. Ollie Dempsey just comes through and just taps it back onto the arc. Nice tackling effort there by Joel Jeffrey, who used to wear number 40, now wearing number 16.
Lifted their intensity a bit here, the Cats. They've won the last 4 or 5 contested possessions after getting smacked early.
I think all players taking a breath. You could throw a hanky over about 20 of them. Witts gets it down. Holmes overruns it. Atkins picks it up for the Cats. Tapped it inside the forward 50, though. And once again, a pack of players, and it's the former son in Jack Martin who comes up with the ball. Umpire's going to throw it up, 45 out, 45-degree angle to the right.
Game slowed down a bit here. Witts wins a hit out. Umpire spots a free kick. It's going Geelong's way. And this is a big moment. A free kick is going to go to Jack Martin for a little incident away from the ruckman. Yeah. Will Graham at the centre of it, and now Martin will kick from 50.
Ulan was just hanging on to him. Jack was on the move, as the small forwards do, and played it up a little bit, make sure he got the umpire's attention, and he unpaid it.
He does that, Jack. But can he kick one? He's passing it off.
Tries to go into the pocket. Clark again the target. And Zeke Ulan says, come here. Rolls him over in the tackle. Ball comes out. Says, holding the ball. And young Zeke wins possession. Shows a little of what he can do there with the front-on tackle. Shares it with Noble. Long kick towards the opposite back flank. Finds Jeffrey. Here go the Suns. Rebounding upstairs. Goes long. Not to be. Ball slides out the back. Geelong scoop it up through Stewart.
He kicks it just beyond centre wing. Dempsey takes the mark. Quick handball off to Humphreys. Tackled from behind. Let loose the handball. Picked up by Closey. Handball now back to Jeffrey. Back to Closey. Forward to centre wing. Out of side. Puts it inside 50. Winning the contest there. O'Sullivan promoted it forward. Now the Cats are still going to have control. As Bailey Smith, wearing the customary white headband, kicks it just short of centre wing.
Great mark.
Good mark from Jai Clark in front of Zeke Ulan. He chips it forward to Jack Martin on centre wing. He kicks it to right half forward for the Cats. Collins out front, couldn't quite take it. Nicely done by Neil, promoting a handball forward, but it's going to be rushed over the boundary line about 30 metres out in the right forward pocket by John Noble. In front of the small scoreboard that shows the Suns leading by 11 points.
That forward entry there. Max, big Kingy, geez, just need to move a bit quicker. Good turnover.
Also, Neil, Collins on Neil. He's just paying him no respect and just reading the ball, and Neil's got to try and engage him a little bit more.
Witts grabs it out the ruck. Ball, though, spills to Davies. Gives it to Weller. Hand pass to Dan Rioli. He's off and running. Puts some space between him and Atkins. 2 bounces. Kicks to half forward. Not a good one. Intercepted by Jack Henry. Mowed down by King. Nice chase down tackle. Said he got a handball away. Stewart for Geelong. Hand pass to O'Connor. Went without it the first time. Gives a hot ball to Warple. Hand pass out to Bruin. He can calm it down. And a short kick finds Guthrie, defensive side of the wing for Geelong. 11 points, the Suns lead, time on opening quarter.
Nobody standing the mark. He played on Guthrie, gave it to Warple, just beyond centre wing, close to the boundary. Long inside 50, Witts just spoiled Neil. Now it's with Noble. Noble gets the handball in front of Collins. He's under pressure. Still got it forward to Powell. They're still inside defensive 50. Powell surrounded. Retreats to the top of the goal square to Bodie Hewlin. Then it's with Oscar Adams. It's long kick. Well, looking for and finding out on the just beyond right half back Sam Closey next to the boundary. He centres the ball onto the point of the centre square and finds Will Powell yet again.
Oh, they're struggling to move here, Geelong. They're just a bit gassed. It's been frenetic.
Powell with the long kick to a one-on-one. Long and O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan skims up his knuckles and out of play. 60 out from the Suns' goal.
No, O'Sullivan's, they actually bought my house in Albury. So it was really weird. Now he's playing 2 years later. He's at Geelong. So
there you go. You get a good deal, did he, Aka?
Oh, hell no. Well, it'd be cheap now. No, it was a good deal. His dad's a good fella, Jamal. Good footy player too.
Great name too, isn't it?
Jamal. Yeah.
Jamal O'Sullivan, the father of Connor. Of course, Albury Tiger himself, played in the grand final in the O&M. Hurried kick into the middle of the ground from Holmes. Punched away at the back. Spills Geelong's way. Martin. Oh, dangerous handball to O'Connor. Tackled immediately. Nice work there from Long. Forces a turnover. Anderson trickles a kick down to half forward. Suns work it out. Got it to Reid. Reid's hand passed over to Petrarca. Petrarca steadies. He goals. Instant traction. Christian Petrarca kicks his first as a Sun. And the Gold Coast on top in the opening term. 5-1 to 2-2. 26 minutes into the opening term. Friday night footy on ABC Sport.
Nothing like getting your first goal, Petrarca. We talked about it in the pre-game. He's such a good kick. Just in that last sequence, the Suns pressure, they had the turnover. They actually had a couple, as they should, because it just had players out everywhere. Didn't really have a kick to go to, but just grubbed it along the ground. They had 2 Suns there, and that chaos was able to just keep that momentum and keep it going. Eventually, Petrarca ends up with it, a little flurry of handballs, and then kicks and jumps on his right. Obviously, it should work on the left, but there's his first goal for the Suns. Well done.
That's what he can bring. As you said, he's got the clearance craft, but throwing forward, he can hit the scoreboard.
So hard to tackle.
Back into the middle of Carrara. It's a hot start to this opening round match. Witts gets it forward. Petrarca imposes himself again. The handball back to Davies, who, well, he changed his mind halfway through handballing it to Powell. He had to go back and rescue the situation. Picked it up, kicked it towards left half forward. Bailey Humphrey got rid of Guthrie, picked it up and then tried to drill a pass. It was well intercepted there by O'Sullivan. He got it there to Blitzars, back to Tanner Bruin. He gets around some traffic. It's a dangerous kick towards the arc. Humphreys, Lawson. Well, he spoiled the ball, brought it to ground. Closey picked it up on the arc, kicked it towards Ethan Reid. Takes it in the right forward pocket for the Suns.
Is that King or is it Reid?
Ethan Reid.
There's 2, yes. He moves like King.
25 games, 22 goals, 21.
Let the feathers grow out a little bit too.
He does, yeah. He looks so different.
Oh, going on as some idiots jump the fence, which is why the crowd's getting a little excited at the other end of the ground.
Career onto him. Let me tell you, they're tackling better than Geelong at the moment. Yeah. Those 3. That'll be a fine. That'll be the end of him. Well, obviously had a big afternoon at the golf.
So just as play's held up, that's happening way behind play on the commentary side. He's got the constabulary and security all around him, so they've got the situation in hand. Meanwhile, Ethan Reid.
Back to jail for him.
The man on the mark is standing about 20 from goal. His right leg is only 2 metres from the boundary. Comes in off the long run-up. Just pokes at it a little. Pokes at it a lot. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Geelong.
It's definitely not Ben King. Jamie Stanton on the boundary.
Yeah, just wanted to highlight the security guards. Normally they're known for falling over, but the ones here actually made a really solid tackle, and he was down within a couple of seconds.
Okay, they've been working out. They're way better than the last few years. Let me tell you, they could have gone on a bit of a program.
Stewart, short kick to Myers. Still a fullback for the Cats. Comes out wide to Holmes. Sprawling effort. Can't complete the mark. Spills to Smith. Kicks the Cats down the wing. Noble in the box seat. Knocks it away towards Miller. Noble on his hands and knees. Ushers it out to Adams. Hand pass comes very wide. Weller keeps it alive against the boundary line. Western side. Gives it to Petrarca. Threads a handball to Anderson. Turns into trouble. Gives it to Noble. Noble on the run. That is class. Superb team footy. And the Suns are putting on a show. A 6-goal opening term. Gold Coast 6-1-37. Geelong 2-2-14. Half-hour mark opening quarter. Jason Akermanis, Matty Primus on ABC Sport.
What do you say there?
Forward handballs, Acker. Like, they're under pressure. They are just going forward because that's how they've trained all pre-season, and they are just overwhelming. The outnumber game, the forward handball, they are just bursting through tackles, and the momentum they're getting off that is unreal. And Geelong just cannot hold them up. They're trying to, but they just cannot hold up this powerful Suns half-back midfield line.
And even under pressure, Matty, they can't get it to you cleanly. They'll just put it on the ground to your advantage, which keeps everyone running and play, and the chaos, and it's working. It's hard to defend. It really is. Geelong are going to have their hands full if they don't stop it real soon.
17 inside 50s to 12 in favour of the Gold Coast. They lead the match by 23 points. Back into the middle. Ball thrown up. It was Blitzars who got it down to Warple, controlled it, did it well, got the handball back to Bruin. Bruin now just beyond centre wing on commentary side. Max Holmes takes it beautifully and takes off. Lowers the eyes, tries to drill the pass. It came off the shins of McAndrew, picked up by Close, got it back to Manor. Manor has a snap across the face of goal. Picked up by Sam Collins, and he chips it forward, gets it to Sam Closey. They're out.
Closey, a hand pass away towards Miller, who runs, carries off the back flank. Long kick down the wing. Blitzarves and Reid completing the pack. Ball hits the deck, spills through to Petrarca. Spin move out of one, fends off another. Hand pass in front of Reid. Volleyball spike forward. Miller bangs bodies with Guthrie. Ball spills down towards Powell. He hands it out to Miller. Still at half forward, the Suns to Petrarca. Threads a handball through to Humphrey. Kicks to full forward. King competes. Free kick. King will get it. Left forward pocket.
He could have gone for goal there too. Just unselfish, which is probably too silly in the end, because King really wasn't the best option. He should have just gone. But that said, how many times Sean Manor, I told him, never snap, just kick drop punts, and fair dinkum, they're so inaccurate. But who cares? Have a look at the brightness of those boots, Corbin.
Yes.
You have to be a superstar in my day to wear them. They are yellower than the sun right now. They're yellower than the umpires' outfits.
Is he a superstar in his day? 71-goal season?
Yes.
Top 10 in the BNF last year for the first time. Ben King makes it a 7-goal opening term. A first quarter furnace put on by the Suns. 7-1 to 2-2. And last year's grand finalists are 29 behind. Approaching quarter time. Friday Night Footy, ABC Sport with Acker and Matty Primus.
Yeah, just no answer for the Suns' power. Well, I know I've said it a few times, but even that one then, there was just handball connection, handball connection, handball connection. And if they don't get a great tackle, Geelong, the ball's just bouncing out, and then they eventually get a freedom, and they've got a powerful and a very smart forward six here, but yeah, just they're running in waves. Is something that just Geelong cannot control at all at the moment.
You'd love that as a coach too, Matty. Not handballing to a stationary target if you don't have to. They're always moving either towards or sidewards of the ball carrier, which gives momentum, which everyone runs to. It's been very good to watch this first quarter.
So Ben King with the music that's usually attributed to up the road at Lang Park for the Broncos when they score. And it's Blitzars who wins it. Warple kicks it inside 50 through the hands of Ollie Henry, picked up by McAndrew. The handball to Rioli. They're beyond right half back. Joel Jeffrey kicks it to the wing. Blitzars over the top of Humphreys. And that is an amazing first term from the home side. The Gold Coast Suns launch into opening round. 7-1-43 at quarter time to the Cats 2-2-14. A 29-point margin.
Incredible. 3 goals for Bailey Humphrey. Just the 6th time in his career he's kicked 3 goals in a game. He's done it in a single quarter in his 64th match. Meanwhile, singles down the page, Noble, Petrarca in his new colours, Lombard in just his 5th game, and Ben King, the last to make it a 7-goal term. Meanwhile, for the Cats, Sean Manor kicked the first of Geelong's year and one for Jai Clark. The SMS, 0437 774 774. Richard from Geelong, settling in to watch my beloved Cats with the TV sound down and the ABC radio on. Am I just a deluded Geelong tragic? But I feel like we are really in the mix this year.
We're in the mix every year.
Every single year.
Yeah, right, not right now, but they better get their game going, but they are always a chance, Geelong. Great culture.
How about under Chris Scott? They've played in 10 prelims in 15 years. Like imagine following a footy team and your team plays in the last 4, 2 in every 3 seasons.
Yeah, you shouldn't have much to whinge about, should you?
Oh, Marcus in South Melbourne.
And they wanted to sack him. How many times?
Yeah, amazing. Marcus in South Melbourne, Dennis Cometti, what a legend. Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate that. And from Simon in the York Peninsula in South Australia, great tribute to Dennis Cometti. Great insights. Grew up watching footy with his dulcet tones in harmony with the game. Footy hasn't been the same since he hung up the microphone. Valet from Simon. Simon, appreciate that. Nice to have you with us on ABC.
I'll have to try and get a good one out, Corbin. Maybe, a little bit of Dennis tonight.
Yeah.
There's a few around. It's pretty quick, though. It's very quick for you to call, too. That ball is humming.
Well, I'll leave you to it to put your thinking cap on that front. The thoughts of Aker and Matty Primus coming up next. Friday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Reid, handball to Andrews, still with the Suns, but it's a hot potato. Dishes it off to Bodie Hewland. Can kick the Suns inside 50. Lombard marks, turns his opponent inside out. Leo Lombard goals. Hot start for the Suns.
Now the Suns intercept, though. The handball comes back out to Ethan Reid. He flares it beyond centre wing commentary side. Lombard gathers, put on the afterburners, got away from Tenebroon, 60 metres out, draws a pass. Bailey Humphrey again. Bailey Humphrey launches from just inside 50. That's delightful. An absolute screamer of a kick. 3 for Bailey Humphrey.
Anderson trickles a kick down to half forward. Suns work it out. Got it to Reid. Reid's hand passed over to Petrarca. Petrarca steadies. He goals. Instant traction. Christian Petrarca kicks his first as a Sun. Weller keeps it alive against the boundary line. Western side gives it to Petrarca. Threads a handball to Anderson. Turns into trouble. Gives it to Noble. Noble on the run. That is class. Superb team footy. And the Suns are putting on a show.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Sounds there from the opening quarter. The Suns 7 goals to 2. They lead it by 29 points. 7-1-43 over Geelong 2-2-14. The start of opening round or round 0 in the competition. 10 teams in action this weekend. We've got a double header in the northern states in inverted commas tomorrow. That means New South Wales and Queensland. So there's going to be one game in Sydney, which pits GWS up against Hawthorn, a rematch of last year's elimination final. And then the Dogs, the first team out last year, up against the 2-time reigning premiers in the nightcap. That's at the Gabba, Brisbane and the Western Bulldogs. And then on Sunday, ahead of the holiday in Melbourne, it'll be a Sunday night blockbuster between Collingwood and St Kilda. But our focus is on the Suns and the Cats. Jason Akermanis and Matthew Primus have been keeping a close eye on it all. A 29-point lead for the home team at quarter time.
Yeah, that's offensive juggernaut in that first quarter, and purely they harassed Geelong when they had the ball. And I mentioned a few times that they just got numbers around every contest, and when they did, they exploded. I think 5 goals they kicked off turnover, which had been a bit of their Achilles heel, and they were able to defend it. But every time they went forward, they looked dangerous. It was 1-on-1, 2-on-2s. There was no numbers back, which Geelong, as we mentioned, they like to do. But there's no time for Geelong to breathe. They're just getting suffocated when they've got the ball, and then when the Suns have got it, under the Hardwick regime, which you've seen under Richmond and what he's trying to introduce here, they just play forward. They'll come at you no matter who's standing there. They'll want to come through the middle of the ground with handball, and at the moment it's working brilliantly well. They've really don't have an answer. They've been able to hold the ball inside 50 a little bit, the Cats, but they look null and void going ahead of the ball, and then behind the ball they're getting exposed because of the speed of that movement of the balls coming through, Aker.
Yeah, I wonder what Chris Scott is going to have to do or say. I mean, really, in the end, the tackles, their pressure's been pretty good. Like, it's not like they're not there. They're making the tackles, but they're just so much better, the Suns, at getting it to a free man They've been 3-on-1 at stages, the Suns, but that handball to advantage, with the handball just to give them a chance to then move and give it to the next guy, and the next guy is really unsettling the Cats' defence, which they love and pride themselves on. That said, if they can start to slap away a ball or get a ball in a tackle to get these turnovers, they're looking just a little bit off as far as, because the Suns are making them look, they're just so quick. So what do? Well, I think either they have to play the game and go head on, or they just have to be much sharper around the ball and actually get their hands on the ball, because I don't think they're doing that very well either.
No, they definitely got to get their hands on the ball. The Suns are nearly 1-for-1 kick for handball, so they've got to try and deny them the ball for a little bit, which might make it a bit harder for Geelong to score, but it's going to take a bit of the gas out of the Suns. If they keep playing the same game against them, it's going to be advantage the Suns all night.
We got a message from Marcus in South Melbourne just before. I'm pretty sure it was Marcus in South Melbourne a little earlier, talking about
Sam Collins.
Yes. There was also another one to do with Oisin Mullen and Mark O'Connor, which I'll tell you a little backstory about, given the off-season for the two Irishmen. Back in the middle here as we start quarter number 2. Blitzov's trying to get a kick away. Ball just trickles on towards Atkins. Hand pass to Holmes. He's upended. Suns come up with it. Anderson, handball away to Power. Spears the kick, and Humphrey playing in front, marks centre half forward.
It's a bit far
on edge of the centre square.
Oh, good kick.
He loads up and kicks it deep towards Farah. Carries over his head and out of play, so out on the full.
He's 60 nearly.
He might as well have gone for goal.
There was a question about Oisin Mullen winning the Irish Grand Final on his summer holidays. It was actually Mark O'Connor playing for Dingley, which is a town of 1,600 people. They won their first national title since 1948. So after playing in a grand final for the Cats, goes back home and secures a little bit of silverware in the GAA.
Imagine that party in that town.
There were 1,700 at the pub, let me tell you.
Jared Witts talked to Mark. Handball off to Noble. He kicked it inside 50. It's going to skim off the knuckles of the pack, go back towards the boundary. It's picked up there by Sam de Koning. His handball forward was towed forward, and it's going to be a free kick. What's going here? It's going to be the Suns. I think it might go to Noah Anderson, who had his hands in and around the area. So towed off the deck, I called, but
he was
in danger.
In danger it was, yeah. And there wasn't much of a hand either, but he'll take it.
Yeah, just Jack Henry just sinking the slipper in there. So
a little hand down. It wasn't bending over to pick up with two hands. It was just...
Wasn't like he kicked his fingers.
Oh, yeah,
it's there.
Like technically it's there, but anyway, Jack Henry standing the mark in the left forward pocket.
He did scream out in pain. I think that's what got the umpire.
He's on a reasonable angle, just beyond 45 degrees. Noah Anderson, the skipper of the Suns, that slides off the outside of the boot and just slides in for a behind. So now it's 30 points the margin. 44 plays 14.
Got to make them.
Stewart with the kick-out duties, long to half-back, but it's intercepted. Collins picks it off, gives it to Zeke Hewlin, kicks inside 50, turnover, and Holmes at centre half-back takes the intercept mark.
We'll see what Geelong do here, see if they try and take the sting out of the game.
Laterally to Stewart, short kick to de Koning. And this time's delayed off by hand to Stewart. Margin 30 points the Suns' way. Daring kick across the centre square. O'Sullivan with the height advantage. Outmarks Zeke Hewlin. Short kick to Holmes. Key players involved. Hand pass to Bailey Smith with the headband. Kicks out to half forward. Myers lets it bounce. Collects 55 from home against the boundary line. Kicks with a bit of height in it to the forward pocket. Down there, Nevitt punched away. And Adams finds the safety of the boundary line. We'll have a throw in forward pocket for the Cats.
Yeah, good method. A couple of short kicks, but then some handball overlap off that, but a bit more methodical rather than playing the helter-skelter, and at least he's got the ball down there into the ground.
Yeah, but coming in wide, very wide.
Throw in right forward pocket for the Cats. Off the hands of Witts. Collins charges through, just flicks a little handball into the path of Rioli. Can't pick it up, towed by Manor, and it's cut off by Bodie Hewland. Off to his brother Zeke, who's wearing Bodie's old number, then back to Bodie. They're just waxing the two brothers. A long kick just beyond centre wing. Good contest. Will Graham in the front position. At ground level, he picks it up, then burns off Holmes. He has a bounce. Holmes chases. He delivers inside 50. It was going to be downfield anyway. The mark was taken by Bailey Humphrey, 45 metres out, only about 10 metres in from the boundary. And this is in his distance. It's just a question of accuracy.
What about that coach? If the coach doesn't show that during the week, one-on-one, get it back, and then take him on, has a bounce, hits a short, Very, very good. This is a very confident Suns team.
So Bailey Humphrey's already got 3 on the board, as Corbin pointed out. That's the most he's scored in a game. He's done it a number of times. Approaches the arc, sinks the slipper in. That looks okay. It's a little skinny. Just one behind. 45 plays 14, 31 points the margin. We played 4 minutes of the second term. ABC Sport.
Their structure behind the ball is not real good either, Geelong. They can't get on the outside. Not enough movement. They've got them snookered here, the Suns, with the pressure.
Cats to the northern end. Stewart kicks out towards Smith. He tried to coax the man on the mark. Lombard did well to intercept. Smith tackles in. Ball comes out. Says keep going. Anderson collects for Gold Coast. Handball away towards his teammate there under Rioli. It's picked off by Smith. He's lost it in the tackle. Falls to Anderson. Sharp angle. Kicks to the behind line. Graham trying to reel it in. The ball runs away from him and out of play in the opposite pocket.
Every time they just look dangerous. Their first 3 shots on goal, it could easily be goals. There'll be another 3 goals in front, but Geelong have got nothing at the moment. They can't even get hold of the ball to get it even halfway.
Suns by 31. Throw in the Suns' right forward pocket. Witts got it down to the front. Humphrey goes one way, then the other. It's the left foot snap. It's high into the Carrara sky towards the goal square. Nudged underneath it, King. Cats have the ball. Atkins just escapes the chaser and kicks it just short of centre wing. Sam Collins using his bulk. Then he goes for an ambitious kick towards the corridor. Could be dangerous. Adams put his head over the ball courageously. Caught one high. Gets a free kick against Holmes. He's got it just to the right-hand side of the centre circles.
Mid-season recruit last year, Oscar Adams. Kicks inside the forward 50 here for the Suns to a contest, and O'Sullivan punches it away and out of play.
Who has 2 first names? Oscar Allen.
Oscar Adams.
Adams.
Yeah.
Adams. Well, I suppose there's no Adams, is there?
No, he's from the Adams family.
We'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
30 metres around from the Suns attacking goal from the boundary throw-in.
What are they talking about?
At the feet of the rucker and picked up by Atkins. Bounces the ball away towards, he's throwing me now, to Mad Mac Andrew, who drives the kick long and misses the whole set. And it's out of bounds on the full. We're going to get a conference, and maybe we'll get our first visit to the Arc tonight.
Looked like a point.
Which feels like that's what this game's missing. 6.5 minutes into the second term, and here we go to the video.
Have a look at the moustache on that boundary umpire, though. Like, do people think that he doesn't look dodgy when he's got that moustache?
He's come to cleanse the pool.
He does look. Either that or he's from Mexico, I'm telling you.
So the question is here whether the ball is through from behind or whether it's out on the full.
I thought it was a behind from here, but...
And the ball has gone over the post, so we're not going to see... we're not going to get a spike on the edge.
The goal umpire wanted to call it a behind, but...
Yeah, this is what Kevin Sheedy said. Just make the poles longer. You won't have any problems.
How tall would you like them?
Well, taller than they can kick it, at least as tall as the others.
Taller than you can kick it?
Well, you know.
Taller than they are now.
Well, they're generally going to hit something. Or put a beam that it goes over the beam, you can see it.
They grew in your career, didn't they?
They did. They were very short. Yes, after Lee Matthews took one out, they've never been the same.
Yes.
No one talked about the termites that got hold of that.
Looking at these angles, we can see the ball crosses on the outside of the behind
There we go.
post.
Ball crosses on the outside of the post, so it's out on the full. So after all that, there's no change to the score. 7-3 plays 2-2. Margin's 31. The Gold Coast lead it. 8 minutes into the second term. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Jamie Stanton on the boundary. Corbin Middlemas, Michael Price calling the action. And we got Jason Akermanis and Matthew Primus, our experts, up here on ABC Sport.
Tom Stewart with a beautiful kick to Jack Henry. Outside the defensive 50, he finds Manor. Right against the boundary line at right half back. Now he launches long down the line. There was nowhere else to go. It was cut off by the Suns' defence, off the hands of the pack. Lockie Weller picks it up on the boundary, shoots a handball in, speculating. Lombard through traffic to Anderson. Anderson lowers the eyes. Oh, beautiful. Petrarca from 40. Petrarca! He's got his second for his new club. 11 disposals and 2 goals. It's a fair return. And the Suns extend their lead, 8-3-51 to 2-2-14. It is a 37-point margin, 8.5 gone second term. Jamie Stanton on the boundary.
Well, with the new interchange laws, we've removed the sub and we've got 5 on the bench, and there's 2 game styles that are being played at the moment. Gold Coast are rotating through all 5 really consistently, where Geelong's gone with the I guess, hidden sub. Jai Clark's probably spent 2/3 of his game on the pine, and he's actually had some impact when he's out there. So it'll be interesting to see if Chris Scott changes that approach as the game goes or continues with the unused sub style.
That's a great observation. It's going to be a fascinating watch, isn't it? Same rotations, but 5 on the bench, 5 live players.
Yeah, and it definitely suits the way the Suns are playing in it. It's high tempo, power running, and they've picked a team to be able to continually put numbers through there.
Of course, part of the drawbacks of that is your best players could sit on the bench for longer, but if you've got 23 that can all contribute, you don't have that same issue. So it'll be interesting to see how teams handle it. Free kick for Warple. Windsor holding the ball, call middle of the ground, hands it to Bruin, drives it deep inside 50. Pack collapses. They all miss it. Bounces through for a behind, long range behind off the boot of Tanner Bruin. No one touched it.
Struth. That was like Keystone Cops. What was it called, Brosnan? The Cops? What was that?
Yeah, they were Keystone Cops.
Yeah, that was
black and white.
Everyone went up, but they just didn't get anywhere near the ball.
Why
Six goal lead for the Suns.
Why is Acker suggesting that I'd know more about the Keystone Cops?
Well, that was always a reference. I think Jamie wouldn't even get that one.
I thought you were referring to age. Long kick there came from Bodie Hewland. Out of bounds on the full centre wing commentary side.
We call it experience.
Yes, experience. So she's still trying to work out David Boone.
Blitzarves retreated back to Jack Henry. They're shocked, the Cats. Handball over to Lawson Humphreys. He goes to the opposite wing. Rioli spoils Guthrie. Now at the front, it was Leonardo Lombard. It came off his foot. It's going to be a free kick to Geelong on the outer side.
They've just got nothing ahead of the ball. They just cannot find any winners or any separation anywhere.
O'Sullivan retreats back with the kick, finds Myers, who just dabs it short to Smith. He marks and plays on immediately. And his Karate Kid headband goes long inside the forward 50, lands on the chest of Nevitt. Again, a few flew in front of him, and Mitch Nevitt took a chest mark standing behind the pack. And he'll have a kick here from about 40 out straight in front.
Well, I jinxed him, didn't I? They haven't had a winner, and that one just floated over the back and landed on his chest. But at least I think Bailey Smith then played on quick and got going. But they really look a bit dysfunctional ahead of the ball. All credit to the Suns' defenders who've just got greater position than them.
We've got 5 out there that didn't play in our last game, which of course was the 2025 decider. And this man, Mitch Nevitt, is one of them. Last played round 24 last season. Nevitt. First game of the new year, pops to his first goal of the young season. One the Cats needed. And the margin back to 5 goals. So Gold Coast 8-3-51, Geelong 3-3-21. A dozen minutes gone in the second term. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Jason Akermanis, Matthew Primus.
Yeah, well, probably the last 5 or 6 minutes, the Cats have held the ball, but they haven't been able to find a scoring option inside 50 and have been bouncing out. On that occasion there, they played on a bit quicker from half-back and were able to get the ball inside 50 and have a winner in there. But yeah, once again, it just looks as if there's no leadership down in the Cats forward line. Their 2 tools are younger kind of guys, and they're just getting monstered by the Suns' backs there. But they've got a goal, a bit of momentum and a bit of energy from that score.
So 3 goals from 17 inside 50s for the Cats, 8 from 26 for the Suns. Suns operating at 30.8% and the Cats 17.6%. Back into the middle. Blitzarves got it down to Petrarca, immediately claimed by Warple. The umpire will come in and deliver a secondary ball up.
Which is unlike them, Pricey. Geelong are normally the most efficient team going inside 50 over the last few years.
Blitzarves did well to actually come out with the ball, but he's tackled, holding the agate. They are just all over them, the Suns, at the moment. Daniel Rioli from behind the centre circles, arcs out to his right. Now it's a long kick inside 50. Big pack flies, 3 Cats, and it gets brought to ground. So at ground level, Tanner Bruin's got the ascendancy. He tried to get around him, tackled, holding the ball. They played on, though. Will it be advantage because the kick went wide?
Oh, they did.
It was Ethan Reid and kicked it wide, one behind. The free kick would have been paid for a stationary kick 20 metres out.
What about the pressure, though, Pricey? Amazing.
Suns by 31. Holmes brings the footy back into play to Guthrie, who marks at half-back, hands it off to Humphreys. Handball to Mullen, handball over the top to Myers against the boundary line. Hand pass inside to Humphreys. The handball game comes to a close. Good pressure from the Suns. Usher them out of play and a throw-in. Jai Farah, Amanda shoving Myers over the boundary line. As Quentin Hull would say, that's the Nerang River wing. We're going to have a boundary throwing out there.
It is. There's where all the Mozzies are in the world, right there.
From the boundary throwing, Reid palms it down. Warple soccers it further afield, back into the centre square, almost centre half forward for the Cats. Inadvertently socked away by Manor. Invites Closey in. Wins it back for the Suns. All to Collins. Took too long with it. Gave it to Noble. He's locked up by Ollie Henry. And the ump says, I'll have it. Ball up half forward here for Geelong.
Better pressure. Scotty would be happy with that. Not sure Nathan Buckley will be, but they will be very happy. This is starting to turn.
Inside 50 for the Cats. There's a whistle on play immediately as a Shepherd out in the ruck contest. The free kick will go to Shannon Neal.
Yeah, well, Shannon Neal said he was going to have the ball, and then I forget who was there, the Suns back when they went and just put a body on Neal, not thinking he was going to be the ruckman, and easy free kick against.
So it's Ethan Reid standing the mark 40 metres out.
See, you've got to have smart ruckmen, Matty. Not everyone is like you, mate.
Slight angle to the left. Shannon Neal. Stutter step inside 50. Leans back on it and pulls it terribly to the left. Out of bounds on the full. No score. Suns by 31.
Who was the best ruckman you played with, Aker?
Best ruckman?
Ever.
Well,
no, you played with.
Oh, well, wait, Mr. September. Clark Keating. Been mate since I was 11.
I like it.
How could I go wrong?
The Suns by hand work it out of the defensive arc. Weller off the back flank. The local boy. Long kick in front of the boundary line and that outer wing. And Farah, the target, spills out of play.
I did used to love when Matty Primus played against me and he would just tap it to me. I don't think he'd realise. I was just sharking him.
Trying to give you a couple of kicks, Aker.
Yeah, I was heavily tagged.
Gee, you guys played some good games in those years. The Power and the Brisbane Lions.
I'm still sore from them.
Suns by 31 points. Boundary throw in on that eastern wing. Put inside the forward 50 by Power. Spills off hands through to King. Snaps. Goals. He's got a couple. And again, the Suns stretch it out beyond 6 goals. A 37-point lead for the home team. 9-4-58. Geelong 3-3-21. 15.5 gone in the second term. Friday night footy, ABC Sport.
Just the ability to kick the ball inside 50. Corbin, was that Petrarca kick the ball inside 50 then?
Davies.
But just no pressure on him. He was just out, shoulders out, no pressure on him. I don't care how good Geelong's back line is, how many good players they've got there. There's too many times the Suns have been streaming forward, kicking the ball inside 50 without any pressure, when on the flip side, every ball going inside Geelong's inside 50 is pressure. There's just too much power running. There's coming out through the front, and just putting the Cats defenders under super pressure. And as you know, there's a lot of talent down in that Suns forward line, and they're making them pay.
Leading possession winners for the Suns, though, are in the back line. John Noble's got 11. You've got Sam Collins with 10 and Sam Closey with 10 himself back into the middle. Ethan Reid promotes it forward. It's picked up there by Sam de Koning. The handball forward to O'Connor, back to Atkins on the left foot. It's a bit of a floater towards half forward. Bodie Hewlin brings it down to ground level. Ollie Henry tracks it towards the boundary line, picks it up, curls it around his body, gets it inside 50, off hands, Powell through to Davies, back to McAndrew, right hand, right half back to Bodie Hewlin, then short of the wing to Lockie Weller. He kicks it to the point of the centre square at half forward. Ben Long used his body at the back. Jai Clark roved it beautifully for the Cats. He's going to turn it over. There he is again. Man Mountain, Sam Collins in his 150th.
He's having a night. Hands it off towards Jeffrey. Kicks to centre half forward. Long the target. Knocked away from him. Clark picks it up. Tackled by Davies.
Oh, he's had a couple of stinkers kicked to him too long. Just got absolutely kneed in the ribs of that one. Do you like it a little bit lower and give you a chance?
Ball up after all that. Part of the All-Australian squad last year, Ben Long. From the restart, Zeke Hewlin tracking it, buffeted it off it. Warple soccers it over halfway for the Cats. Adams collects, handball away towards Andrew, trying to burst his way through the tackle, coughs it up. Atkins for Geelong, just kicks laterally out into space. Broadcast wing, Zeke Hewlin should be the first one there. Collects, tries to beat 2 tacklers, ball comes out. Anderson keeps his feet, clever. His little tunnel ball whacks it back to the advantage of Zeke Hewlin. Hand pass to Adams, back to Zeke. Zeke kicks through traffic. Anderson, awkward bounce, can't trap it.
It was a mongrel kick, but it got to Bailey Smith in the end by accident, to Atkins, back to Manor. Bumped as he kicked it. As he kicked it, the umpire said it was downfield, said it was after. I dispute that. Jack Martin takes it 70 metres out, the free kick. He kicks it inside 50, overcooks it, went over the head there of Nevitt, picked up by McAndrew, the handball to Noble. Back to Zeke Hewlin, back to Noble. They're outside 50 now. Noble drills it towards the wing. Good use of the body there by Zach Guthrie against Lombard. He takes the mark but retreats with the kick.
Zeke Hewlin hasn't had an issue finding it at AFL level. Step up in class.
Oh, he's been very good, very clean too, except for that first kick. We don't want to talk about that.
Taccone to Atkins, short kicking game, put too much on it, sat it on Smith's head, broke it up. Nice work by Davies, spills down towards Lombard. Sequence of handballs, Powell to Noble, trying to give it back to Lombard. The walls close in, Cats win it back. Here's Guthrie, got it from O'Connor, gives it to Holmes. Handball across the ground, now to O'Sullivan. Short kick out in front of Humphreys. Collects 60 metres from home. Kicks inside the forward pocket. Dempsey hitting up and marking against the boundary line, 30 metres out.
Beautiful kick inside 50, wasn't it?
Well, that's what you want. Shots from the boundary. Very difficult to kick. They are playing better, Geelong. There's a lot more pressure. It's tough, though. You're starting to see this, the old Matty Primus, the sweat comes onto the hands and it's starting to stuff the handballs, getting slippery. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
And the rising star in 2024 played every game last year, one of 6 to do so at the Cats.
I think they're racist down there. They seem to always get blonde guys. Norwegians.
Dempsey, right foot against the boundary line. The drop punt goes across the goal face and punched through for a minor score. So 9-4 plays 3-4. It's a 6-goal lead for the Suns. 20-minute mark, second term.
Must be in the brief. We need some more blonde players.
Still very slippery and sticky here at Carrara. 85% humidity, and at the moment it's still 26 degrees. Local time is 8:05, so it's a warm and sticky evening. Zeke Hewlin, 11th disposal coming up, takes the mark on the arc. Right half back. That's a prodigious left foot kick. Kicks it on top of Ben King coming down. Sorry, it was Ethan Reid off his hands. It was flicked up beautifully by Petrarca. Lombard gives the don't argue, picks it up and kicks it beyond the boundary line, out of bounds on the full. It's going to be a free kick to Geelong inside defensive 50. It's going to be picked up by Tom Stewart.
He's off the line there. But what about the handball from their newest and Petrarca, their greatest recruit? Just didn't even look, and straight to his teammate.
Stewart long down the wing, off the hands of Bodie Hewlin, spills through towards Blitzarps. He's knocked off the footy. Here's Bodie Hewlin, traps it on his knees. Hand pass out to Noble. He gives it to Zeke Hewlin. Kicks inside the forward 50. Long's looking for a run at it, not to be. Ball spills out Geelong's way. Jack Henry trying to get boot the ball. Tumbles a kick. 5 metres to DeConing. Handball to Mullen. Mullen's tackled, taken out of play. Says throw it in. 55 out from the Suns goal.
They do a lot of this. I don't know if you saw that on Instagram, but they do a lot of that where they break tackles or make tackles and bust tackles. So we're seeing it right here tonight. They are doing just that. Be clean, and then they're taking every chance they get to break that tackle.
They're irrepressible at the moment, the Suns. They are attacking every contest. The throw in, 55 out. Petrarca crosses the 50. Under pressure as he kicks it towards the left forward pocket off hands. It goes over the boundary line beside the point post. It will be a throw in. Just couldn't straighten up there, Christian Petrarca.
No left foot, the big fella.
12 disposals, 2 goals and 4 score involvements already for his new club.
He paid $2 million and got no left foot. Unbelievable.
He's made it work for him, though, hasn't he? Across his career so far, from the boundary throw in to Coney. Dispossessed, spills out to Stewart, fullback. Hand pass away to Atkins for Geelong. Breaks through the tackle, gives it to Warple, gets it back. Atkins off the back flank. Slips through the hands of Dempsey. Picked off by Andrew. Hand pass to half forward, finds Davies. Feeds it further forward to Jeffrey. Runs into traffic. Pressure applied by the Cats. They win it back. Bruin, dangerous hand pass trying to clear. Straight to Tuke Miller. Straight over the goal umpire's cap. And the Suns make them pay. Pressure overwhelming. And the Gold Coast, their lead, now drifts out to 7 goals. 10-4-64. Geelong 3-4-22. Maybe the time is now for the Gold Coast Suns. ABC Sport, Friday Night Footy.
Just a handball chain there. Matty coming out the back line. They just don't have any sort of cleanliness and connection, Geelong, to just get blokes out and just trust what they're doing. They've got the swarm of the Suns there, and you turn it over and just they keep the ball alive. And Tuke Miller, we talked about him being down there for his pressure, and he can kick goals. So he used to just never go out of the midfield, but this is just a Suns team that's got experience, got everything going for it now.
You hit the nail on the head. They just love to keep the ball alive. And Corbin, you mentioned that pressure is just irrepressible at the moment.
Ball up. Petrarca at the foot of the pack. Oh, then he gathers and flicks it forward, towed off the deck by Tanner Bruin, but guess who? Petrarca intercepted it. His handball in turn intercepted by Tanner Bruin. He put it forward to Manor. He flicks it forward. Ollie Henry. He gives it back to Brian Myers, who's tackled high on the arc. The ball gets loose. Bodie Hewlin turns it over. His handball smothered. He gathered it back. Now flicked it up to Tuke Miller. He goes into the corridor. Put his teammate in danger. It was towed indiscriminately off the deck and hits Ollie Henry 40 metres out, more or less directly in front.
That was a soccer 25-metre bullet, if you don't mind. I don't know what he's doing down there. Obviously, they've gone forward. He's not doing much in defence. But anyway, what a kick, what a mark. Easy by himself, 25 metres.
It was Tanner Bruin who was involved 3 times in that passage.
Had a good game, Tanner Bruin. Not sure his stats pricey, but he's definitely bounced back very well from the year last year.
Well, 14 disposals, 11 kicks in that, including that magnificent soccer kick. Now Ollie Henry launches this one. That's a nice kick. That is a beautiful kick. Gets the Cats' 4th goal and drags them back to 36 points behind. 10-4-64 the Suns to 4-4-28 the Cats. 24 and a half gone second term. ABC Sport.
No, my bad. He is a goal kicker. I've got the wrong one there, but yes. Do you love that, Matty? Soccer off the ground. You're just standing in the 50.
Absolutely.
25 metres from anyone else.
Didn't happen often to me, Aker. Maybe to you, mate. But once again, the forward handball of the Suns, every now and then that is going to come undone if the teams are switched on and there's good pressure. But more often than not tonight, that chain has got through and given them great looks on goal. And on that occasion then there was a turnover and a lucky soccer kick, but they got a turnover in their front half, which have been not too many of them tonight for the Cats.
Yeah, they still look dangerous. They still look like they were going to come back through the middle and they get a bit inside forward 50. Didn't work that time, but did work.
Didn't play after round 18 last year, Ollie Henry, so had to earn his spot back in the team. Emergency on grand final day. Warple gets it out of the middle. And Warpedo with a long bullet to full forward, not to be. Spills down the Suns' way. And Jeffrey, a calm head. A lad from the territory, settles it down. Short kick to Noble.
I might try and hold on to the ball here late in the quarter.
The margin is 36 Gold Coast way. Time on second term. Long kick to a pack on the wing. Reed almost reaches and plucks it from over the top of all of them and then inadvertently sobs out play on the full. It would have been a free kick under the old rules. And it's going to go Bruins' way.
I think Jamie Stanton got that one.
Back and across to Myers, who's on the back flank. This is going to retreat all the way back to Jack Henry in the defensive 50. So Suns by 6 goals. 26 and a half gone second term. Friday night footy on ABC Sport.
Jack Henry back to Myers. Myers goes to the wing. Bailey Smith. He's confronted by 3 Suns. Gets barreled over by Ethan Reid. He looks up to the umpire and says, how about that? The umpire ignores him at the foot of the pack. It's going to be a free kick going to the Gold Coast Suns because who was it who dived on it? It was O'Sullivan. Just sort of hatched it. Lockie Weller.
You're going to have a shot here, Weller.
Oh, he's forward to centre wing. He's 90 from goal, Aker. He pops it up to a very dangerous area. Ben Long disrupted. Foot of the pack. Ethan Reid picks it up. He's dispossessed. Tuke Miller handball forward. Jai Farah had it. Turned it over. Holmes handballs it straight over the boundary line.
Rolled in.
They did appeal like it was caught at first slip, but it's going to be a throw-in right forward pocket for the Suns. The Suns crowd didn't like that one.
And Pricey, that's what we were talking about. It gets so slippery, the ball, where you try and handball it like normal, it just doesn't happen. He's very lucky about that one.
6-goal lead for the Suns. Can they add more to it here from the boundary throw-in? Blitzarves down to O'Connor. Tackled. Ball comes out. Anderson fed the handball. Floats a kick. Goalward. He misses. Clips the post on the way through. Of course, all this without Matt Rowell tonight, missing, having played the last 104 games for Gold Coast. 37-point lead for the Suns. 28 minutes gone in the second term. Friday night footy, ABC Sport.
O'Sullivan, handball over the top now to Lawson Humphries. He gives it back to Tanner Bruin. Explodes past the arc of 50, has a bounce, then kicks it beyond centre wing out aside to Ollie Henry. He's confronted by Bodie Hewlin. Could have been a free kick off hands. It goes over the boundary.
On the full there.
Now,
who's he going to call that to?
I thought it was either a handball or a kick. I didn't see either of those. I thought it just came off hands, but regardless, there's a few Cats fans over that side. They gave the umpire the berries. It goes to Bodie Hewlin. Bodie now beyond centre wing. Good mark from Jack Henry. Flew in front of Ethan Reid. Took a very strong defensive grab. He wants to play on quickly. Goes beyond centre wing. Brian Myers chips a 9-9 towards Nevitt. Nevitt 70 from goal at right half forward, right against the boundary line. He kicks it into the pocket. Looking for, went through the hands of Ollie Henry at the ground level. Neal picks it up. He's tackled. He could be pinged here for holding the ball. It escapes. Picked up by Myers. No, it was O'Connor, in fact, had a flying shot. And it missed to the left, one behind. Pretty frenetic stuff, slippery ball. 65 plays 29.
They put a lot into this, both sides. Late in the quarter, just over a minute to go. Oh, boy, there's a few tired guys out there.
Rioli brings it in. 1-2 with Collins. Receives a hand pass back. Drives a kick to the wing. Punched over the top. Blitzards. Geelong scoop it up. Bruin. A 1-2 by hand with DeConey. Now a centering kick finds Myers. Hand pass away to Smith. Arches the back. Runs around Miller. Kick goes very wide. Out of bounds on the full.
No, just landed on the line. That'll be a Hawkeye tennis. Just a little bit of a puff of whatever they call that paint down there.
The boundary umpire saw it the same way as you. So that this will be thrown in 40 metres out from the Cats' goal.
It's the guy with the moustache, I told you.
Yeah.
Dodgy.
Don't know. Right on. If it was on the line, it was only just. Shallow boundary throw in. Still there to be one. Picked up here by Martin. Had an arm being held and just threw it out. And the ump was all over that. Free kick for the Suns. They'll get it at half back, and it'll be the tackler, as is customary, rewarded, Dan Rioli.
He retreats, goes back to his partner in crime, Jai Farah. He holds play up. He's still inside defensive 50. Now it's a long kick towards commentary wing. Witts stood his ground, made it difficult. Jack Henry picked it up. He was actually tackled and turned over, bulldog style.
It's like they've been doing wrestling, you know. A bit of BJJ over the summer.
Now it's ball up, commentary wing, off hands, Petrarca, tackled by Bailey Smith. Got a dodgy handball away to Will Powell. That's a beautiful kick. Centering ball towards the corridor, and it found Ben Long. Gave it to Took Miller, a long launch inside 50, but it was ill-directed. It was picked up there by O'Sullivan. He's turned it over. Talk about ill-directed. Will Powell chips it inside 50. Looking for Reid. Spoiled there at ground level. Ben Long picks it up. Has a snap from 30. And another one for the Suns. They're 11th. The bugle sounds 11-5-71 to Geelong. 4-5-29. Back to that game-high 42-point margin late in the second quarter.
They couldn't have given enough opportunities, could they? The Geelong gave the ball back 3 times, and unfortunately for them, the siren's going to sound as soon as they bounce the ball here. So just what they didn't want right onto half-time. But once again, just that pressure and just absorbing the heat the whole time. Geelong just panicked, and which you really don't see Geelong's back line much, do you, Aker? But they certainly have tonight.
No, just even the kick coming off the boot of Connor O'Sullivan. He just couldn't get the purchase because of the weather. And just another turnover. Although Ben Long has been dangerous all night. That was frustrating to watch. That's how slippery it is. But good to see him get rewarded, kick a goal. That said, they probably won't bounce it down. They're going to throw it up. That'll be half-time.
Up it goes, and there's the siren. And what a half of football for the Gold Coast Suns. They opened the season with a marquee Friday night fixture against last year's grand finalists. And the Suns have put on a showcase. 11 goals to 4. And at half-time, it is a game-high lead for the Gold Coast. 42 points they're on top. 11-5-71. Geelong 4-5-29. The goal kickers for the Suns, 3 for Bailey Humphrey. They all came in the opening quarter, 2 each for Petrarca in his new colours and Ben King. So that makes up 7 of the goals. And then there's singles for Noble, Lombard, Miller and Long. Meanwhile for Geelong, singles all the way down the page. So 1 for Manor, 1 for Clark, 1 for Nevitt and 1 for Henry. So all with 1 each for Geelong. At half-time, 42 points the Suns lead to start their season against last year's beaten grand finalists. The players that are missing from last year, or at least from their best teams. So Rouse had finger surgery, so he's not going to be sighted the first few weeks of the season. Rogers and Ballard are on their way back from injury, playing in the VFL. Jed Walters suspended, so he's unavailable, and they've got Jamara Ugle-Hagan, who's just tuning up nicely in the Magoos, still to come back into this team at some point. Meanwhile for Geelong, Jeremy Cameron's got a quad injury after having that fractured arm on grand final day, which has taken a long time to heal, so an interrupted summer. Patrick Dangerfield's hurt his calf. He's not playing. Stanley's been held over. And Tyson Stengel away from the club due to personal reasons. But apart from that, the two teams fully loaded. Just a couple of players from each team unavailable, and throw it all together. 42 points is the gap in the game at halftime on night one of the new season for both the Suns and the Cats. Off the SMS, ahead of the thoughts from Aker and Matthew Primus. Hi guys, Rory in Melbourne. Blind listener, loving your commentary. Great to have the season start on time with all 5 opening round matches with the green light after Cyclone Alfred cost us 2 days of the footy last year. It certainly did. Of course, what was meant to be the opening round game turned out to be the final game of the home and away season between the Bombers and the Suns, as they booked their place in the finals, and we know what happened thereafter. Hi from Martin in the UK. Suns are on fire. Great to have footy back. Dennis Cometti, what a legend. Nice to hear from you, Martin. And from Richard in Geelong, is Took Miller the last player in the AFL senior competition to wear traditional long socks? I can't think of anyone else.
I always wore them, but I did retire 2010.
Yeah, I think you'll find a few rucks do it now because they'll have the big
shin guards.
But yeah, Took has done that from the day he walked into the Suns. His boots polished and socks up.
Always had the socks up.
Yep.
Always.
But yeah, you're right.
Mum said my legs look longer.
Jason Horne-Francis, I reckon he
does. Yep.
Yes.
0437 774
Paddy Dangerfield does.
Paddy Dangerfield does, yes.
There you go. There's a couple of good nominations. 0437 774 774. Socks up. Who still does it in the modern game? That's what we're keen to find out. Oh. Jason Akermanis, Matthew Primus are here to tell us about the half of footy we've seen. Gee, it's one-way traffic. It's a 7-goal lead for the home team at halftime.
Matty, you're going to say what I suspect you will. They're just a chaos footy, unbelievable pressure, keeping the ball alive, finding a teammate. It got a little bit scrappy at the end there with a couple of turnovers, but there's so much that Geelong couldn't do. They really just sweated on. They did pick up their pressure late in that second half of the second quarter and got reward, and they've been accurate. So they've just won everything everywhere. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half, because they've got a lot of work to do, Geelong, but I just want to see, are Gold Coast just going to keep it that grind and grit and keep going?
They remind me a little bit, Acker, of when you played for Brisbane. You know, you guys were big on that forward handball. It was more just forward handball to space and off you go. But I watched them train a couple of times pre-season, and all the drills are about, if I've got the ball, I'm taking you on, Acker, and then trying to get through you. And then if I get tackled, I'm going to feed it on to somebody else. So they keep outnumbering and keep getting numbers around the contest. And Geelong just don't have an answer for it. They are trying. Like, I think we had a pressure rate. I'm sure it's very high for Geelong, but they just cannot dispossess the ball or knock it off its hinges or get a tackle and hold the ball in. The Suns are just too powerful in the contest, and then their leg speed to get out is amazing. And, because a lot of their stats are similar-ish, but they're going, what was I reading before? 105 kicks and 104 handballs the Suns are. So you can see how they're trying to play. And when the team normally does over handball, you're like, hey, we've got a great chance to tackle them and get turnovers here. But Geelong just cannot force any turnovers at all.
They are there.
They are there, but they're
getting it on.
They're just too strong and too powerful, and then their game plan is working beautifully. So Dimmer would be thrilled with what they're doing, and not too much to work on. They're defending really well behind the ball, the Suns. Geelong's forwards look like they don't have much of a clue what to do there, and that's a bit of because of the ball movement hasn't been great. But yeah, if you were a Suns forward, you'd be licking your lips, Acker, with the ball that's coming in and how quickly and how easily it's coming inside your forward 50.
Yeah, it is staying alive. Like, it's not like it's going in and coming straight back out there. Geelong are really struggling. They're doing so much on defence because they're not winning the ball, and then they're keeping alive the Suns. On offence, they're coming out. They've got some run, but there's no one to really kick it to. They're covered off their structure behind the ball. The Suns, excellent.
Both ends of the field, Geelong are really struggling, aren't they? Their backs and their forwards are really getting beaten handsomely.
You were worried about that. You were worried about the fact that when they do turn it over, they got scored against too easily. It's not happening tonight.
Yeah. Christian Petrarca in his new colours. Not about half a footy, is it? 16 disposals and 2 goals.
And the style of play suits him beautifully. Yeah. You know, he will want to take people on and get on the end of handballs too, because he's a great runner and a beautiful finisher on the goal. So yeah, definitely the style of the Suns' play suits Christian the way he likes to play. You know, when Melbourne when they were the bee's knees, and then that forward handball and around stoppages and all those sorts of things, he was amazing, and he's certainly been able to do that tonight.
And we saw this under Dimmer at Richmond, didn't we? Where it's, and not to be disrespectful, it's not a super complex game style. It's, everybody precious. We're all doing it together, and we're going direct to goal as much as we can, but we're running in waves. We're using the ball well and fast, and it's exciting footy to watch. I mean, you've been treated to a tremendous half of footy here. 11 goals from the Suns in the first half, 11-5 to 4-5.
Sorry, Corbin, and everybody gets involved in it. So while there are some good numbers in the modern game, there's always your mids have big numbers. But as you mentioned through that second quarter, the half-backs were the high possession winners. So it's everybody gets involved in it, and they don't rely on a route will have 40. Now, he'll have that because he gets them around stoppages, but a lot of players, their half-backs, their wingers, their on-ballers, even their half-forwards get involved in their play and have lots of touches of the ball.
It's exciting to watch.
It's not too often a Chris Scott coach team's 7 goals down at half-time.
Yeah, but if I know one thing about Chris Scott is he will come up with something and they will be better. I'm not saying they'll even get anywhere near the goals that they've kicked, as in the opposition in the Suns, but he will find about a few plays and he might throw it around a bit. Chris is always like that, but everything they're doing is really not working other than the odd turnover and a couple of really classy efforts.
Yeah, they're just not winning enough of the ball, and that's easy for everyone to say, but minus 18 contested possession, and they're just, you're going to be up against it, and then the style of play they're confronted with makes it doubly hard.
The killer will be broken tackles. He'll hate that, Scotty, because he knows how good tackles are and how important they are, and they are just getting, with the weather and everything and the speed of the Suns, they are just breaking too many tackles.
Tanner Bruin on his return, 18 disposals, the chief possession getter on the ground a half-time. We'll wait and see. Last night we had an 85-point turnaround in the second half. So there's a reason to keep listening. That's still to come, the second half in front of us here, Friday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Hi, I'm David Spears. Join me for the ABC National Forum, hearing from Jewish Australians about belonging, overcoming hatred and hopes for a brighter future. The ABC National Forum, tonight 8:30 on ABC TV and ABC iView.
ABC Sport Digital Radio, your home of netball. This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Off the hands of the pack. Lockie Weller picks it up on the boundary, shoots a handball in, speculating. Lombard through traffic to Anderson. Anderson lowers the eyes. Oh, beautiful. Petrarca from 40. Petrarca! He's got his second for his new club.
O'Sullivan retreats back with the kick, finds Myers, who just dabs it short to Smith. He marks and plays on immediately. His Karate Kid headband goes long inside the forward 50, lands on the chest of Nevin. First game of the new year, pops her his first goal of the young season. One the Cats needed. Boundary throw in on that eastern wing, put inside the forward 50 by Powell, spills off hands, through to King, snaps, goals. He's got a couple. And again, the Suns stretch it out beyond 6 goals. Davies feeds it further forward to Jeffrey, runs into traffic. Pressure applied by the Cats. They win it back. Oh, Bruin, dangerous hand pass trying to clear. Straight to Tuke Miller. Straight over the goal umpire's cap. And the Suns make them pay. Pressure overwhelming.
It's picked up there by O'Sullivan. He's turned it over. Talk about ill-directed. Will Powell chips it inside 50. Looking for Reed. Spoiled there at ground level. Ben Long picks it up. Has a snap from 30. And another one for the Suns. They're 11th.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
It's been a showcase so far for the home team. They are 42 points up at halftime. The Gold Coast Suns with a rare Friday night marquee fixture. I say rare, it might become commonplace in the not too distant future. They led by 29 at quarter time. They led by 42 at the half. Friday night footy on ABC Sport as opening round continues. Corbin Middlemas and Michael Price in commentary. Matthew Primus, the dual All-Australian former AFL coach with Port Adelaide, former captain, of course, with the same club. Plus Jason Akermanis, the triple premiership player and Brownlow medalist, part of your call team tonight. Jamie Stanton, life member of the Gold Coast Suns, with us on the boundary, of course, AFLW star for the Suns. Now, in the women's test match that's being played at the moment over in Perth at the WACA ground, India are batting first. The Aussie women won the toss. They decided to field first. India 8 for 193. So 8 for 193 is the score. There is a call of that game available through the ABC Listen app. So just check that out, and you can catch coverage from 4:30 Eastern. That's what time the first ball is. Our coverage will begin from 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time right throughout the women's test being played in Perth. Jemima Rodrigues top scoring with 52 so far. Little plucky, unbeaten 31 for Kashfi Gautam at the moment. And as far as their wicket takers are concerned, Lucy Hamilton in the debut test match, 3 for 31.
The girl from Bundy.
How good's that?
She's a ripper too.
3 for 44 for Annabelle Sutherland, the day so far for the Aussie women. Also, on the ABC Listen app, as always, you can find coverage of the NRL. Earlier tonight, the Wars, big win over the Sydney City Roosters, now featuring Daly Cherry Evans, 42-18. So the Warriors, big winners over the Roosters there, 42-18. In the late game, the Brisbane Broncos playing up the M1 at Lang Park against the Penny Panthers. The Panthers 20, the Broncos...
Ooh.
Zip. Not a single score so far.
0. One fat lady.
So that is 15 minutes to go, 20-0. The Panthers all over the Broncos in the NRL. And, of course, the Asian Cup continues, the AFC Women's Asian Cup, which you can find coverage of that through our channels here on ABC Sport. Again, ABC Listen's the place to find it. The big fixture that we're on the lookout for is the Matildas, who play on Sunday. They're up against Korea, so you can find coverage of that game. Plus, the entire competition more broadly, so you can find all of it through ABC Listen, so you can tune in there and see what's going on with the fixture in the AFC Women's Cup. Matildas and Korea. Sunday night is the one to look out for there among all the other various games.
There's a lot on. Is there going to be a Caucasian Cup?
There is the Caucasian Cup.
Yeah,
I think the Asian...
Is that racist?
Well, I think the Asian Cup does classify plenty of Caucasian people as well.
What about Caucasian? Is that just European?
Asia includes Australasia.
Australasia.
There's plenty of people from all different backgrounds, I'm sure, competing in the Asian Cup as that rolls on. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Your thoughts on the SMS? Loving the call. Beck from Freo, listening from Vietnam and worried about the Eagles playing the Suns next week.
Good luck.
Oh, boy.
Well, I don't think she'll be in Vietnam next week. I think she might be back, but Vietnam. I hear good things.
Stay in Vietnam till that game.
That's in Asia too, Adam.
That's also in Asia, yes.
It certainly is.
See?
I automatically have a soft spot for players who sport the long socks. Just a sucker for the nostalgia.
Yeah, we like nostalgia. Soon they'll be wanting to bring the bounce back and... Oh, mercy. So much going on tonight. But let me tell you, have we got a second half that Geelong need to find something?
0437 774 774, the SMS number. You mentioned your old mate Chris Scott. He'll have something in the second half. What would you do if you were trying to give these Cats some advice? How do they get themselves back in the game?
Well, I would think he wants just a contested possession to be better, but looking at what he's done with his 5 on the bench, he's going to get this run. So he looks like it's only taken him a half, as Jamie Stanton said, not benefiting from the 5 and not using the 5, unlike the Suns, who are just rotating, get some run. So that'll be the one thing. And then the guys in the middle of their talent, so they are going to have to go hard. And everyone on the outside, I think the halfback flankers are going to want some serious dash from, which they look like they've done. Well, it's going to be... Now it's up to you, fellas.
All right, thoughts of Jason Akermanis alongside Matthew Primus, Jamie Stanton on the boundary. I'm Corbin Middlemas, and here's Michael Price.
It's Witts who gets it down to Anderson, immediately kicks it towards right half forward. Long scragged off the ball, picked up there by O'Connor. Kicks it towards left half forward for the Cats. It beats all comers except for Jack Martin. Handball backwards to Brian Myers. He goes left, then right. Hooks it inside 50. Nevitt tried to bring it to ground. Picked up there by Jeffrey. Handball over the top to Bodie Hewlin. He kicks it short of centre wing. They could be out here too. Guy Farah. The handball to Dan Rioli. Goes beyond centre wing out of side. 1, 2, 3 bounces. Gets to 70 from goal. The handball to Ethan Reid from the arc. He kicks it. Oh, he wasted that. He had players out everywhere. He butchered that kick. It was cut off by the Cats, and they should be out here through De Koning.
De Koning turns it over. Miller takes the intercept mark. I've just found that pressure relentless all night.
That is a coach killer.
I was going to say that disposal doesn't help though.
No. Too many options. Sometimes I think players have 3 options and then they just get so flustered.
Miller short to Anderson. Anderson on the logo. Long kick into the pocket. Big Ethan Reid's down there in the pack. Juggled effort not to be. Falls to Jack Henry. He's tackled. Got a hand pass away. Still alive. Forward pocket for the Suns. Humphrey trying to thread it through. Got it at Petrarca. Back to Humphrey. Humphrey hooks it through for number 4. And he's having a night out as the Suns pull further in front. And the Gold Coast Suns now lead it by 8 goals. A new high water mark, 12-5 to 4-5. 90 seconds into the third term. Friday night footy, ABC Sport.
Well, there hasn't been any changes either. Geelong's midfield was, or the starting midfield at the start of the game. And, sort of went inside 50, but they were lucky the first inside 50, as you call, Pricey. The Suns butchered it with a kick inside 50, but in the end, that was just a hard contest. And then Bailey Humphrey just waltzed in. Beautiful finish, but waltzed in with not much pressure on himself again. So danger signs here for Cats. You know, this margin could blow out very quickly the way the Suns are playing, and this could be an ugly loss.
Yeah, not what you want round 0, but that said, what a Geelong, we can't do much more. They just got to win the ball, get it going forward.
So the handball, the last handball came from Petrarca in the end, and 6 score involvements. The Cats get this clearance though. The handball from Atkins missed the target in Holmes at centre half back. Big widths, gets it back down the corridor to Petrarca. Lowers the eyes, hits Bailey Humphrey again. He's the hot hand. He takes it 45 out, more or less directly in front.
Just how quickly they go from offence to defence. You know, that ball was under. Half back line kicked in there, and then they just went bang, and then Petrarca was goal side of Smith within a heartbeat, and then a beautiful kick inside 50.
Oh, beautifully done by big Jared Witts as well. Got the big slipper into it, got it to Petrarca, and what a sizzling pass again to Bailey Humphrey, who's giving Jack Henry all sorts of nightmares at the moment.
He is just leading up at the ball. You'll get the distance here, but can he kick his, what is it, number 5?
No problem with the distance, the skip step. He approaches the arc and he pulls it to the left. The first blemish for Bailey Humphrey. 4 goals won and another point to the Suns total. 78 plays 29, and it is a 49-point margin.
Is there another twist in this game, or is it just going to be all the Suns as Guthrie brings it into Myers, gets it back from him by hand, and then Guthrie just turns it over. Gee, they've turned the ball over a lot in that sort of attacking arc for the Suns, that launch pad as we call it. 70 metres out from the Suns' goal. They win it back there again through Weller. Long kick to the hot spot. The Cats fly, punched away by Jack Henry to the safety of the boundary line. And the throw-ins 55 metres out from the Suns' goal at the, where are they going? The northern end?
Yes, where the majority of the mosquitoes are, just near the board there, and the moss. They're down that end.
It's also the end they haven't filled in with the stand.
Yes, it's the open end, just to make it feel like it's in the country somewhere.
Do you like that, or would you rather them...
fill it in. Make it a Coliseum.
For the boundary throw-in, Anderson got a hand pass away quickly to Davies, to Miller, and then on to Rioli, who misses out to the left, the behind for Dan.
His eyes were like dinner plates there. He was thinking goal. He'd be spewing, he missed that one.
50-point lead for the Suns, 5 gone third term.
Stewart brings it in, gives it to Holmes, goes back for the handball receive, approaches the arc, kicks it long down the line. Nice mark taken by Mitch Nevitt just inside the boundary line, short of centre wing commentary side. He traverses the boundary, finds Ollie Dempsey, one of the headband wearers. He kicks it inside 50. Good contest. It'll be a free kick to Geelong.
Yeah, had him cold there.
Shannon Neal with his big frame just got in the way there of Joel Jeffrey.
Yeah, Collins couldn't do much with that one. He had to grab him, give away the free kick. That said, we saw his last set shot, went out in the full, pretty much went in the bus area.
So Sam Collins, he's not happy about having that free kick awarded against him.
No defender is.
That's a very good point. He's just beyond a 45-degree angle to the right. Will kick this from 40 metres. Shannon Neal leans back on it and pushes it skinny for 1 behind. 79 plays 30, 49-point margin yet again.
Kick-out duties for Yuland. That's Bodie, number 6 this year. His little brother's got his old number 32. Long kick to McAndrew, who marks on the wing. And look at the ground stretch out. It's rare nowadays you see players across all 3 sections. Hands it to Miller, kicks inside the forward 50. Long collects on the hop. Hand pass over his shoulder to King. King tries to evade Guthrie. Guthrie, great tackle. Wins it back, holding the ball when a certain Suns goal looked like it was about to eventuate. And Zach Guthrie cancels that out, shares it with Holmes. His short kick dangerous. Wanted Atkins, not to be. Lombard wins it. Oh, hand pass to Anderson, and likewise Atkins with the follow-up. Makes an error, then wins it back.
Got to be able to hang on to the ball here, Geelong. Their pressure's great, but they're just kicking it back to the Suns too often.
Yeah. Well, Atkins just delivers a better pass. This finds Mullen, the Irishman handball back inboard to Bailey Smith. Good pass. Neil on the lead, takes it on the arc of 50.
Play on.
Now he's called to play on. He's got a man, Nevitt. He was in the goal square. He overcooked the kick and it went wide anyway, one behind. So 79 plays 31, 48 points the margin. We played 7 minutes of the third term here at Carrara.
Could have passed the ball, could have kicked the goal, and it's
nothing, did he?
That's one point. Dennis Cometti once said he picked the third of two options. Kicked a long behind. Out to half-back, Bodie Yulin marks, hands it away towards Rioli. Short kick to the wing. Here's Petrarca, who was busy in the first half, 16 and 2 goals. Hands it off to Weller. Long kick inside the forward 50. In from the side comes King. Spills the mark. Wins it at ground level. Hand pass against the boundary line to Long. Handball away to Miller. Feeds it back inboard. This is Humphrey. Humphrey goes off the left. Hooks a kick right to the goal mouth. Picked up though by Guthrie. Back the other way go the Cats. There's a whistle on the play. Guthrie dumped after getting rid of it. Advantage applied. Bruin hands it to Myers. Spills it. Then now coughs it up to Andrew. Reid. Hand pass towards Petrarca. Oh, the rebrand is going well. Petrarca in the Suns jumper knocks through his third of the night. And the Gold Coast stretch it out again to 54 points. New game high. 13-7-85 to 4-7-31. 8 played in the third. This is Friday Night Footy on ABC Sport with Aker and Matty Primus.
How many times, Matty Primus, have they turned it over? 51 metres, 55 metres, not even up the ground anywhere. It's just outside the 50. That is the coach killer of killers. There's nothing you can do when you're doing that. Their pressure's great, don't get me wrong, the Suns, but, oh, it's a long.
It's very un-Geelong-like. I agree, Aker. The Geelong Suns' pressure is enormous. That's 16 tackles inside their forward 50, so they're getting at them, but some of those turnovers have been without pressure on them, and you just don't see Geelong burning the ball like they have in their back half, and the Suns have made them pay tonight.
The Suns are plus 30 in disposals. Petrarca 21, 5 inside 50s, 8 score involvements and 3 goals.
Yeah, not a bad pick-up pricing.
Yeah, not a bad recruit. Comes off the hands of the ruckman. Dribbles out towards commentary wing, picked up there by Will Powell. Sold the dummy, got around traffic. Handball to Alex Davies. He puts it to left half forward, Bailey Humphrey. It just goes over his head. Bounces inside the arc, so it won't be a free kick. It'll be a throw-in more or less across the arc from left half forward on this commentary side of the ground.
That's composure they've got now. They're running so hard. They're just backing themselves. They've got confidence tonight, I should say, in spades.
Boundary throw in. Rucks knock it back out of play, so do it all again. Just keep stretching this out, the Suns. So 29 at quarter time, 42 at the half. It's out to 54 at the moment.
You don't need to be a rocket science if you're a coach. At the end of the year, all these wins, little goals, and keeping your foot on the gas matter, because the percentage always comes down to percentages.
To the boundary throw in. Rucks tangle, free kicks going Witz's way. He's been held by Blitzarms in all of that. Blitzarms can't believe it. Smith offers some advice too, and the umpire,
soft free kick,
is happy to allow Witz to take his kick. Pokes it into the forward pocket. Read the target. Ball hits the deck. Still live for the Suns. King runs out of room. And a player goes next to the behind post. Boundary throw in.
Yeah, you're right, Aker. The percentage, if you can get a really good boosting one in the front half of the season, that can really set you up. And you know how tight the competition was last year. The percentage is going to come very important towards the end of the year.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen at Southport. You just keep grinding.
Throw in left forward pocket for the Suns. Comes off hands. Tanner Bruin doing his best for the Cats. He handballs it forward to Humphreys and then to Dempsey. They're out of the arc of 50, just short of centre wing. Ollie Henry tried to dodge traffic. The ball was smacked out of his hands. It comes to Dan Rioli. Zeke Hewlin can't pick it up. He's dragged it in. They've jumped on him. You get pinned.
That's what fumble does at this level. It's his first game. You've got to be clean. Everyone was running and they were out 15 metres.
Yeah, he wouldn't let the ball go either. And James Warple took the ball, and then that was ridiculous from Warple. Smacked the young man in the head. It's a reverse free kick, so Hewlin gets it, chips it onto the arc to Noah Anderson, who launches from 50, but he pulled it left.
Oh, his teammates are dirty too. They were all on.
Well, they were on, one behind, but it's a new game high. 86 plays, 31, 55 points. You don't want to be harsh on Warple, but that was ridiculous.
Oh, silly.
It was ridiculous, but maybe the old school, and he says,
Yeah, just let it go. Let it go.
But Bruin marks the kick out, gives it to Myers. Now off to Clark. Feeds a hand pass down the wing. Missed Warple by hand. Committing turnovers by hand now, the Cats.
they're out.
Scooping it up closely to 1-2 with Ezekiel. And now down to Lombard. They're queuing up in the corridor. And the Suns are running all over them. Graham takes the mark, chips it to King. And he catches it right in front, 12 out.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. That movement, that they're pressure, then they're out, the Suns, then they're free, then they take you on.
Yeah, it happens quick, doesn't it, Aker?
It's too quick. It's too quick for any team at the moment to come up with that. Even like Geelong behind the ball can't even get close to them when they turn over like that. Handballed the Warple, fair dinkum.
Heavy conditions, but the Suns making light work of it. And King pokes it through for his third of the night. And the Suns stretch it out beyond 10 goals. 14-8 to 4-7. And the Cats copying a rare beatdown. 12.5 gone in the third term. 61 points to spread.
Not a bad conversion rate for Ben King, lads. He's only had the 4 touches. He's got 3 goals.
He does that. He does have low possession games, but because he plays deep, and he's a beautiful accurate kick at goal too, but he can have a 6-7 possession game and still be hitting high scoreboard. What did he finish last year in the Coleman? He was second, third?
71, but that includes some of his finals goals.
Yeah,
so I think he was, top 5, but not top 2. Interestingly, he's only now had 1 top 10 finish in the best and fairest. It was last year, and it was 10th.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
It's a tough position for forward. He gives a contest, and he hardly gets outmarked.
Back into the middle. Ethan Reid got high over Blitzarves, but it was taken there by Warple. Launches a kick inside 50. It's gone high and wide. It's spoiled there by Mac Andrew towards the boundary line. Good effort by Nevitt to pick it up and shoot a handball in the direction of Dempsey, but it went over the boundary line. About 70 from goal for the Cats at right half forward. They're still trailing by 61 points. Can you believe it?
All happening down there. Jamie Stanton, surely there's something going on, because Geelong have got to do something. They're getting their interchanges better. Something.
The throw in at right half forward. It ends up in the hands of Blitzarves. Tackled off the ball. Picked up by Davies. And he tried to shrug the tackle. He'll get pinged here. No. Ball was held to him. It was a good tackle there from Warple, and a clean one as well. It's going to be thrown up. 60 from goal.
Up it goes. Reid reaches over the bat. Atkins tackled. Oh, thought we were going to have another ball up. Ump says, keep going, work it out. And here comes the ball. Andrew gives it away to Miller. Back to Andrew. Slick hands to Reid. Steps his way around oncoming traffic. Fumbles the footy, though. Atkins had a play on it. Lost it. Nevitt clean below his knees. Gives it to Atkins. He's buried. Great tackle by Adams coming in from the side. They need someone to be clean. It's Anderson. There's a free kick advantage applied. Oh, here go the Suns to the middle of Carrara. Miller hands it away towards Noble. Long kick deep to full forward. Stewart goes up. Ball hits the deck. Good spoil. Paddles it out of bounds. O'Sullivan. Deliberate. There is no let up at the moment. Barra collects. Retreats back to Lombard, who marks it left half forward. Jamie Stanton on the boundary.
In relation to your question, Aker, it's surprising. Geelong are actually extremely calm, and there's no panic, but there's also no purpose about their movement on the bench, and that's displaying in what's happening on the field.
Lombard hooks it through for his second, and the Suns are pouring them in. 67 points and counting. Midway through the third term, 15-8-98, Geelong anchored to 4-7-31. Jason Akermanis, Matty Primus. This is ABC Sport Friday Night Footy.
What are we seeing? A domination. And exactly like Jamie said, they are calm because it's a long season. Geelong are a good team. They'll come back next week and play great. But that's not now. Now they are getting pants and they're getting it pulled down every time they go near the ball. The turnovers are horrendous. Can't make the simple, 5-6 metre handballs.
So are the turnovers conditions or are they execution?
Well, they're both, but the conditions don't help. But they're just tired, and you get tired and more tired, and the ball gets slippery. All of a sudden, you haven't got that real sharpness just to give that little one to get it there. Everything is off. It's off.
Well, the disposal efficiency for the Gold Coast is 75.6, for the Cats 67.1. The clearance won by Gold Coast, towed off the deck by Alex Davies. It lands inside 50. It's going to be a contest at ground level, wrapped up, and about 35 from goal.
It's probably more where they've turned it over, Price. I reckon they've turned it over at Suns forward half, and that's just killed them tonight.
Umpire throws it up quickly, picked up by Ollie Dempsey. He did well to Holmes. Holmes outside 50 to Warple, gets it back to Holmes. Tackled by Petrarca. He threw it over the boundary line, and that is... what a contribution this bloke has made in his first game for the Suns. Fantastic tackle.
And stands over the top of him too in the process as Petrarca kicks it deep to full forward. Off hands, it spills the Suns' way. Farah, hand pass away, trying to get it to Long. Picked off though by Blitzarms. Cats work it out under pressure. Jack Henry to Guthrie. Long kick to half back. Oh, the pack collapses and Bodie Hewlin takes the intercept mark. Free kick. Out of zone umpire says there's a push. It's going Ollie Henry's way.
I thought that was great body work.
That was, I just back to Petrarca's tackle. I saw him, he was on full gas to make that tackle for 25 metres. Outstanding.
Kicks down the line and finds a sprawling Martin who takes the mark. That's the thing with Petrarca too. For all he's achieved in the game, it feels like he's come here with a point to prove at the way things ended at Melbourne and the talk around him down south, and the Akermanis split from his club where he won that drought-breaking flag as Martin, with a long contest kick, punched out of bounds by Adams. High half forward for the Cats.
He wasn't happy. Whatever it was, culture, I don't know. Yeah. Teammates, not happy.
I know all the talk about Curnow and various other players that have changed clubs in the off-season, but pay very close attention to this guy. 22 disposals, 3 goals through less than 3/4 of footy.
Again.
We'll make it 23 disposals. He burst through the pack into the corridor. 20-metre handball to Ben Long, who lowers the eyes, hits Ben King, 40 out, slight angle to the right. King will go back and line up for his 4th.
Oh, Matty, Primus, you in that forward line, so much space.
That's a training drill. You know, ruckman, you do a training drill against 3 or 4 your oppo, you just put it on your hip, first out, come through the middle. That's what that looked like. You know, Petrarca's power and skill, but that was just far too easy.
And they'll lengthen in the field to create that space where Petrarca had a man to get into in Long.
Ben King standing outside the arc. Will kick from 40.
Goal.
Drills it. He's got 4. The Suns get past the ton. 16-8, 104. To the Cats, 4-7-31. I can't believe what I'm seeing. 73 points the margin, and we've played 19 minutes of the third term. Matty Primus.
Well, I wonder how far back we have to go. I'll throw this a bit of time for you, Pricey, but when did the last time Geelong get smoked like this, scoreboard-wise?
Not with the talent they've got. It'll be a long time.
Could argue the second half of the grand final, but...
oh, dear.
Oh, we won't bring that up. That hurts a bit more than 0 round.
Yeah.
But they are sharp, slick. Everything's going their way.
This could end up 100 points. That's it.
We won't be talking about this game as a game, but we'll talk about the fact that they kept going, because that percentage is going to matter. It's going to matter.
Their heaviest loss last year was the grand final, 47 points. We're well past that already. Not even at 3/4 time. Ruck Sherrod in the middle. Free kick spotted here. Again, the out-of-zone umpire spots a hold. It's going Geelong's way. Clark tries to take the advantage. And in the end, everyone lets the ball trickle all the way through for a long-range goal, but the advantage won't be applied.
He sort of was looking at that umpire too, and then, you know, the player who had the advantage, I don't know who it was, stepped, and then he just said, no, I'm going to pull it back. It's a strange rule if you just got that many or that much time to make that decision.
Atkins, a short kick towards Sam DeConey, marks front edge of the centre square. DeConey just lays it up to the hot spot. Jeffrey favoured by it, leaps up, no mark, spills down towards Weller. His hand pass back into traffic. Rioli works it out to Miller. So clean in tight, the Suns. Noble hands it to Petrarca. Kicks to centre half forward. He had to go Jack Henry. Spills the mark. Puts O'Sullivan under pressure. Loose footy on the wing. Suns there first.
Zeke the freak. The handball back to Lombard. Lombard drills a pass across. That was a late spoil. I agree with you, Acker. I thought that was a mark. The umpire has said that Will Powell was legally spoiled. The ball spilled, it went underneath the pack, and it's going to be a ball up 60 metres out at left half forward for the Suns. In attack yet again, Davies Handball to Petrarca, goes left through traffic. Subterranean handball back to Davies, who's thrown to ground. Good tackle. And then Powell tracks the ball over the boundary line, 60 out, and we'll get a throw in. Petrarca gives it to Brian Myers. Bailey Smith. I wouldn't be picking Alex Davies just quietly. He's harder than a cat's head. We'd be thrown up at left half forward for the Suns.
How was that not a mark? And Gary Ablett Sr.'s mark was mark of the century. Who held it for a 15th of that?
It was a while ago. You've got to let that go, Aker.
From the boundary throw-in, knocked to the outskirts of the pack. Holmes hooks a kick down the wing, or floating back into the pack. Clark, ball spills to Zeke Hewland. Hand pass got it to Adams, under pressure to Miller. Great forward hand pass to Rioli. Feeds it to Noble. Sidestep, got boot to ball. Kicks to the goal square, no mark. Falls down Geelong's way. Stewart had it, lost it. Spills out towards Long. Hooks it over his head for a goal. There is no stopping these Gold Coast Suns at the moment. And that makes it 6 unanswered goals to start the third. 17-8 to 4-7. Suns by 79. 22 minutes gone in the third. Friday night footy, ABC Sport. Jason Akermanis and Matthew Primus.
They're enjoying it too, Matty.
Oh, they are. That Oscar Adams hasn't had a huge amount of the ball, but geez, he's done. I know it helps when your team's dominating like it is, but he's done some really nice things. A beautiful ground ball in and a forward handball, but yeah, well, the floodgates are open. They feel like there's no chance of them being shut the way they're playing, and they've got an appetite to keep on attacking the Suns here.
Yes, and usually it's the back half of the third quarter when the game opens up. He opened up way early, so that could be conditions, and of course just the relentless pressure and the way the Suns are playing. Just Geelong just can't turn and chase.
Back into the middle. Once again, Blitzhalf sort of, well, at least even the contest against Witts, but it was held up. In fact, it's Sam de Koning out there. Witts got it forward to Davies. Davies, his handball cut off, but he went back and got it again. That's been the tempo of the night. Then through Noble by hand to Petrarca. Drills it. The pass, Will Graham accepts it. 45 out directly in front. A procession at Carrara.
If you are a Geelong defender, wouldn't you just be a little bit tighter? I know it, you're getting flogged, but you cannot play from behind when it's coming through like that. Chris Scott, his beautiful maned hair maybe just getting a little bit greyer, perhaps falling out with that. That is a coach killer and a half.
So Will Graham, another Academy product from Palm Beach Currumbin Sprays. This one, it's out of bounds on the full, off the side of the boot. It's going to be a free kick in the left back pocket to the Cats.
It's like my golf shot on Wednesday. That was a shank.
Slice
off the toe or something.
O'Sullivan, long contest kick, back Andrew. The super fly effort over the top of the pack. Made contact in the air, didn't come down with it. Falls to Myers. Away to Smith, to Dempsey, back to Smith. Kicks up over halfway, close to the boundary line and out of play as Manor can't trap it.
That was nearly Super Mac.
How was that leap?
Off the hang. Just didn't get the hands up quick enough. He'll learn from that.
He sat on Shannon Neal too, who's a big man.
That would have been, 4 metres in the air by the time he got up there. Oh, my goodness.
Witts wins the hit out from the boundary throwing, close to the boundary line, and in the end they all scrap after it and the ball spills out of play.
The lasso. There's a lasso, Pricey. Oh, wait, no, they're discussing.
I think it came off the lower leg of the Suns player inadvertently, which should still be a free kick. The rule here is the same as it would be if it was in the goal face. So if it came off, a player below his knee, it would still be a goal.
Yes.
So it should still be last disposal out of bounds.
And I think those Geelong players who are remonstrating, they were correct. But anyway, they've decided to go back and throw it in.
Margin 79 points, by the way. 25.5 minutes gone in the third. Friday night footy, ABC Sport.
Throw in goes over the back of the pack. Anderson fumbled and gathered. Gave it to Humphrey by hand. Then through Rioli to Noble. Noble! He's got a couple off half back. This is extraordinary. The Suns are absolutely pummeling the Cats. 18 goals, 8, 116 to 4, 7-31. The margin's out to 85, 25 gone, third term.
Well, that's a training drill again. That's like you're setting up your half-backs and wingers just off the contest and practice a bit of handball chain out. Once again, no pressure at all on them. 5, 6, 7 metres. All the Cats players are off them. And Noble's just wandered into an open goal, and he's thinking, how good is this playing at half-back on no one?
That's funny. He got that last shot, but he got tackled. And so on that one there, he got it. He is 1-2 steps on the slipper straight through. He's learned from the last one, even though he'll look at the replay and say, oh, I had way more time.
Yeah.
But don't you love being a back? I don't know if you were never a back going down there. And
don't tell me you were, Acker.
He started as a back pocket.
All Australian back pocket. I don't know if you remember.
Margin is 85 points, and we're not yet at three-quarter time. Holmes first possession in the middle, hands it to Smith for Geelong, kicks to full forward, knocked away by Collins, out into the back pocket. Here's Rioli, decides to go along the ground. Clean bowls a couple, picked up by Dempsey, shoots a hand pass inside. Ollie Henry, hand pass through to Holmes, works his way through the maze, back to Ollie Henry, gave it to Atkins, tackled, lost it. Here's Humphrey off the back flank for the Suns. Oh, hand pass away to Powell, didn't take the first option, spun around 360, holding the ball.
Had a lot of time, didn't he?
A free kick for Holmes. And he's fighting this out, Max Holmes, with his team being soundly beaten. If the siren went right now, this would be the fourth greatest win in Gold Coast history against last year's grand finalists and the almighty Cats, as Holmes goes long to the behind line and an intercept mark for Collins. I think the Ark's probably due a little bit of involvement here. We're going to see whether it's through for a behind or whether it's a mark inside the field of play.
Sam Collins was filthy.
Oh, he would be.
Tossing the ball to the umpire.
It was enormous early too. He hasn't had to do too much in this third. I thought that was a mark, just saying.
Looked like a mark, didn't it?
Oh, that's a mark.
Jamie Stanton's with us on the boundary. Jamie, you've seen a lot of Suns footy here at Carrara over the years. What's impressed you most through the three quarters so far?
I think what's impressed me the most is the boys' ability to keep the foot on the gas and stay there. I think they've shown glimpses over the past couple of years of being able to have this high-paced footy, but then after a while they get tired and the other team comes in. So their ability to just stay on it and continue to play the way they want to play has been extremely impressive from ground level.
What about David Boone? Jamie,
Collins played on, kicked it straight down the corridor. It ended up in the hands there of Will Powell, cut off by Jai Clark. Now we're out to the commentary wing. Tanner Bruhn tried hard all night for the Cats, chips it forward. Given by Atkins, back to Bailey Smith, and Collins comes out, imposes himself. Bang. A 30-metre fist in the hands of Mac Andrew. Looping handball to Tuke Miller. They're escaping tackles now with ease. Goes through Farah, back to Dan Rioli. Oh, and Mac Andrew has time for a fumble on centre wing out of side. O'Sullivan dribble a handball to Bailey Smith. Gave it to Tom Stewart, confronted by two Suns. Ball to Mac Andrew. Handball to Miller. Off the hands of Atkins.
Out again.
Enter Ethan Reid, and he's turned it over back to Atkins, who's battling very hard. He picks it up and puts it into the corridor to Tanner Bruhn.
Jeez, he was good there. Oh, my goodness, Atkins was good.
Possession 24 for Tanner Bruhn as he loads up, kicks deep to full forward, getting back Collins again. Puts his fist through it, but straight into the path of Dempsey. Collects, snaps, and goals. And at last, one back for the Cats, after seeing 7 fly through at the other end to start the term, and Dempsey stops the bleeding.
7, yeah.
Gold Coast 79 points in front, 18-8-1-16. Geelong moves to 5-7-37. 29 and a half minutes gone in the third term. Atkins, Friday Night Footy, ABC Sport.
Atkins is coming off. That effort he did over here, 3, 4, 5 efforts to just keep in the contest, just getting a little hand in, make a tackle, then the turnover, and then just went straight inside, back, literally our way, the wrong way, into the middle. He set that all up. That's all his goal. Unbelievably good.
21 disposals, 10 of those contested for Tom Atkins. He's had a crack all night. Tanner Bruhn, as you said, Corbin, 24 disposals as well as the 5 score involvements. Whatever they've scored, he's been in there. But they're trailing by 79 points, the Cats, late in the third quarter. Oh, here's the clearance. Anderson explodes away, has a bounce, gets to 50, puts it into the path there of Ethan Reid. Just a little bit too low for the big man to pick it up. Now Humphreys for the Cats. He extracts. Gets it to Blitzars on the point of the centre square, left half back. His handball a little bit too hot. Daniel Rioli enters the fray. He overran it. Blitzars fighting at ground level, the big man. Shot a handball out to Brian Myers at left half back. Confronted by Jared Witts. He has to work hard to get away from the big fella and did well. Kicks it to centre half back onto the arc to find Bailey Smith.
Smith, last year's Coach's Player of the Year shared that award with the Gold Coast skipper. Mac Andrew arrives, spoils it away from Clark. Bruin wins it back though. Geelong still with it. Smith another touch. Hand pass away to Holmes. Oh, gives it to Blitzhubs. Crunched immediately by Miller. Follow-up tackle from Noble. Miller, hand pass for Gold Coast. Away to Andrews. Short kick to Anderson. The other co-winner of the Coach's Award. And the All-Australian Noah Anderson comes wide with the kick.
They've
Jeffrey.
got 5-on-2 here, Gold Coast.
Reed's all alone in the goal square, somehow standing by himself. That's their forward 50. They've got a 3-on-1 deep.
Oh, my goodness, 5-on-2 for most of that last 30 seconds.
Jeffrey to Closey, kicks deep to full forward. Reed the target, hands on it, no mark. King tried to trap it, picked up by Humphreys. He's upended and drilled in the Reed tackle. Says, I'll have it, and the ball up alongside the attacking goal square. Gold Coast by 79. That's right, 79 points. 32 gone in the third.
Umpire throws it up just adjacent to the goal square for the Suns. Ben Long overruns it. Oh, it was picked up there by Jai Clark. He flicked a handball over the top. Bruin trying his hardest and using his pace, gathered, went outside the arc and then kicked it out of bounds on the full centre wing commentary side. It'll be a free kick and it'll be taken by Joel Jeffrey. One of the numerous number changes for the Gold Coast Suns this year. He wore number 40 last year, wearing number 16 this year.
JJ, surely.
Product of the Northern Territory. His dad, in fact, part of the Northern Territory team of the century. Kicks it inside 50, off the hands of the pack. It loops towards Noble. Bailey Smith injecting himself, kicks it towards centre wing, off hands. Oscar Adams, the handball. Collins sweeping over to Closey. Closey to Noble. Noble drilling a ball towards Petrarca. He overcooked it out of bounds on the full. Bailey Smith will get a free kick at right half back.
Two number threes there. Bit of talent in the number threes tonight.
Still getting our head around Petrarca in number 3 after wearing 5 in his whole career.
Yes, I've been confused because the other number 5 looks like him.
He does, doesn't he? Similar sort of build and shape, and both with the black hair, Petrarca and Alex Davies.
We might need a rinse. Maybe a blonde rinse might help him. Just so we can tell them apart.
Smith kicks to the wing, free kick in the pack going Mac Andrews' way, so pumps it back down to half forward for the Suns. Humphrey runs out underneath it, no mark. And that'll do us through 3. And the longer it's gone, the worse that it's got for Geelong. And the beaten grand finalists are well down through 3 quarters. Gold Coast by 79 points, putting on a show to open their new season. 18-8, 116, the Gold Coast. They lead Geelong 5-7-37. That is the scoreline. 79 points. It was 29 at quarter time, 42 at the half, and it's grown again to 79 at three-quarter time. Ben King's kicked 4, Bailey Humphreys kicked 4, 2 each for Noble, Petrarca, Lombard and Long, 1 for Took Miller. That's the goal kickers for the Suns. And meanwhile for Geelong, we got 1 each for Manor, Nevitt, Clark, Dempsey and Ollie Henry. Your thoughts on the SMS, 0437 774 774. Ed Nirachuka listening from the Murray, casting from Victoria into New South Wales. Great call, gents.
Oh. Who would have thought that radio waves could actually go over a border?
There you go.
Miracle.
It's amazing. I'm actually staying at the airport tonight, and for all the time that I've actually lived almost a year in southeast Queensland, I didn't realise the Coolangatta Airport basically runs right through the border.
Yep. It does, yeah. It's very smart, because then they can double the taxes, you see. They're geniuses. I'm telling you.
I knew you'd have a conspiracy theory for it as to why it's happened. Ron from Andrew. Hi, guys. Enjoying the call. Great to have footy back. Better than the slow, boring cricket.
Oh, yeah.
Easy, Ron. Easy, Ron.
Oh, yeah. Take it. You have to call it. Don't be biased. It is slow and boring.
Dave, evening, mates. A Carlton supporter listening from Greenville, South Carolina, USA.
Carolina.
Loving the footy is back and hoping they can bounce back next week. Thanks for the commentary from Dave. Thanks, Dave.
Well, it's going to be nice and hot soon in South Carolina, so hopefully they bring some heat and some good footy, Carlton.
Rob from Greensboro, camped out on the Port Arlington beach. The Cats might be my second team, but hearing how this is going is making this Blues fan feel not so bad. Maybe we won't finish 18th. From Rob.
At least they had a good half. Geelong hasn't had a good half. They weren't even anywhere near it in the first half.
I don't think they've led for a single minute tonight. So I don't think we've had one lead change. Incredible start to the game. 29 points at quarter time, 42 at the half, and now 79 at three-quarter time. You're listening to Friday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Anderson on the logo, long kick into the pocket. Big Ethan Reed's down there in the pack. Juggled effort not to be. Falls to Jack Henry. He's tackled. Got a hand pass away. Still alive. Forward pocket for the Suns. Humphrey trying to thread it through. Got it to Petrarca. Back to Humphrey. Humphrey hooks it through for number 4. Bruin hands it to Myers. Spills it. Then now coughs it up to Andrew. Reed. Hand pass towards Petrarca. Oh, the rebrand is going well. Petrarca in the Suns jumper knocks through his 3rd of the night.
He burst through the pack into the corridor. 20-metre handball to Ben Long, who lowers the eyes, hits Ben King, 40 out, slide angle to the right. Ben King standing outside the arc, will kick from 40. Drills it, he's got 4. Throw in goes over the back of the pack. Anderson fumbled and gathered, gave it to Humphrey by hand, then through Rioli to Noble. He's got a couple of half back.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Sounds there of that third quarter. It is the Suns by 79 points. 18-8-1-16. Geelong 5-7-37. Three-quarter time. Suns by 79. Corbin Middlemas and Michael Price calling the footy. Jamie Stanton on the boundary. And the thoughts of our analyst, Jason Akermanis, alongside Matthew Primus on ABC Sport. Suns by 79.
That is ridiculous. And all credit. Don't fool yourself. Geelong might have had a bad night, but let's be realistic. The Suns have come. They are toxically quick. They are making me sick looking how quick they are and how dangerous they are, particularly forward of the ball. Conditions absolutely playing a part. They train in it. You get used to it when you're up here, but they've been slick, smart, strong, and just creative and just composed.
Yeah, absolutely spot on, Acker. They've played exactly how Dimmer loves to coach his teams, and they've got an appetite just to keep going. Like, they have not let up the whole game. Like, normally you get a dominance on the scoreboard and you have a bit of a 15-minute where the game just dies and goes out of it and the Oppo come back a little bit, but Geelong just haven't been allowed to have a foot in at all. And it'll be interesting 30 minutes here to see if they keep the foot down and keep the pressure on the scoreboard, because Geelong's look like their will to keep competing, just they do it for 2 or 3 minutes and then it just disappears. So yeah, an interesting 30 minutes here. As we said, the Suns have got a 8-9 day break into West Coast on a Sunday night back up here, and so there's no reason for them to let the foot off, and with 23 on the bench you can afford to keep going strong.
And the Cats have won the centre bounce clearances 14-8. Can you believe that?
You would not know it.
Yeah, I reckon they've gone nowhere with them, Pricey. How many times they would have gone inside 50 off that? Probably not too many, but they have been hassled. Every possession has been hassled.
I was going to say, the other thing about the Suns, when they tackle you, it's not necessarily that they get you, grab you, hold you, dump you. They actually dislodge the ball.
They're doing that a lot.
People don't realise, I know it's slippery tonight, but if you're doing that, then those numbers around the ball, that's what matters if you're doing that.
Chris Coates only had 2 losses greater than this, the margin currently, 79 points in his coaching career. One was 83 points at Perth Stadium, which was the prelim of 2021 when Melbourne ran through them en route to the Premiership. And then in 2014 against the Swans, they lost by 110 at the SCG. So I didn't think I'd be reaching for that stat when we arrived here tonight, and yet it's in play with a quarter to go. The Gold Coast Suns by 79 points. As we start the final term, ABC Sport Friday Night Footy, one down by Witts. Atkins, though, first disposal, hands it to Clark. There's another centre break for the Cats. Kicks to half forward. Andrew up in front, spills the mark. Andrew, though, follows up at ground level. Nice bit of work off the back flank for the Suns. Kicks in the middle of the ground. It opens up for Petrarca. Can't get a kind bounce. Home sweating on him. Petrarca ushers it out. Got it to Miller. Gang tackled. Held up by Bruin and Mullen. And we'll have a ball up on the wing.
They got lucky then, the Cats, but how many times off a turnover, how quickly the Suns get goal side?
Yes.
The kick missed them, but, geez, they snap into offence so quick.
Witt's got it down. Petrarca flicked it out again. Comes at the back of the pack to Lockweller. He kicks it just beyond centre wing. Contest between Guthrie and Lombard was good. Off hands. Be a throw in.
You know, sometimes I reckon the umpire just does that so he actually can be involved in the play and do a throw in. Look at him. There he is again. The guy with the moustache. I told you, been dodgy all night.
Yeah, it's a very high and shallow throw in. Blitzar's got there first. Good contest from Davies. Turned it over, though. Max Holmes picks it up just beyond centre wing. Inside 50. Here goes Collins. He's scary. You'd have nightmares about this bloke if you're playing full forward. He just bashed that over the boundary line. Mel Michaels style.
Yeah, but even his moustache, as it comes past through some parts of your skin, you might get a rash. It's that bad. He is unbelievable and so good tonight, the big fella.
He reads it so quick. That's the thing he's done tonight. He just reads it before his opponent does, and that's why he's affected so many intercepts.
So brave, too.
Boundary throw in. Weller picks it off from in traffic. Got a hand pass out towards Adams. Knocked on by Anderson. Oh, turnover picked up by the Cats. And Martin, half forward, hands it away to Smith. He decides to just pump it as long as he can to full forward. Whistle on the play. Free kick for a hold. Dempsey's going to get it in the goal square.
Yeah.
Yep, free kick here for Geelong. He's just outside the square, so he'll kick from 7 metres out, slide angle.
That's Zeke.
He just panicked when he didn't need to. Had protection in front of him, but anyhow.
Well, he wanted to do that to give Mac Andrews a free run and not get hurt, which is what you're trained to do, but unfortunately, it's like a rookie error. A bit of rust there.
Well, here's something we haven't been able to say all night. Back-to-back goals for the Cats. Dempsey has kicked both of them. And after trailing by as many as 85 points, the margin's back to 73 as the Cats endeavour to put a pretty face on it. 3 minutes gone in the final term. 6-7-43 Geelong. Gold Coast 18-8-116 playing way out in front. Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Jason Akermanis and Matthew Primus.
That pressure there, Matty. And that's what Geelong are starting to bring. What do you know? Turnover at 52 metres. Handball back. In it goes.
Simple game maker.
Yeah. That's exactly what they haven't been doing. That said, usually the Suns are sequencing out of there very, very well and quickly with the handball or a kick. Well, they said in the pre-match, didn't he, James Kelly? Said
they knew it was coming.
They're going to use handball a lot more. That's what we were saying.
Just haven't been able to stop it.
They've got nowhere near stopping it.
So the Cats 6 goals from 38 inside 50s at a goal efficiency rate of 15.8%. Incredibly low for them. Blitzar's at the back of the pack, puts a sky ball up and down the chimney. Comes off hands. Yeah, he did. He went for his own kick in the end. Atkins picked it up. Took Miller. Bulldogs him to the ground.
What have the Suns had inside 50s for the game so far? Bryson?
57. They have kicked 18 from 57 at a rate of 31.6.
Good number.
Punch forward. McAndrew gets there first. It's going to be a free kick. Advantage played. Manor drills a pass and finds Shannon Neal 40 out.
Guy you do not want to find because he has got nowhere near kicking a goal.
Well, Sam Collins wasn't happy at all. When has he been happy tonight? Regardless?
He always looks unhappy.
He's standing the mark about 35 out, so Shannon Neal directly in front. Had a really difficult night against Collins. Kicked 2 behinds, only had the 4 disposals. Has a chance to get himself a major on the board. Leans back on that, but it's straight enough. Goal umpire likes it. 3 goals in a row for the Cats. 18-8-116 to 7-7-49. It's back to a 67-point margin. 5 gone. Final term.
Hush my mouth, Matty Primus. That was as good a kick you'll ever see for goals. But yes, again, the turnovers, the play on a little bit of getting a couple of free kicks here and there, Geelong, and making the most of it. Although on your 150th, when you're a defender, you don't want your man to get a kick, let alone one 25 metres in the clear. But great goal. Great set shot.
You didn't tell us, Matty, that Mara kicked 6. I didn't realise there was that many.
Didn't want to tell you that many, mate.
I was about to say, I'm sure,
a few.
I'm sure as the opposition coach, you wouldn't have been counting the same way. But
he killed us.
I was just having a little scroll on social media. It was 6 goals. I said, Matty said he played well. I didn't realise there was 6 goals.
Imagine if he came in tonight.
Matt Rao, the Rowlow medalist, he's on the balcony just watching on. Got the round of applause which you heard before the restart. Picked up on the back edge of the square from Rioli after the quick kick forward for the Cats. Gives it to Petrarca. Long kick inside 50. Carries the intended target. Lombard from the pocket. Can't bounce it through. Trying from out wide. Misses to the near side. Ronnie Burns special from the right forward pocket. Not to be.
Ronnie, the big aeroplanes and cartwheels, but no.
18-9 to 7-7. 68 points the Suns lead. 6 gone in the last.
Tom Stewart just saunters out of the goal square. Kicks it towards Neal. Good spoil there by by Collins, as you would expect at ground level. It flicks off to Jack Martin. And the smother, well, it came from Petrarca. Off the boot of O'Sullivan. Some kind of debut for your club. Oh, and I think Corbin mentioned it earlier. He looks like he's just got intent. Total intent to do as much as he can.
But he's in the game plan. He's doing what the coach is asking for as well. That's brilliant.
The throw in across centre wing, commentary side. Pack of players. Bailey Smith trying hard. Got the handball out to Holmes. He dribbles a kick forward. Oscar Adams did well against Myers. Then the handball to Lockie Weller. Back to Sam Closey. From centre wing towards right half forward in the Ethan Reid direction. Well done, Jack Henry. Gathered. Handball to Blitzars. Then to Jai Clark. Then to Bailey Smith on the wing. Now they're moving the ball, the Cats. Brian Myers goes back into the corridor and goes laterally over to the other wing to find Tom Stewart, who's run down from defence. He looks to deliver it inside 50. It was a 2-on-1, and the one was Bodie Hewlin. Got a fist to it. It goes to the goal square. Noble versus Dempsey. Noble wins out, tracks it towards the boundary line.
Kicked it off the ground.
Oh, no,
it was pretty close. He
more or less scored a try in the right forward pocket. It's going to be a throw in beside the point post in the Cats forward 50.
That's a goal saver there. Oh, you love that. Last quarter, desperation.
Boundary throw in deep forward for the Cats. Neil palms it down to Manor, tackled straight away.
Still that.
Says play on. Comes to Miller. To Witts by hand, away to Andrew. Hand pass further wide, finds Weller. Back flank, kicks to the wing. Over the head of Lombard. Support for Geelong. Jack Henry, intercept possession. Gives it to Humphreys. Kicks a neat left footer down to Ollie Henry. Leaps up, no mark, spills out the back. Picked up by Close. Hooks a kick towards Dempsey. Leaping over the back of a Suns defender in Bodie Hewlin. And Dempsey marks on the goal line.
Oh, what a hang.
Dempsey's got 3. They've all come in the second half. And the Cats, not so much clawing their way back, but at least adding a little bit of credibility to this scoreboard, which looked ugly late in the third. We're now 8 minutes into the final quarter. 18-9, 117. Geelong still trailing by a big margin. 8-7-55. Suns by 62.
It's like a redhead stepsister argument it was. That's how bad it was.
It was. But plus 15 in the contested possession, so very simple game. Maybe the Suns have dropped off a bit, but the Cats have just won a lot of their own ball, and all of a sudden the ball starts living in their front half. They cause turnovers in their front half, and they're giving themselves shots on goal. They're giving their forwards a better look. A really good 5, 6, 7 minute patch, because it would have been very easy for that score from whatever it was, a three-quarter time, Corbin, but at 70, 80 points to blow out to 100. Well,
got to 85.
85. A bit of respectability back just purely by winning the ball.
And Bodie Hewlin turning around and giving it to his brother Zeke for not competing against
Dempsey there. A little bit of brotherly love.
It was back into the middle of Geelong, have won the clearance, but Warple was tackled into the ground immediately. So just forward of the centre circles for the Suns. It gets thrown up. Will Graham imposes himself, and then he threw it.
Oh,
that's harsh.
How did you see that? He's on the wrong side, umpire.
Bruin receives the handball, kicks it long inside 50. Neil flies, brings it to ground. Dempsey gathers. Dempsey dribbles. Dempsey's got 4. That's a magnificent kick at high pace from about 30 metres out in the right forward pocket. Beautifully done by the Rising Star winner. 117 plays 61. 56 points the margin. Would Damien Hardwick be dirty on this, lads?
I'm not sure that was some goal, but yes,
he's a competitor, so he
of course. But
that tackle was what the difference was. Whether it was a throw or not, I'm not sure, Aker, but they hadn't been able to tackle like that all night. They're able to do that to affect the disposal all night. There's just been handball, another handball chain, but that tackle stopped them doing it, and then they're able to go inside 50 and have an amazing finish. But their intensity is definitely lifting.
That's a good sign. You always love, as a coach, you generally start the next week how you finished off that last quarter. No, it's just really weird. So this is a good sign for Geelong.
And kicked 3 final quarter goals in the grand final after the Cats fell 64 points behind against Brisbane. Ollie Dempsey's a similar thing tonight. 3 final quarter goals, 4 for the night. It's a centre break here, though, for the Gold Coast as Anderson pumps it out to half forward. King the target, spills front and centre. Humphrey buffeted off it, going to ground. Jack Henry picked up by King. He's tackled and just threw it out in the tackle. You can't do that. Free kick going Geelong's way, back pocket. And we'll come back to Guthrie
Ah, there you go, Matty. They are getting rewarded for these tackles, but they're making them throw them and mishandle them, and they're getting rewarded.
So the two West Australian teams next week for both these clubs. Geelong at home against the Dockers.
It's going to be a hard one too, isn't it?
Saturday twilight, Kardinia Park. No assurances just yet that Dangerfield and Cameron will be back, both missing tonight. That would make this team stronger in the short term as O'Sullivan went short to Guthrie, came wide, picked off, nice work, Lombard, got it to Reid, and the hand pass went out of bounds. Was it touched on the way through? Must have been.
Must have been.
No lasso, so we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Told you, there he is again, mustache. He's suspicious again. He's getting another one he doesn't deserve.
Been struggling to throw him.
He is.
For a man that rolled around with different colour facial hair to your hair most of your career, Aker, you've been zoomed in on this young man tonight.
I never had a mustache.
It's part of your goatee.
But it's not by itself.
Will Graham accepted the ball. He was tackled over the boundary line on the arc where it meets the boundary at right half forward. For the Suns, there'll be a throw in. Only the one behind for the Suns so far in this final term against 4 straight goals for the Cats. Warple tackled off it, missed his foot, dribbles outside 50. Picked up by Jeffrey, inside 50. There is a free kick. It will be a hold, and it's going against Bailey Humphrey, who implores the umpire to change his decision. Never seen it happen. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going to end up in the arms after the kick to O'Connor. Comes back now to Guthrie. Long bomb towards the wing. Collins versus Neal. Been a great contest all night. Collins has enjoyed his work. He chases it back, but Jeffrey beats him to it for the Suns. He retreats further to McAndrew. Nice lateral kick to centre half back to find John Noble, who's had a cracker of a game. 24th disposal coming up.
Kicked a couple of goals and go out wide to Closey. Nice to see this young man back. Didn't play after round 19 last year with an ankle injury. Moves it further afield. Into the hands there of Rioli, who tries to measure the kick back to Noble. Too much hang time in the kick. Manor spoils it down to Dempsey. Gave a hand pass away to Myers, who's crunched, lost it. Suns win it back. Miller to Closey. Hand pass to the skipper. Anderson from 70 out, kicks in the pocket. Falls out the back door to Humphrey. Tackled, lost it. Tunnel ball. There's a free kick, though, coming back. Went straight through the legs of Atkins. Saved him a few nervy moments there. A free kick for holding the ball going to O'Connor. And he'll move it quickly out towards the back flank, and Myers takes the mark.
Gives it off to Tom Stewart by hand. He has a bounce. Goes down the line looking for Ollie Henry. Good mark. Over the top of Bodie Hewlin, wearing the number of Alex Sexton, who basically retired at the end of the year. What's going on here? No, play on. Ollie Henry launches one inside 50. It beats all comers. Picked up by Collins. Shoots a handball out towards the boundary line. McAndrew gets there first to Powell. Looping handball outside the arc at left half back to Closey. Nice little sand wedge finds Bodie Hewlin. 70 metres from his own defensive goal. He chips another pass to Noah Anderson. The Suns skipper accepts it against the boundary line, just short of centre wing. The run was beautiful from Closey, who started that from the arc, kept going, and he holds it up and takes a breather on centre wing, Nerang Riverside.
Work rate. Like to see that. Coaches love that.
Suns Eagles next Sunday, as we've touched on at Perth Stadium. Gee, and that may look a whole lot to deal with the Suns, and the Eagles just one win last year. Long kick to half forward, ends up with O'Sullivan. He's drilled into the ground and a ball up half forward at Gold Coast.
Are the Eagles playing this weekend, or that's
nope.
the first game? Yeah,
they got the weekend off.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough one.
So do the Dockers. So both these teams have fresh first up opponents, and their opening hit out next week. In the restart, Warple got a hand pass away towards Stewart, and handball goes down the line trying to feed it to Atkins. He knows he's alive as he's bowled over by Zeke Hewlin, and a boundary throw-in, half forward for Gold Coast. Suns goalless in this final term. They kicked 18 to three-quarter time. They've gone 15.5 minutes without a goal in the last. And yet, despite all that, they lead by 56 points final term. Friday night footy on ABC Sport.
Throw in left half forward for the Suns. Shallow throw in. Even the boundary umpires are getting tired in this humidity. It comes off hands.
Pricey, they went 4 metres.
It's a peculiar thing that happens consistently in southeast Queensland.
It does, doesn't it?
The spaghetti-armed boundary umpires comes off hands at ground level. Sam Koning does well.
Good kick though. Hasn't got it.
It was Atkins battling around ground level against Will Graham. Will Graham grabbed him in Atkins didn't have the pill, so he gets the free kick. He's standing on the arc at right half back. Chips it forward to Guthrie, who's kept going. Sorry, it's Warple out there now.
Got to get used to him. He looks a bit different.
Chips it over centre wing, off the hands. Sam Collins tracks it back. Under pressure, shoots a handball forward. Unfortunately for Collins, his opponent in Shannon Neal picked it up. He, in turn, tackled to the ground by Joel Jeffrey. And it's just started to slow down and get a bit scrappy now. Again, it's still 25 degrees at local time of 9:35. Very hot night.
From the restart, Clark, hurried kick deep forward for Geelong. One bounce out of play next to the behind post. Stoppage deep forward.
Have you ever seen an umpire in the gym? I have never seen one. You go to their training and you watch these run laps, and then they go up and down, and then they talk to each other and gee each other up and do some throw-ins and
Need to get in the strong room.
The gym is literally 4 metres away, not even thinking or looking at it.
And he's responsible for the shallow throw-ins.
Absolutely.
A boundary throw-in comes down to Noble. Hand pass to Anderson. Handball out further wide. Dempsey tackled, dispossessed. Ball spills back to Ollie Henry. He's locked up. Ball up half forward here for Geelong. They've kicked the only 4 goals of the final term. All to the northern end of the ground. Footy's back, 2026, wide margin, stunning result. And Geelong got to save a little bit of face in this final term after falling behind by 85 in the third. As Manor floats a kick to the goal line, it's punched through by Bodie Hewlin, so a rush behind. 55 points, Suns still on top, lopsided, 17.5 gone final term. All the wash up to come. We're on air for the full post game, so stick around for all that, the reaction from both the Suns and the Cats.
Well, Jeffrey kicked it outside defensive 50. McAndrew spoiled it, landed in the arms of Leonardo Lombard. Put the don't argue on Humphries, kicks it inside 50. King flies off his hands at ground level. Ben Long taps it backwards to Lombard, who kept running but turned it over. Well done by O'Sullivan, the handball looping over to Lawson Humphries. He in turn to Close. His handball missed the target, but Guthrie was backing up. Gathered through Myers, through Nevitt, then back to Humphries, who kept running. So did Myers. The handball received. The outside of the boot was cute. Missed the target, though. Going backwards inside defensive 50. Will Powell to Collins. Now Bodie Hewlin. Handball to the arc. Anderson measures a lovely pass. Shorter centre wing commentary side. Lockie Weller fumbled but had time to pick it up and launch a long bomb towards right half forward. King did the body work early. Went through his hands. Jack Henry back to Bailey Smith by hand. Lateral kick was nice, and they should be out here. The Cats. Tanner Bruin slips over.
Gets it back to O'Connor. Under pressure. Miller lays the tackle. Ball spits out. Collected by Long. Shoots a hand pass away, but straight to O'Sullivan. This is pretty bruise-free, last-minute kind of footy with a bit of junk-time footy game already decided. Got a ball going forward to Nevitt, and he gives it to Smith. Turnover, Noble tries to rebound. Out of play, Lombard can't keep it alive.
There he is again. The mustache one. This is ridiculous, excuse me.
He was right. He was all over it.
Of course he is. He wants another throw in.
He had his nose hairs just right on the line there, ready to go.
Like Ned Flanders.
The boundary throw-in between the interchange gates and the boundary throw-in. We're going nowhere in a hurry. Suns by 55, 19.5 gone final term. And I need to mention it quietly, given present company, but Jamara Ugle-Hagan kicked 6 in the warm-up game against Southport a little earlier tonight. So
how bad Southport?
Don't need to mention that again, Paul.
Does he come into contention next week for the Suns?
Davies picked it up. Nice little half-volley pick-up. Handball back to McAndrew. Got it back to Joel Jeffrey from centre wing commentary side towards the arc. Good contest. Ben Long had it, then slipped over and landed within the arms of Petrarca. Lateral kick to find Will Graham, 40 out, directly in front. So an opportunity for the first goal for the Gold Coast Suns for this final term.
Wow, it's about time too, can I say?
There are some very, very tired footballers.
There is.
On this Carrara field.
You know when you get out for a duck, that's what half the Geelong players look like. Just their body language is walking off.
So Will Graham gets to the arc of 50, kicks it from just inside and slides off the outside of the boot. Gets in there for one behind. So only the 2 behinds for the Suns in this last term. 118 plays 62.
Cats work it out of the defensive 50 as the kick goes from Guthrie towards a contest on the wing. Spills out to Dempsey. He's been busy. He's kicked 4 goals, 3 in this last quarter. Somehow got it out to Holmes. Hand pass to Manor on the outer wing. The 1-2 with Martin. Manor can't pick it up. Great pressure. And forced out of bounds in the end by Dan Rioli. So throw in on that outer side. Can you have a dominant win and not kick a single goal in the final term? That the Suns goalless through 21.5 minutes. Crowd posted at 19,859. So 19,859 for Friday night footy on the Gold Coast.
I thought there'd be a few more in the house. Maybe they're still on holidays, or they could be stuck in Dubai trying to get back. I don't know.
Well, it was a sellout, so they were looking at 23 plus, but
gotcha.
A lot of members
obviously went out to the nightclub
instead.
Where are they?
Boundary throwing on the wing, scooped up there by Powell, gives a look away, hand pass to Petrarca, who's been enormous, kicks inside the forward 50, spills out the back, King drops to his knees, trying to trap it, gang tackled O'Sullivan and O'Connor, lock him up.
That was like a giraffe. That's how tired he is. He just looked like he was at the zoo. Oh, man.
Well, very slippery footy, very humid evening, still over 80% humidity and 25 degrees, and we're approaching 20 to 10 at night local time. Off hands, Atkins had a crack all night, got the handball backwards to O'Sullivan, who launches one outside the arc, and Manor got there first. Did well. Where was this earlier? Oh, somebody went through the demilitarised zone. There was no standing there, so Manor is going to be promoted 50 metres.
Yeah, actually, Rioli just peeled back instead of standing. That's gave it away.
Well, it's the stricter interpretation of the rule as Manor drops it to centre half forward and finds Brian Myers on the arc.
Kick this, Acker.
Now John Noble.
I would think yes, I would.
Sorry,
are you talking about right now? I'm a little bit sore from yesterday. But I'd have to go maybe the barrel, but I'd be a chance every time.
Noble stands the mark 49 out as Myers wheels out to the right, gets the extra leverage, but peels it off to the left.
Goal.
One behind. 118 to 63. It is now a 55-point margin. We played 23 minutes of the final term on ABC Sport.
Did you say left foot or right foot? I can't remember. But anyway, yes. Left foot, yes. Right foot.
Power brings it into Jeffrey. Short kick to Miller, who can't believe it got ignored earlier when we're talking about socks up players in the competition. And there he is with his red socks up around his knees. Gives it to Petrarca. Kicks down the wing. Lombard marks. Hand pass away to Weller. This is good ball movement for the Suns. Long kick to Ben King. Leaps up. No mark. Spills out of bounds.
Oh, he had the jump too, but those bright boots didn't have any spring in them.
They're going to kick a goal, Corbin, will they, the last quarter? What are you saying, 6 minutes left?
Yep.
Yes.
I think they'll get one. What do you reckon?
I think they will. Maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
Optimistic. 18-10 to 9-9. 24 gone final term. And the boundary throwing. Witts palms it down. They all hunt out after it. Warple just soccers it clear. Only as far as Weller. Collects. Geez, got to deal with Holmes, who comes in a hurry. Forces a quick disposal over the shoulder. Picked up by Myers. Geelong back with it. Handball away to Humphreys. Measures the kick down the wing. Leaping through as Jeffrey does well just to tap it to his advantage. Puts the Suns back to the corridor. What a kick. Anderson marks. Centre half forward for the Suns. Expertly pulled back in across the body to the outer corridor.
Oh, I think that was a shank, judging by his surprise. He looked a little bit like Darryl White there. He's just laconic up in the air, just sort of hung there. Jeffries.
You're not going to give him credit for that.
No, he shanked that. He was going to go 25 out. You watch him here. And then he's just shanked it inside, and what do you know? Teammates there.
Tough school.
I'm not saying it wasn't brilliant, and it looked brilliant. I'm just saying I don't think he meant it.
Noah Anderson, one of 11 first-timers in the All-Australian team, shows us why. Pops it through from 50 out. The Suns with their first of the final term. But this game was a wrap long ago. Suns by 61, 26 gone final term, 19-10-124. The captain joins the party, Geelong 9-9-63. Friday night footy on ABC Sport.
No. I got this on my playlist. I finally a player with a good song down here. You know? You probably don't have this one, Matty, but it's really easy to sing along to.
Over and over. Back on the M1 on the motorbike.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's really good, you know. Just look out for the police.
Must be Tyson Fury's walkout song. Just come to the ring with this.
Yes. Good about that.
Good way to
big Irishman.
Get him up and going.
Harry High Pants that he was.
So Noah Anderson had 4 cracks at it before he got his first goal.
Yes.
1 goal, 4. Another stellar game from the skipper, 24 disposals, and rewarded with a goal in the end. That's a good tackle there by Blitzars, and then I thought the advantage was going to be paid on the free kick to Atkins, but Blitzars, the handball received from Max Holmes. He goes inside 50, offhand, skids across the Carrara turf over the boundary line. Will be a throw in about 30 metres away in the right forward pocket.
That song, Freed from Desire, by the way, was also at the centre of the beef and the nightclub post the 2021 grand final, where the Bulldogs had it after the prelim. Melbourne played it after they won. The Bulldogs thought the D's were taking the mickey out of them.
They were. Absolutely were.
They didn't like it, though.
Throw-in landed at the feet of Ethan Reid. He towed it off the deck. It's intercepted by the Cats, picked up by Tanner Bruin, smothered by Daniel Rioli. Oh, that hurt him too. Got him right in the lower abdomen.
Solar plexus special.
Over the boundary line, there will be a throw-in as Dan Rioli's still on his haunches.
It's like, like, you know, suck it, you know, we won. I get it. I'd be upset too.
Boundary throwing comes down to Warple, kicks inside 50, no mark for the Cats, beautifully scooped up by Close, hands it to Dempsey, tumbles a kick to the goal square, Adams can't trap it, Nevitt wins it, gives it to Ollie, Henry gets his leg free and goals. And in the end, the Cats produce a 5-goal final term, and this looks like it could blow out to 3 figures at three-quarter time, and Geelong have made sure that ain't happening. 10-9, 69 Geelong. Gold Coast 19-10-124. 28 gone final term, 3 to play. Suns by 55.
Rioli hasn't moved much over there. If he stays still any longer over that side, he will get eaten by mosquitoes. But anyway, he is coming back. That was actually a free kick play on advantage goal. So, well, you know, I mean, they did nothing for 3 quarters, Matty, but at least they've had a good quarter.
Yeah, they've won and lifted the ball. Obviously, I think the Suns have just taken the foot off the accelerator. No dimmer, I'm sure three-quarter time would have said, let's keep it going. But that's what happens when the scoreboard blows right out. And now it's all about preserving. There's a lot of guys stretching the calves and trying to indicate to the bench, hey, get me off for a spell with 2.5, 3 minutes left.
Oh, yes.
So back into the middle of Carrara. The umpire will ball it up. Ethan Reid up against Mark Blitzars. Reid tapped it to his own advantage, got down at ground level. Blitzars smacked it out between his legs, picked up by Will Powell. Launches it inside 50. Crowd wanted a hold on Jai Farah at the back of the pack. Jack Henry confronted by Farah, gives it by hand to Stewart off a standing start. He kicked it towards Dempsey. He spoiled, picked up by Petrarca, kicks it to Anderson on the arc, had time to drop it, recover, confronted by Guthrie. Petrarca went back in and he scooped it up with the one hand while being tackled, and that resulted into it looking like a throw. So it's going to be a free kick and it'll go to Brian Myers.
Feeling sorry for him, the umpires there. That was not a free kick, I reckon.
Myers, long and direct. Clark leaps up, no mark, hits the deck, follows up. Jai Clark blows his lines as he hooks it across the body and out on the full.
What on earth was that type of kick? It looked like he was trying to snap it, but then he wanted to drop punt it. And in the end, he got caught. Nothing happened, went out in the full.
21-year-old kicked a goal in the opening term, but couldn't add to his tally there. So 55 points Suns lead. And they get a good break too. Sunday night against the West Coast Eagles, their next assignment. Geelong play before that. There's Saturday in the twilight against Fremantle next weekend.
Kick for, gee, that's a good contest. Good mark taken by Will Powell, who's had a good night. That's a well-delivered kick to the lead of Ethan Reid. He gets onto his left foot. The 45 kick to Jai Farah. Good contest. He gets his own ball at the ground level. Retreats to commentary wing to Weller. Weller back to Powell, who gets around Manor a little bit too easy. Long kick inside 50. The bodywork Bailey Humphrey against Stewart was illegal. Well, he got him early. Sort of semi-tunnelled him, to be honest with you. And Tom Stewart, to the hoots of the Carrara crowd, gets the free kick. Tried to measure a pass. It was intercepted by Farah. Brings it to ground. Petrarca picks it up. His umpteenth possession. Handball towards Weller. Weller to Lombard. From a big angle, 50 out. Launches, had the distance with ease, but just a little to the right. One behind. 125. Plays 69, back to a 56-point margin.
Dangerous kick out, but it made its way to Myers. Hand pass away to Bruin. He's off and running. He was a cheap possession. Get it at half-time. Floats a hand pass here down towards Dempsey. Up to 30 now, Bruin. Gives it inboard to Nevitt. Hand pass away to Bailey Smith. Long kick into the forward pocket. Ollie Henry just a shove. Straight into the back of Adams, and a free kick for Adams. Left back pocket for Gold Coast. What a night. First Friday night of the season here at Carrara, almost 20,000 in the house, and a 56-point margin, a game which the Suns virtually had locked up at half-time.
So Noble receives the ball.
The fat lady was already out. In fact, she's already left. She did the singing and said, I'll see you next week.
Noble.
Crazy good.
28 disposals. Long kick. That's a really good contested mark. Taken by Ethan Reid. He's had a good night, the young man. 13 disposals. He retreats back inside defensive 50.
Is that also two first names?
Yeah, you could probably claim that, as Dan Rioli has it. Goes laterally to McAndrew. He goes to Oscar Adams.
There's another one.
The clock ticks down. Joel Jeffrey outside the arc of 50. Drills the pass. A historic opening round for the Gold Coast Suns. A monumental thrashing of the grand finalist Geelong. 56 points here at Carrara.
We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We are one in the red, gold, and blue. We are the mighty Gold Coast Suns. We play to win the flag for you. Fight, fight, fight till we hold on to come. Run, run, run all the way. Hey. We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We're the team who never say die.
So they did their best to put a good face on it in the final term. The Cats, they fell down by as many as 85 points before going on to kick 5 goals to 1 in the last. The final margin, 56. The game was taken care of well before the final term. Suns led by 29 at quarter time, 42 at the half, 79 at three-quarter time, and as many as 85 points. One-way traffic, the Petrarca rebrand at the Gold Coast Suns off to a positive start. A win in his first night in his new colours.
We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We are one in the red, gold, and blue. We are the mighty Gold Coast Suns. We play to win the flag for you. Fight, fight, fight till we hold on to come. Run, run, run all the way. Hey. We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We're the team who never say die.
It's only the dawn of the new season, and yet the Suns have already shown out. 56 points, 19-11-125, Geelong 10-9-69, 19,859 the final attendance. The goal kickers, well, 4 for Ben King, 4 for Bailey Humphrey, 3 for Christian Petrarca to go along with his game-high 34 disposals as he wound back the clock tonight, and he showed he's still got it, the 30-year-old. Just freshened up in his new colours with the Gold Coast. 2 for John Noble, 2 for Lombard, 2 for Ben Long, and then singles for Miller and for Anderson. Meanwhile, for Geelong, Ollie Dempsey kicked 4. They all came in the second half, 3 of them in the final term, 2 for Ollie Henry, and then singles for Manor, Nevitt, Clark and Neal. We're on air for another 40 minutes, so we'll take you through all the post-game. Jamie Stanton will be in the rooms. So more from you to come as well on the SMS 0437 774 774. Pete in Bunbury, nothing better than listening to the Cats getting hammered on a Friday night, even with junk time goals. It's great to see. So Pete's certainly not a big Geelong fan, and it wasn't a night for last year's grand finalists. They lost that game to end the 2025 season by 47 points. They go down by 56 tonight, a match which they were never really in. Matthew Primus, Jason Akermanis, your immediate thoughts. What did we witness tonight here across 4 quarters at Carrara?
Well, I think what we witnessed was what everyone thinks of the Suns this year.
Yeah.
Everyone's tipping them to be top 4, top 2, them and Brisbane, the best teams in the comp, and a long way to go, obviously, but the expectations, how they handle opening round, playing against another great team in Geelong, and they certainly answered that with flying colours. So what we've got was right out of the Suns, and Geelong a little bit off guard. That's why I thought they were going to come up here and how they were going to handle the bullocking straight away from the Suns, and they weren't able to handle that. So, as Zach has mentioned, they're a great club. They'll go back and sort themselves out. But with this competition, they've got Freo next week, and everyone's spruiking about Fremantle being one of the better teams to go around this year also. So we'll see how they bounce back. But really impressive by the Suns. Set a bit of a statement.
It's always tough. The away team coming to any venue, first round, everyone is just up and ready. To get a win is tough, but they brought some energy in the last quarter, so you could easily just get cramp and all goes to absolute crap, and you walk off with your tails between your legs and you think, how on earth we're going to be the worst team in the comp? But that's not the case. The Suns took advantage of first round. They are better. Their ability to handball, repeated handball, chaos, keep it alive, kicking goals. They had so accurate. And they're just up for it, just beautiful night for them. And the fans, nothing like a little bit of cheering to get yourself really going, I think, Corbin. But that's a good win.
Gee, they're going to be tough to beat here, aren't they, the Suns, in these conditions? And holy smokes, that's a fair statement, the first night of the season.
Yeah, well, I think that's a natural progression you get to when you're a side up and coming, is whether you were the Lions back before we started winning premierships or any of the teams that have had multiples or even won a premiership. They just are so hard to beat at home. And they usually they probably go through, I would say. I'd be staggered that they lose. And if they did, it wouldn't be by much here. It's going to be a fortress. They play well here. They love it here. But, hey, life moves on. You got to go the next week.
Talk us through it tonight in particular. What did they do? They obviously took advantage of the conditions. They won it at the source. They put space on the scoreboard. What stood out to you in the way they went about it?
Well, I think, when you're playing your 150th in Collins and he basically stopped 6 in that first quarter, he was unbelievably awesome.
First 10 minutes he stopped 6, didn't he?
First 10, yeah. It was a rock of Gibraltar. You couldn't get past him. Just those little things, but geez, the pressure and the way that they brought the pressure and that it was everyone. There was no one you go, oh, look at him, he's being lazy. And that just forces the turnover, and the tackling pressure wasn't, like I mentioned off air, or maybe it was on air, but when they were attacking, they were dislodging the ball, outnumbering them, and the handballs under pressure, getting tackled, getting it in advantage, whether it's dribbling along the ground or in the air to their teammates. First class. And that just opens the game up, the ground up. If you're a forward tonight for the Suns, you'll go home and you probably won't sleep much because you never do after a night game, but geez, you'll be drinking your own bathwater going, oh, I wish it was like that every week. It was so fantastic. So much space.
Yeah, I just love the way they played. They just mastered that coming through the middle of the ground and giving their forwards great looks, and those forward handballs, which you spoke about all night, they just open up Geelong so easily. And if they play like that, teams are going to know how to stop them, but can you stop them? And Geelong just had no answer to that for the majority of the night. So really impressive start. And when you practice pre-season all the time like that, Acker, and then you do it in a game, you're like, beautiful, got our pre-season right. And they'll be red-hot favourites, obviously, next week against West Coast, and a terrific start to the year.
Southport doing any of this? Can I just ask?
No, we haven't started yet.
Oh, right.
A couple of weeks.
Equals 7th worst defeat for Geelong under Chris Scott, and they avoided being higher on that list in that final term with 5-1. Interestingly, the Gold Coast actually now account for 2 of the 8 worst defeats that Chris Scott's had in charge. The other one, by the way, I was actually at this game, round 11, 2024. It was 64 points, the win for the Suns over the Cats. That was up in Darwin, and it felt like sort of leaving that night that it was very much condition dependent and the Suns handled it better than the Cats. And although there's a little bit of that at play tonight, it wasn't the sole reason, was it? It wasn't as if the conditions were the only reason why there was a huge gap between those two teams tonight.
No, they destroyed them. They bullied them.
Yep.
They did bully them for 3 quarters. And they just had no answer to their contest work, and then ball in hand work. They had no answer at all, and totally blown off the park, and then the game just petered out in the last quarter.
The collision speed too. I know that they've worked on that, where they certainly showed it on Instagram how they work on it. They're not taking a backward step. They'll come at you if you can get around them. Good luck, but their ability to hold in the tackle and get rid of it. That is such an underrated skill. I could tell you, like if you can break tackles, but then hold up, stand up in them, get your arms free really quickly, get it to someone on the move. Oh, man, it makes a huge difference.
They're going to do that to a lot of teams this year, the Gold Coast. I just don't think too many of us thought that Geelong were going to be one of them. So 19-11, 125. Geelong 10-9, 69. It is 56 points. Zeke Yuland just signed the forehead of a young kid over the front row, so he's popular already on the back of his first night in the AFL system. Zeke Yuland, he finishes, where's his stat line here? 16 disposals. Meanwhile, Christian Petrarca, what a revival for him tonight. 34 disposals and 3 goals leading the way in his new colours.
They tried to, this is how, did you see it? Yeah. It was fun. Collins, you know, I think it was Petrarca or someone else as well. Said, okay, come on, let's carry in. And he's got, nah, whack, you're not doing that. And they tried again, he's like, whack, and then he just walks off. There's no one was big enough or strong enough to pick him up anyway, but no one's going to argue with him, so he didn't even get carried off, but at least he gets a win on his 150th.
Jamie Stanton is in the Suns' rooms. Talk us through it, Jamie. What are you seeing down there?
The boys have just come in, and of course the Gatorade showers come out for both Zeke and Christian, so it's been a good one, and they're about to get rowdy, I reckon.
So the first of many, perhaps, they get to sing the song for the first time in 2026. The Suns start as winners, 56 points over Geelong. They led by 85 in the third quarter. In the end, last night's result was actually wider, so the season starts with a 63-point win for the Swans and now a 56-point win for the Suns, 2 games down to open the 2026 AFL season. You're listening to it all right here on ABC Sport, and we're on air for another half an hour. We will get some reaction from both rooms, the Suns and the beaten Cats. Corbin Middlemas alongside Michael Price upstairs. Jamie Stanton is downstairs. The thoughts of our analysts, Matthew Primus and Jason Akermanis, as we work our way through. We were talking earlier about umpires and how much time they spend in the gym, and Jason Akermanis was throwing some slander around. Our man Ray Chamberlain, who works for us on a Saturday,
yes,
he's in the strong room.
Oh, he loves the strong room.
He's thick with 3 C's. Spends plenty of time down there. Don't worry about that for Razor Ray. All right, let's head back into the winners' rooms. The Suns victorious by 56. Jamie Stanton's down there. Jamie.
So, guys, I've got Sam Collins with me. So, congratulations firstly on the win and obviously the 150th game. Right, I know you personally, you'll hate to talk about that. So, we'll start with the team, right? Great win, great start to the season, really high-quality opponent. You've been here a while now. Is that the best the Suns have looked against that higher quality of an opponent?
Yeah, probably. You know, I thought we really got it done in the contest early on there, and we were able to kind of ride our offense off the back of the contest and defence. And it's a pretty open game for the first half there. But I thought, particularly off the previous 2 weeks where we had a few things to fine tune to come out and you know, really nail the contest and defence element was terrific.
You mentioned the pre-season and how it wasn't ideal in terms of the lead-up. Do you think that really actually propelled this momentum forward, and it probably gave a really good stepping stone into being ready for Geelong?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we kind of spoke about during the week, and Ben King put it pretty well, that we're not the team that needs to be feeling cherry ripe in the practice matches. That's where we're still fine-tuning our game plan, and at the end of the day, this was round 0, and we delivered on our contest and defence. So, yeah, super proud of the boys, and yeah, I suppose it wasn't an ideal lead-in, but yeah, they came out firing today, and hopefully we built our identity today.
And obviously, like, a really important night for you and your family, and I got to see you run out with your little girl, which is, I'm sure, something that you'll appreciate later on. But in terms of your game, you're fantastic and set the tone in that first half especially. What have you and your defensive group been doing in the off-season to prepare for this year?
Yeah, we just spoke about kind of not resting on our laurels last season. You know, we had a really good season last season in terms of our defensive numbers, but you know, it's a slightly different back 6 this season or back 7, and we just wanted to kind of re-establish our identity, and I thought we did today. We were proactive where we need to be, but most importantly, we were just first to move and read the play. So, yeah, I suppose hopefully when you're looking at the game, you saw some really strong spoils and things like that to get the contest on our terms, and then just a bit of freedom to play off the back of that, and I thought the boys did a tremendous job tonight.
Perfect. I'll send it up to the boys.
Yeah, Sam, Matt Primus here. Well done on tonight. I thought your first half was the way you guys you hear your players and coaches talk, your forward handball, your contest work, you're taking the game forward the whole time. I just thought you were outstanding at that, and Geelong just had no answer to be able to contain you with your ability to outnumber and then just come out through the front of nearly every contest.
Yeah, I thought the boys through the midfield really found the balance between the low pressure and high pressure, and they kind of tested the tackles a few times and were able to, as you said, get out the front door. So yeah, I suppose the balance was really impressive there, where sometimes it was just first give and flow, and other times it was kind of, take the tackle, cut inside, and bring our shape into the game. So I thought the balance through the midfield in particular, and the halfbacks getting involved with some run and carry was super, but a lot of the boys on the outside, on the perimeter layer, opening up the middle for us to play through.
Sam, Jason Akermanis here, mate. Is your Harley outside? Are you going to take it home?
Nah, the Harley's done. I had to get rid of the chopper mow, and I had to sell the Harley that year.
That's tragic. Now, you guys, you know what it looks like? Like your culture is really, really coming along. Like you get on with each other. You love the coaching staff. You're into the game plan, and you don't give that type of effort that we saw today, even though it's round 0, without wanting to do it, because it's a hard game plan when you need to bring the pressure, which you have to do every week, which you know. But it looks a whole lot different, and it's been growing in the last 3 years at least since Dimmer's been in.
Yeah, we're a work rate club, and it's as we spoke about, the pressure and also the boys setting up the ground so we can play on offense, the work rate to get back into the contest and outnumbering the screen so that we can play off that. I'm super proud of the boys for obviously how they handled themselves to be prepared for round 0 today, but most importantly to establish our identity. We're a hard-working club, that's what we want to be, and the boys really showed it tonight.
You're going to have to do it on the road. You're going to go out and maybe just, when you get a long week, usually the coach lets you go out, tonight. You can go out and have a drink. I don't know if you want to after a hot night like that, but what will you do? Just relax, or then tomorrow might go and do something? Yeah,
we'll enjoy each other's company today. A few boys are booked in Wet and Wild tomorrow. We're pretty privileged to live on the coast, so probably hit the theme parks and whatnot tomorrow, and spend the day together.
You got the season pass, Sam?
Yeah, $189 if you're local. It's an absolute steal.
You played in Origin, obviously, to start the season, earning the big V. What did you make of the experience over there, and obviously playing for a team on the others, or in a different part of the country, obviously in Queensland? What did it mean to you to play rep footy?
Yeah, for myself individually, it was a huge honour and a privilege, and I suppose for me, I was pretty nervous heading over there, and it was nice to kind of just take my family over and enjoy the moment. And what I found hard in my career is to kind of just be present and enjoy where I'm at instead of chasing more and more. And for me to go over there and just enjoy the football and the company of some of the best players in the game, it was an absolute privilege. And then obviously to wear the big V and represent my state, it was absolutely amazing.
If they ask you how they can refine it for next year, have you got any advice?
No advice. Honestly, I had a great time. I'll put my hand up. Whenever they want to play it, I'll be putting my hand up for that. That was one of the most special moments of my career so far.
I think he said take it to Las Vegas.
Have you played against Mara much in the pre-season?
Yeah. I've played on him a bit in the pre-season. He's going really well. The way he's really attacked his pre-season, and sure, he's learning a complete new system and that, but he's had a tough journey, and he's come back and he's thrown all of his eggs in and his chips in with us, and that's all we can ask for him. So I'm sure he'll be ready to come in at some point in time, and he's going to be a pretty special player if we get him right.
He towed up Southport today.
He did. Our man Matthew Primus had to coach against him today. Kicked 6 in the warm-up game. Is that?
Thanks for your time, Sam.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Who's only joking?
Oh, my God. I'm out of here.
Kids,
he's out of here.
Fair enough, too, Sam.
Matthew Primus has wrapped up.
Talk about the twos, mate. Come on.
Well done to Sam Collins on a magnificent 150 game set. He's put together the 31-year-old first 14 games for Fremantle delisted, and then played a year at Werribee in 2018. Got relisted by the Suns, and now he's become a state rep, an All-Australian squad member. What a career he's put together, Sam Collins. And
it's amazing, hasn't it? Some of those pickups of those guys. Like, Fremantle discard, and most players, once that happens to them, they're gone and lost to the system, goes back, and then, Suns are crying out, and that for a key defender, and they go get a guy who just loves to compete, and then look what he's morphed into now. He obviously still loves competing, but one of the best defenders in the competition, and 150 games. Yeah, great story.
Confident too.
Yeah, great.
Sure, Mendes like that.
Yes.
Back in VFL, back home to Lavington, back in the VFL, 26 gets picked up. Just shows you if you are good enough and you don't give up. That is a great story. 150 games is hard enough. Yep. Let alone having to go to the other, talk about going via the gate. My God, that is, and to stick at it.
Matty Primus, I'd love to get your opinion on the game of Jared Witts. He dominated the hit-outs. He had 52 of 58 hit-outs. Geelong themselves had 25. And again, that's a good performance against the jumping ability of a Sam de Koning and a Mark Blitzhaus.
Yeah, definitely helps the Geelong rucks, you would have thought, but Witters worked out the rule beautifully. He's still a monster man, so got his body across the line when he needed to, and he probably didn't do too much on the ground, but wasn't beaten and gives them first look. And then when the Suns did lose any stoppages, there was no clean ball coming out of it for Geelong, was there? On the flip side, when the Suns were able to win them, Witter was able to put a few of them into space, and away they went. And he's just a workhorse, isn't he? Just keeps going on and on and on, and once again, another guy has been an outstanding pickup for him. Come from Collingwood and crew at the crossroads a bit, and ended up captaining the club, and has got them to where they are now.
Was he 209?
He's another monster. 210, the big boy, yep.
Is it really? There's probably... oh, sorry, we've got another one to...
But let's go back to Jamie Stanton. Jamie.
Hey, yes, I've got Bailey Humphrey down here with me, a personal favourite of mine and a team favourite of the AFLW girls, I'm sure, and I know that for a fact. He started and set the tone here, so we were talking about Suns are hot this season and the heat wave, and the way you started in that first quarter was awesome. How does it feel when you're out there and you're getting the delivery that you were in that first quarter?
Yeah, well, a lot of credit to the midfielders, but I think for me personally, I like to get my hands on the ball a bit earlier, and and then you get a bit of confidence, and my chest puffs out, and hopefully I can get on the end of a couple more. And I was lucky enough to get on a couple in the first quarter, but track, Noah, and all that, just kicking it down my throat. It's pretty easy when it happens like that.
In regards to the team, the forward handball chains tonight were on fire and quite clean in some pretty slippery conditions. Is this something that you guys specifically have practiced over the pre-season to really refine and improve on, or is this just something that came about naturally over time?
Yeah, I think if we just rely on contest and defence, our offence happens after that, and we just rely on our system, and we all know where to be when the contest happens, and hopefully we can get a handball forward. But I think that's going to break the AFL open this year. With you could watch Sydney last night, they handballed forward and just broke the lines, and easy deliveries inside 50, just hitting up with the ball. So it makes it hard to defend, and we were lucky we got some through the middle with the handball forwards tonight.
And do you want to talk us through your goal celebration song and celebrations? Aka's not a massive fan of it. He prefers Will Graham's over yours, but maybe you might be able to sweet talk him with some bit of information behind why you picked it.
Yeah, what's Will Graham's? I have no idea.
Aka, you ready to start singing it? Come on.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know, to be honest. I didn't know what to pick. And
Freed from desire. I could go on all night.
Yeah, I like it when the song stops and the crowd keep going. That's pretty nice. But I think Cam Rayner has it at Brizzy, so it's not that iconic. But with the celebrations, there was a couple of boys that I knew in the crowd, and I could hear them when I was going for one of the snaps. So I gave it to them a bit.
Up to you, boys.
Yeah, but you got to ask though, Jamie. Can you change it during the year? Like if you find another one, really good one.
I've been told that I'm not allowed to change it. Apparently.
Yeah, see, that's rubbish.
Yeah, I know.
After that performance, this week is when you go in. You say, "Listen, I've got to change."
I don't reckon I'll still be allowed, but I can give it a crack for you.
You should. Oh, that's a ridiculous rule. Anyway, let's get back to the game. Oh, how good is it to play at home?
Yeah.
0 round, crowd. I mean, do they make it? You don't have to tell me what exactly it is, but I know with other clubs that I'm involved in, and I see you write down what you want this year. You write down where your goals are and what you're going to be better at. Is tonight one of them, or is it a progression in the right direction that you actually want to go that way and be the player you are?
Yeah, obviously, and I think it helps now that we've got Track as well to help me with a bit of midfield stuff and helps me get a bit more midfield minutes. And the way he played tonight, I couldn't get him out of there, so can't complain about that. But it helps having two sort of forward half mids, and the way he played in the forward half was pretty cool, and we complement each other pretty well, I think. So it's going to be a pretty cool year.
So is that the expectation, Bailey, that when one of you's forward, the other one will be in the midfield and vice versa?
Yeah, something like that, bit of that, and then every now and then both of us can go forward, and one can go deep, one can go a bit higher, and we can play a few tricks, which is nice, and hopefully we just get on the end of a few goals like we did tonight.
And how's your relationship with the coach? Is he a funny guy? Is he always looks pretty relaxed, and he'll be a bit serious, and then he'll be jovial, and is he like that with everyone, or is he, does he have his favourites?
I don't reckon he has his favourites, but
I think I'm pretty lucky. I have a pretty special connection with him. Yeah, we have some honest chats and stuff like that. And but then every now and then I also send him some random stuff, airdrop him marketplace tennis balls and stuff, just to see if he'll have a giggle. But it's pretty serious.
Bailey, it was obviously well documented during last year's trade period in October, and the paparazzi shots almost of you walking the town with Stephen King. How did Dimmer go with that the next time you saw him, that you were out there meeting with an opposition coach?
No, he was pretty good, to be honest. He just wants to make me feel comfortable, and yeah, he does everything right. And as I said, we have a special connection. So yeah, honest chats of course, but yeah, he's just trying to do everything he can to keep a smile on my face. And yeah, the footy club was never an issue and stuff like that, as a lot of the media come out with. But yeah, I'm happy here, and I think I said that in the media at the start of the year as well. So nothing's changed. I'm lucky to have a good relationship with the coach, as he's right here. But yeah,
he can hear me.
Yeah, he's listening.
So there was never a point where you thought you might not be here this year?
Oh, not too sure, to be honest. It didn't go that way, and I'm not mad about it. I was content at the Suns. I'm happy here, and yeah, it was just there was some family issues going on, and yeah, I just thought it could maybe be a chance to help that a little bit closer to home. But yeah, it didn't happen, and I'm not mad about it.
Bailey, you've been in that position yourself, being the youngster with a bit of expectation on the list. What about the likes of Leonardo Lombard and Zeke Hewland, who had a cracking debut?
Yeah, they're both good, and I think Dimmer's just letting Leo play to his strengths and stuff like that. And yeah, he's just playing off instinct now, which is nice, and it's good to see. He's got a good fend off, and Zeke, he played a really good game. We know that he's got a nice left foot and plays on the outside, but it was good to see him put his head in the hole and win some ground balls.
Are you going to go to Wet and Wild tomorrow?
No, probably, why not?
And guys, Bailey's going to head off to a meeting now, so I'll have to let him go.
Appreciate your time. Thanks to Bailey Humphrey. What a night he had. He kicked 3 in the opening quarter, finished with 4 goals too. And thanks to the Gold Coast Suns for their access downstairs. The votes coming up in the ABC Football of the Year. I don't want to try and preempt any of those, but just on a couple of the new faces. So Zeke Hewland with 16 touches. Looks right at home. As I said earlier, he signed the forehead of a kid before he ran off the ground. So he's already a fan favourite.
Is that like, the old days where you used to have to sign someone's, upper body?
You can imagine Mum and Dad coming back and thinking, what's this?
What's he got on his forehead?
As long as you don't get a permanent marker.
Sure enough, there's Zeke Hewland's signature. He's probably only like 5 years older than the young lad. He's only 18 himself. And then Christian Petrarca, 34 disposals, kicked 3 goals tonight. So what a night for him. First up for his new team. I think the question was when he moved north is whether he still had the best footy in him. I think we even saw some adjustments from maybe the Melbourne version of Christian Petrarca towards the back end, where there were stats doing the round last year that he sort of had as many turnovers as anyone in the competition when he got it. The surge kick forward, didn't spend long time with ball in hand, and would often just surge kick into the downfield. Whereas tonight he used the ball a lot more by hand, didn't he? He had more handballs than he had kicks.
That was the way that Melbourne played, though. They were very much get it, and Oliver him hack kick it forward, or dump kick it forward, and just get territory and let their forwards go. So that was the way they played, and they play a lot different here. Dimmer doesn't want that. He wants you to not hack kick it. He wants you to try and take the opposition on and use your handball, and that's going to suit him to a T. So it'll be interesting to see, who Aker gives his votes to. Plus the Petrarca stuff. He was also things weren't right off field either for him last year, and that affected his footy. He obviously a guy that struggled a bit to separate off field and on field, and obviously getting up here has given him a new lease of life, and he certainly played like that. Only one round, but he certainly played like a lot of freedom tonight, didn't he? And I think he'll be a real good beneficiary of the way the Suns play, and then obviously the Suns are going to be a pretty good beneficiary of every time the ball gets in Track's hands.
And he spoke about that a little bit throughout the preseason, Christian Petrarca, where he said it's the most present and healthy that I've felt mentally off the field for a while. It frustrates me, this whole brand Petrarca stuff. We should be promoting guys and celebrating them having something away from football, whereas comments about me wanting to leave because of a cooking channel is just laughable, to be honest. So he sort of spoke about the fact that, he thought that the media coverage in particular that he got, and the obsession with brand Petrarca and everything else in the way that it was at least framed from the external world was off the mark and not true. And I guess he gets a little bit of separation from that in a new city here with at the Gold Coast.
Well, getting away, from Melbourne, traditional club, that injury he copped and the way that was handled and whatever it was, and then there was the argy-bargy between him and the club and the management group, and then it just grew, and he's got obviously a big online presence, and as we spoke pre-game, the online presence can take over people's lives and clubs, and certainly that hung around, and then their form did too, and his form did too, so it all came together, but anyhow, they've all moved on, and he certainly looked like he's going to be a handy acquisition for the Suns this year.
Friday night footy on ABC Sport. Corbin Middlemas, Michael Price, Jamie Stanton's downstairs. Our analyst, the Brownlow medalist, Jason Akermanis, and the dual All-Australian in Matthew Primus. 56 points, the final margin at full-time in front of just under 20,000. The Suns winners. They did lead by as many as 85 points. Petrarca with 34 disposals and 3 goals in the win. Zeke Ulan, quick comments. What do we think of the young man out there tonight?
He looks ready-made, doesn't he?
Yep. Be a star, that boy.
Body-wise, and he loves to compete and hit. And
he looked calm, like it was training.
Yeah, and did look composed, and fitness-wise, no problem, all that stuff. So, and Dimmer doesn't give away games, and the Suns aren't in that area, that journey of their club at the moment. So he's obviously earned it through the pre-season, and it looks like they've. The Academy's produced another good one for him.
There's one guy to come back into this team, by the way. He's the Brownlow medalist. So
I forgot about him.
Matt Rouse still to come back. He's played the last 104 games, the All-Australian. They also drafted 4 guys inside the top 20, all out of the Academy. We only saw one of them tonight, so still 3 more to be unveiled, perhaps at a later date in the season. Jed Walter will be available, coming back from suspension, so he's ready to go next week against the Eagles. And then, as we touched on a number of times throughout the call, Jamara kicked 6 in the practice game.
Did he?
Jeez.
Jed Walter, I'm not sure Jed's in their best.
Right.
In their best 23. I think he just adds. They become a bit too tall down there. Even though King's mobile and Ethan Reed's mobile. I think last time they played 3 of them and it didn't quite work. So I'm not sure if he's in their best 23, and we'll find out when the suspension finishes.
It feels like they're gonna make Mara earn it to go through the VFL and play a few weeks there. So the fact that he didn't play round 0 almost makes me think we won't see him for a couple of weeks yet. But if they were to play him next week, I could understand a little bit of that, given the fact that if he played tonight, people like me that are sports broadcasters would come here and I'd talk all about Jamara and it'd be the Jamara show and everything else. Whereas if he returns to AFL footy in Perth against the Eagles in a time slot that's a little bit out of sight, out of mind, you could understand him sort of almost just sneaking back in under the radar as opposed to in a prime time slot or a big time game or whatever it turns out to be. So,
well, who says he's going to get a call up too? I mean, that's it. The forward line looks pretty sharp at the moment.
He's going to drop out of it after tonight's performance, but
he might have just to be lucky and have to wait.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If he goes up against Southport, I mean, I could kick 6. I could have kicked 6.
It's 10:30 yet.
The Southport slander that we've got in this box.
So did you want some votes?
I do.
Yeah, me and Matty had a chat, which means he said nothing, and I'm just going to do him.
Talk about a forward handball. That was a really slick one he gave to you.
I don't want it. I was about to say, I wonder what Matty's going to do. Anyway, I'm going to give one vote because he's 150th, but he's a star. He set up. He did so many great things, Collins. Just one vote. Unlucky not to get 2. 2 votes. I'm actually going to go for, I'll give it to John Noble because he was amazing. Kicked a couple of goals. Now, when you're a defender, you probably never remember being a defender, Matty, but it is so good to be able to get up the ground, kick goals, be the run and carry. And his defensive pressure, you didn't even notice it, but it was fantastic. Hardly missed a tackle, threw himself in. He's not the biggest guy in the world either. And, of course, 3 votes. Now, I don't think people, if you've never gone through it as the rain just falls, and I'm thinking about my motorbike, but if you've ever had to go and play for another club and you're a big-time star and you won a flag and the pressure's all the eyes are on you and all your teammates are looking at everything you do to come out and play the game he did, Petrarca is 3 votes every day of the week. It's not easy. It's out of the spotlight, I understand all that, but where he's come from to do that in his first game, that's a 3 vote. I mean, you give him 5 if it was 5 because it's just a great effort. So unlucky many because they had a big win, but that's some effort.
34 goals. He also 34 goals, 34 disposals, 3 goals, 12 score involvements, and he also had the 10 inside 50s. That is a huge night. 15 contested disposals and 6 clearances. That's a stat line that is prime Petrarca. And at 30 years of age, as we know, athletes playing well into their 30s nowadays. There's still plenty of road in front of him yet. 3 for Petrarca, 2 for Noble, 1 for Collins. The votes from Jason Akermanis in the ABC Footballer of the Year. Bill off the SMS, big recruits are shining in the first round. Kerno and now Petrarca.
Yes.
Kerno kicked 3 last night. Petrarca, that's a proper game.
Yeah, that's absolutely. That's a star game.
The Cats, let's pick this apart. So if you're Chris Scott and you played so much with him, Acker, what would be his approach post-game? So it's one game. They're obviously forecast to win many, but the way it happened in particular, to be 85 points down time on in the third term, what would he be thinking with tonight?
He will say, we didn't adjust quick enough. They were fantastic, and all credit to them. We have got to learn real quick that team's going to do this, and how we go up against it and how we play. We will learn. We'll be better. Obviously, the game was over. We had a good, strong last quarter, which is good signs. But outside of that, don't expect any miracles as far as players coming back in or any of that rubbish. We just got to play better, and he'll go back and say, he wouldn't be ranting and raving. That's a very experienced team, and a very experienced club. They'll be right to go next week, and they'll be up for it. Any battle is going to be they. I bet you they just can't wait to get on with it, to be honest.
Fremantle next week for Geelong down at Cardinia Park against the Dockers. As you wouldn't believe what's just flashed on the screen as we're sitting here watching the television picture. A few highlights.
I was looking at the opposition, going, how loose is
the Matthew Primus coach Southport team against the Gold Coast reserves earlier today, and Jamara Ugle-Hagan kicking 6. Hey, great fun. Thank you for having me up here in South East Queensland.
Glad you came up.
Absolutely brilliant, Corb.
Lovely to work with you as always, Pricey.
Yeah, love your work, Corb.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Michael Price.
I'm happy every year it comes back and he's still alive, Price. He is